For the match of the round, let's cross to our team and go local for your footy.
You're on. Slip, slop, slap, everyone. It's an absolute day for it out here at Warrandyte Reserve. The sun is shining at the Blood Bank ahead of today's Division 3 matchup between the Warrandyte, I think they're just called the Bloods, and the East Burwood Rams. And I'm Matthew Fodier, sitting here for pre-game with Raymond Baird and Matt Spider Lee. Gentlemen, welcome back to pre-game. First time upstairs for you two this year.
Yeah, thanks, Matty. It's great to be out here, and what a day to come all the way to beautiful downtown Warrandyte, mate.
I'm giving you a 2-minute run-up at this, mate, so...
Okay. Yeah, no, it's a beautiful day out here, and tell you what, there's not a bad crowd here at this time of day either. It's going to be a great game, Spider.
Yeah, very good afternoon to you, Matt and Ray. Great to be here, and to all the listeners. Look, I was just thinking this morning, when was the last time I've been out to Warrandyte? And I have to go back to the mid-90s to when I played junior footy, Ray. So
well, there you go.
This is a new world out here. This is new facilities. It's gone up market since I remember I came out here and it was just mud and slush on a cold winter's Sunday morning and playing under 14. So no, it's all gone up market since those days. It probably shows me age a bit, but no, going really well. Looking forward to today's clash because two really good teams, and both teams really trying to cement themselves in the in finals contention.
Between you two, you probably know the last time these two teams played each other. It would have been a while back, maybe when East Burwood was sliding down. Spider would be the last time.
I think it was 2014 from memory. 2015. I think Wayne Cripps was coach then, I think, of East Burwood. So, and on that day, Warrandyte had a win. So I don't think I was here that afternoon, but might have had to work or something.
Yeah.
But, I do vaguely recall them coming out here.
Spider, I have a question for you. On the way over here, I was thinking to myself, and you would be the man to know this. Did Stewie Wine actually coach here? He played here, didn't he, at Warrandyte?
He played here in 2002.
Yeah, didn't coach.
Scotty Hunter was the coach here.
Yeah.
Now, that was after Lex Munro, the legendary man who went around a couple of the AFL clubs at the time. But there was Stewie Wine, Scotty Hunter, Adam Barlow and Adam Williamson from East Burwood. I think even Darren Payne actually came up here. There was about 4 or 5 of them that spent a year up here. They finished third on the ladder. Didn't quite get the job done, but they enjoyed their time here from all reports. And went on and went in different directions to coach and play at other clubs. But they did talk about it on Thursday night. Stewie did have some memories about playing here. He said they get pretty parochial here late in the afternoon.
No, well, they were getting parochial before in the reserves. There's a couple of people with some choice words to say about the umpires and the style of played from both sides. Gents, we've only got obviously an hour today in the pre-game, so let's jump straight into it. Premier Division, it's one of the best Premier Divisions, or top flight, sorry, because it used to be Division 1 in a long time. It's so even across the board. You can't quite pencil in your top 5 as of yet, and today's fixtures, the one that stands out to me is Blackburn and Noble Park. The Burners are 3-2, the Bulls are back on track 4-1 after a few years in the wilderness, and it's at Moreton Park. Usually that would be a good thing for the Burners, Ray, but they haven't won one at home yet this year.
Oh, haven't they really?
Lost to South Croydon and Baldwin at home.
Well, look, pre-season, I put down Blackburn to win the premiership.
A lot of people have.
I have, and then having seen Noble Park in round 1 out at Berwick that day, I didn't think that they would progress too far because to me they lacked a key big man forward.
Well, they do. So I think it did some research yesterday. So they're ranked 3rd for inside 50s, but 10th for goals scored.
Okay, so there is a bit of a little deficiency there, but gee, they're travelling all right at the moment.
They've probably got the best midfield in the comp, though, Spider, with Sketcher, Martin, Glenn, and then when Goy locks back from Sandringham. So Sketcher's
not so much better, is there?
I think those 4 are all in the top 10 average disposal getters in the comp.
Well, that's going to be the key to the game today, but the other intriguing battle will be the defence of the Bulls against the forward line of the Burners. It has been very one-dimensional in more recent times with Bathy just being
Hammond hurts, doesn't it?
Hammond's not playing with long-term injury, so Bathy's had to take a lot more responsibility, and if he's shut down then it really poses problems because that forward line just seems dysfunctional, and especially when they played South Croydon on Anzac Day, they just didn't have any other avenues to go.
I think Daniel Rangio was playing forward, but he's a natural defender. So he's kicked, so I think their goal kickers, Bathy's kicked 12, Sam Hart's kicked 7, but he kicked 4 last week against North Ringwood. And then you've also got Arangio himself, who kicked 5 goals, but he kicked 4 against Doncaster. So really, though, it's Bathy or bust at the moment with no Jake Hammond.
Now, my understanding is that Conker could be back in the side this week for them.
I'll have a look at the ins and outs for you,
That was
Spider.
a bit of mail that I was getting this morning from a couple of reliable sources, so we'll have to wait and see on how that one...
Ryan Morrison will probably... Well, he's the notable defender, but he's had a lot of the footy this year. They've used him as a bit of a sweeper, Ray, and a ball user. Do you think he'll have to put that aside to lock down on Bathy?
Well, look, I think that they'll know what they're got to do down there today. And look, I suppose they might start off with, or maybe leave it to start off with, and just see how it goes, and make changes as the game goes on.
Absolutely. And then the other games in Premier Division, and those ins. So the ins for Blackburn today. Lachlan Bugia, Nicholas Gray, Jake Gaspar, Peter Elliott, Daniel Arangio and Oscar Perez.
Now is Hodge named there too for Austin Hodge? Austin
Hodge is ruck roving.
Yep.
So he must have played against.
So he didn't. The Bulldogs VFL team played last night. He wasn't included. He's 188 centimetres, I think he is.
Yeah.
From all reports, but very good credentials and really on the radar of some of the AFL clubs.
Yeah, absolutely. Riley Stoddart, Michael Dunn, and Liam Murphy the out. So they're 3 pretty big outs. Michael Dunn's been a lockdown defender for a number of years. Riley Stoddart's obviously ex-Sydney, and Liam Murphy's been having good starts of the year. And then for the Bulls, their midfield. Yeah, is very strong. They're just struggling with that. Joshua Stearns kicked 7 goals. He's their leading goal kicker. So that's we did say that out at Berwick that day. That was the one thing letting them down. Other games in Premier Division are South Croydon and Doncaster East at Cheong Park. Roeville hosts Norwood. Doncaster hosts Berwick. Vermont hosts North Ringwood. So your tips in those games, gents? I'm personally a bit. I've got them all one-sided. I'm thinking the only real other close one might be South Croydon and Doncaster East.
I'll go along with you with that one. And I think Norwood
and Roeville.
Look, Roeville is struggling a little bit. Back in round 1, they had 8 debutants in that side. A lot of
VFL players, don't they?
It was round 2 actually, but it was their first game. And then the next week, when they played Vermont, I actually went down and had a look at that game, and they had another 4 debutants in that team. So I mean, myself and a friend of mine, we went down there and had a look together, and I think we only knew 5 players on the field, but all the rest were young kids. But
defining day for Roeville, really. I mean,
today is.
Is this a case that Ben Wise, first year, you're coaching a team? Is he getting the support that he really needs behind the scenes? It's not an easy gig to come in straight away and take a hold of a group and drive the bus in the one direction. I mean, I just get a sense that has he got the stability behind him? Has he got that experience coaching panel giving him all the insight that he needs for him to be able to deliver the coaching on match day? It's a big question for them.
Look, the big deficiency down there at the moment, I don't know if they're back today, but their 2 ruckmen have been missing. Mitch Garner, who I rate as probably in the best 2 ruckmen in the Premier Division right throughout the competition, and Nick Showermakers. That day against Vermont, Roeville were ahead.
Showermakers has had a very good year.
Yeah, that day against Vermont, Roeville were in front at half time. Those young kids, they just run and they use the ball really well. But I said to my mate who was down there with me, Robbie Ross and Bale Wuxton, they're not going to get any shorter after half time, and that was a difference. I know it was a 10-goal result in that day, but it really didn't reflect on the way that Roeville. They were just out-muscled.
They're very young and they're relying on VFL.
They'll win games against certain sides, but I can't see them making the 8.
And not today.
Making the 5, or it is. Yeah.
Well, they might make the 8.
Today, I don't think they'll beat. They won't beat Norwood.
They're very reliant on VFL players. So I think Roeville's going to be one of those teams that, should there be a week off with the VFL or their side happens to play a Thursday night game or whatever it is, they might surprise a team with 9 players coming back, sort of thing. Yeah. But I agree. I think it's a 7th to 8th sort of.
The other interesting games, Doncaster and Berwick. I mean, Berwick, to me, you don't know what you're getting from Berwick at the moment. 1 week they're up, the other week they're down.
I think you'd be.
Midfield's good.
I'd feel comfortable bagging them today. Doncaster have a lot of VFL listed players and good players on paper, but the depth is what let them down when we saw them at Shrams. Not at Shrams, at Zerbies against Doncaster East, and watching a bit of their footage. They've been in games at half-time against Blackburn and Vermont before getting blown away.
Haven't got the strong bodies to be able to keep
Stewie
up.
Cameron, though, did coach Berwick for 2 years and won 2 flags with them, so he will know a little bit about the players. I think you can... Berwick, I think, again, might be I think that would be 6th, 7th, 8th sort of thing. So
and that's not a bad result first year in, because what you got to remember too, back a long time ago when Noble Park first came in the competition, they didn't immediately put themselves into finals contention. They had 1 or 2 years outside of the finals. Then they launched because they knew what they had to do.
And then Vermont, North Ringwood, you'd suggest that Vermont are going to win that quite comfortably. North Ringwood seem to be okay going forwards. I don't know about going back the other way, and we know Vermont are pretty good going back the other way.
It's just the little wins today, Matt, I think, for North Ringwood. They've got to have little moments in the game. They might not get the 4 points, but it's winning a quarter, taking control of a game for 5 or 10 minutes and putting Vermont under pressure. And I think with Vermont today is, Adam Parker's playing a lot of young kids. He's starting to develop, pushing through, and I think that's a good sign for them because they're going to need those young kids. Because if you don't play them now, you'll lose them. They'll go to other clubs.
Exactly.
And that can become a real problem for you down the track.
It's pretty handy to keep playing those kids and be 4-1 though, isn't it, Ray?
Oh, it is.
So South Croydon to beat Doncaster East. Personally, Norwood to knock off Roeville. I've got Berwick beating Doncaster. I've got Vermont beating North Ringwood. In that main game, I've got Blackburn just. I think Bathy, they're goal scorers. They've got too many options. Noble Park don't have that standout forward.
Well, I'm going to go the other way. I'm going to back Noble Park. I think
I'm on Noble Park too.
They've found a way to win the games this year. They've found a way to do it.
Teams have struggled to score against them. I think they're averaging about 50 points against.
Another thing this weekend, Ziggy Irwin playing his 150th game
for the Bulls. So he would have played how many for Roeville? Close to 70-ish. 3 or 4 years.
3 years.
And he's been a class player.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Throughout. I mean, I've seen him play as a junior and then come through the ranks there. So well done to Ziggy, and hopefully there's many more to come.
Absolutely. Division 1, gents, there's a couple of interesting games here. That Mooroolbark and Park Orchards on paper seems to be the best, but personally I think Park Orchards will win this comfortably. We saw Mooroolbark last week. They've got a few injuries. Charge was another out. They've got a couple going back to VFL and Rangers this week, and Polkinghorn's out. Mullet looked a bit off his game last week, and Park Orchards are absolutely flying. Michael Prozenak's back for them. They've got 4 10-plus goal kickers this year already, Park Orchards. They look to me like they're one of the best sides in attack, and Mooroolbark just look a bit off their game. They're a bit wobbly. Yeah,
I wasn't over impressed with Mooroolbark last week.
They rolled over in the second half, didn't they?
They did. They just turned it up. That's all of it. But Park Orchards, they haven't put a foot wrong. They are, as you said.
The one lost to Croydon, but Croydon looked very good.
Well, that's right. But they're flying.
Dennis Armfield very glowing last Sunday morning on our program, just talking about the way that they play and trying to continue to develop players. They've got a lot of under-19 players that have rolled through that senior lineup over the last couple of seasons, and Dennis has sort of pulled back a little bit, just trying to find his role in the team so he can give that coaching education to those players.
I think he's playing a high half forward.
He sort of tried to. He suggested that little forward pocket might be his by the end of the season. He kicked the legs are going as fast.
He kicked a nice goal out there at Walker Reserve from about 50 out and gave it a nice little celebration. So he's still got it in him. But Parker, I think they're going very, very well out there. The other interesting games, Montana South are playing Upper Gully at Kings Park. Upper Gully improved week on week. They almost pinched it against Montrose. And they were impressive the week before against, might have been Bayswater, and then even a couple of weeks before that against Mitcham. They were impressive. They would have been disappointed with their loss to Ludale because they would have penciled that in as a big chance. And Wanty South, every time I think they're going in the right direction, they come back again. That was a 100-point loss last week to the Sharks. It's a bad sign.
Yeah, look, there's a bit going on between these two sides over the years. Look, they've had some great battles there, particularly up at Kings Park, between Wanturna South and Upper Frenchy Gully. But we're having said some great battles, but they've always been low-scoring battles. 9-10 goals usually wins that game.
Upper Gully has been notorious for those scrappy games, haven't they?
Yeah. So nine goals would probably win that game today. Which way it's going to go? Oh, look,
you got to lean towards Wanty South, but it's one of those ones where, as a Hawthorn fan last week, I went in thinking I wouldn't be surprised if North beat us, and if I'm a Wanty South fan today, I'm going, I wouldn't be surprised if Upper Gully got up.
But I'm going to back Wanty South.
I think Steve Cochrane will certainly have the boys up and about. He's had a bit of a mixed fortunes this season, so Wanturna South, they need to win and they need to get their season back on track.
Absolutely. The benefit for them, though, is the fact that fifth spot is the only one open, but it is well and truly open because Mitcham are now 3-3, and they're going to Bayswater, who are 2-4. But I'm actually leaning towards Bayswater today. At home, they're in a bit of form now. Their midfield's probably the best in the comp. With Kurt Lobo, Ben White, Joel Galvin, that's a pretty handy trio on ball there. They're going up. They're trending up. Mitcham, injury injuries have sort of ravaged them recently. They've got a couple of players back in Parenti and Josh May today, but I think Bayswater at home are going in the right direction, and Mitcham are just sort of wobbling at the moment.
I like the way Mitcham play their football, though. They take the game on. No matter what the score is at whatever stage of the game, they take the game on and they play attacking football. And I think they'll get over Bayswater.
Yeah, I think Nigel's got them really playing some good footy. And look, I'll go Mitcham in a close one. I think that'll be a real nail biter out there today.
It will be good to see Jake Parenti back in action, and as I mentioned, Josh May apparently 208 centimetres and can run like the wind. Port Melbourne centre half back. I think they said they'll have him for 1 week, and Gary Ayres will pinch him. Okay. The other couple of games are East Ringwood and Lewdale. It looks like East Ringwood win that comfortably.
You'd have to pick East
going under the radar because they don't really hit the scoreboard as much, but 5-1, you can't complain. Croydon playing Montrose at Croydon. We saw Croydon. They look pretty scintillating, right?
They were fantastic last week, particularly after half time. But even in the first half, you could see it building. I was not at all surprised in that third quarter when they played the football that they did.
Like Croydon's midfield depth was what impressed me. So you had Dixon, Ficcarelli, McKenzie, Thompson, Carter, Lynch. And you still have Hotka to come back. Cardamom sort of played off a back flank. Seister played off a back flank. They had plenty of options, Spider, to go through the middle.
And the dominance too. Like that inside 50 count at one stage last week was just overwhelming, wasn't it? Really.
Murubak, just the centre clearances.
Yeah.
I don't think in the second half Murubak won one. It was just like a training drill. And the Murubak defenders had a good record previously, but I think because they play team defence, they didn't you can't look at Murubak's lineup and go, who's the full back? No. They sort of play as a six. So when Croydon were walking it out of the centre corridor, none of them could match one-on-one against Costantino, Britton or Koga and Ficcarelli and all those guys.
But you've got to remember that they did lose charge at half-time last week. So
and he was winning all the hit-outs early, wasn't he?
In the first half, he was a dominant ruckman.
Yeah, when you lose your ruckman, it can play a big problem for you, can't it?
And Montrose, on the other hand, they've won 3 games, 3-3 as well, but they've flattered to deceive personally. They haven't really had a performance where you sort of go, that's a standout. They've beaten Bayswater early on in the year, which was probably their best performance, but so far we're a bit unsure about Bayswater, and then they've knocked up Upper Gully and Lewdale, but only by 2 goals each time. It's a hard read on Peter Bassinet's side.
You couldn't really pick them on those results.
No, their form seems to be a little bit up and down.
I think they're missing 3 of their players. Brad Watson's one of them. A couple others who are playing for Eastern Rangers today.
He's a big out, isn't he? Really, he really gives them some drive.
Absolutely. So our tips in that one. Bayswater and Mitcham, I'm leading to the Waters. I think both of you guys are
Mitcham.
East Ringwood and Lewdale. I think we're all good for the pouch there. 5-1 at the moment and flying. Croydon and Montrose.
Croydon.
All the Blues. Upper Gully, Wanty South. No one's taking
Wanty
South. And then Murubak Park Orchards, we think it's just the right time for Park Orchards to get Murubak. And the beauty for Park Orchards is that their Domini reserve's getting done up.
Yes.
So they've only got 2 home games in the first 9 rounds and they're playing them at Stintons.
Yes.
So they're going to have a lot of home games in that back end. They could really hit finals in some nice form.
And coming past Domini on the way here, I tell you what, that ground in immaculate condition.
And how is the facility looking?
It's coming. It's coming along, but probably a little bit slower than what I thought it would have. But once they get back in there, I mean, Stinton's reserve. There's nothing wrong with the ground at Stinton's reserve.
There's just nothing else.
The club rooms.
You got the BMX track on one side, and then you got the second oval.
That's right.
I took 5 for out there one day, Ray, the 14th. It's just going to be me and Ray talking about cricket today, Spider.
I'm sure I'll slip in a few too.
That's a good first segment, guys. We're going to head to our first break, and on the other side of it, we'll talk all things Division 2 and Division 3.
Only 19.
All right, thanks for that, guys. That's a 4-minute break, and then we'll be back after that.
Thanks, Matthew. Uncle, what was the seniors coach going to do? Jono surprised himself and everyone else. The spray he gave the boys at halftime worked. Well, he did finish it by saying he'd shout them a post-game feed and frothies at Eastland if they won. For all of life and footy's little moments, there's Eastland. Proud sponsors of the EFL. Eastland. Live real.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner, broke a finger, high-fiving the ruckman, or did you run into the goal post again? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. The preferred provider of emergency care to the Eastern Football Netball League, you'll generally experience shorter wait times. You don't need private health, but there is an out-of-pocket fee. Be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department, 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
At Yarra Valley Water, we know reducing your shower time, or for some people, show time, to 4 minutes can save you an average of $255 a year on water and energy bills. Save the performance for the stage. Shower shorter. Save water.
Do you feel good about your bank? Because there is a bank you can feel good about. They share their profits to fund big community projects, small community clubs, and vital emergency services. They've given $250 million to help Australian communities thrive. They have all the products and tech you expect from a big bank, with service you don't. It's Bendigo Bank. Feel good about who you bank with. Try Bendigo. Search bendigobank.com.au or search Bendigo Bank near me.
Hello, I'm Peter Hitchener. 9 News invites you to join our team nightly at 6 for Melbourne's #1 news. Tony Jones with the latest sport, including the footy, plus Lavinia Nixon's weather forecast. 9 News, proud supporter of the Eastern Football League.
You've all been to funerals of family members or friends, right? Do you start thinking about what you would want at your funeral? It's a bit like when you go to a wedding. At what stage do you start planning?
Have an open and honest conversation with your loved ones. Celebrate your life the way you want, like I did with a fixed price funeral plan from Tobin Brothers Funerals. The price doesn't change and your life will be celebrated your way. Find out more at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
At Eastland, we believe one day isn't enough to celebrate all that our beautiful mums do. That's why we're celebrating Happy Mother's Days, the festival of love she deserves. From dining to fashion, homewares or a pampering session, Eastland has all your favourite brands ready to spoil mum. And if you need inspiration, check out our online gift guides. Spend $250 and you'll go in the running to win a $50 Eastland gift card till May 8th. T's and C's apply. Find out more at eastland.com.au. Eastland, live real.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner? Broke a finger, high-fiving the ruckman? Or did you run into the goal post again? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. The preferred provider of emergency care to the Eastern Football Netball League, you'll generally experience shorter wait times. You don't need private health, but there is an out-of-pocket fee. Be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department, 262 Mountain Highway, Wantirna.
The senior coach has taken the team to Eastland for a post-game feed. If only they had this kind of teamwork on the field. They've just ordered starters to share, plus frothies for the whole table. And now Steve-O's chucked a prawn to Matt.
Anyway, 15 seconds away, guys.
Yes! Straight into his pie hole. You beauty! Good form, boys. For all of life and footy's little moments, there's Eastland. Proud sponsors of the EFL. Eastland. Live real.
Let's head back and go local for your footy.
Mics are back on.
Yes, welcome back to the Blood Bank here for Division 3 Match of the Round on SEN and later on Eastern FM between Warrandyte and East Burwood, two in form, or well, near the top of the ladder, not quite in form spot, or are they, the Rams, in Division 3, those two sides. So we'll get into that one a bit later on. At the moment, we're in pre-game. Matthew Fodia, Raymond Baird and Matt Spider-Lee, who's back in action today. He's been doing a few Sunday programs, but he's back on the Saturday watching his beloved Rams, and we're down here at Ray Baird Studios in Warrandyte. Division 2, gents. It's shaping up. At the start of the year, we looked at it and we thought, you know, looks like the top four's already settled. Heathmont were a bit of a slow starters, but 4 in a row for the Jets, and they play Knox. They should make it 5 in a row, and they're absolutely flying at the moment.
Well, going on form, they'll definitely win today. You know, Knox, they've been a disappointment to me. I thought they would have been far more competitive.
I tipped them to finish 3rd or 4th on the ladder. Okay. I had them in the 4 because the mail was tough on them to go down because what was it? They had 6 wins and get relegated. You don't often win 6 games and get relegated.
Interesting, isn't it?
Picked up Brendan Whitecross. Yes. So maybe there's a transition to game styles. And they actually picked up a few guys coming back from East Burwood.
Yeah,
didn't they, Spider? So all the indicators suggested they were going to go quite well. But maybe it actually shows that the bottom half of Division 1 isn't as good as Division 2 because there's like you look at Ringwood for years.
Oh yeah.
Ringwood, if they went up, would be fine. Boronia the same.
Yes.
You would suggest Heathmont would hold their own.
Yeah.
You know, so maybe it's just the fact that only one team can go up at a time.
Yeah, and maybe just that lack of depth, not having the players in the seconds to come in if you get some injuries or if some players lose some form, you can't quite fill those gaps. And some clubs do struggle to fill that at times, especially if you're getting a mountain of injuries all at once. So that could be a problem with Knox at the moment too. But you'd think Heathmont will go on their merry way and win that one today.
Yeah, the Jets going pretty well. Saw Davo during the week. He's running the Interleague, the junior Interleague. 14's coach out there, and he had his slacks on. He's still running the show. He's down there. What is he? He's the Paul Roos of Heathmont at the moment.
He is.
I don't know if he's got the pay packet though, does he?
No, certainly wouldn't have it.
Well, if he did, he'd want to be sending it some way. The media team needs we need a couple of new things. The Basin and Mulgrave first lost for the Bears last week, and they've told me to jump off the bandwagon. I got on them, and they lost, so I'm back off. Taking on Mulgrave at home, you'd suggest though this is a ripe one for them to get back on the winners list.
Yeah. Look, the Basin, they should be too strong for Mulgrave. Look, Mulgrave's another side that are sort of, to me, they're in a transition period where they need to improve, but they don't really, or they haven't really improved over the last couple of seasons.
I think they're starting again.
Yeah, I think Ryan Webster, exactly, Matt. Yeah, I think he's doing some good things. They're just going to take a little bit of time.
Well, they scored 100 points last week against Templestowe. Was it 2 weeks ago? And that would be the first time.
Yeah,
since I can remember,
exactly,
probably a decade, Mulgrave have kicked over 100 points.
They've never been a high-scoring team.
Yeah. So which is good to see. And they've got some good players in there. Connor Tilliard was Eastern Rangers listed. Jackson Gervasoni obviously won the medal 2 years ago. So they've got some talent. They're probably, and Thomas McGowan's back up forward with Adam Booth, the evergreen Adam Booth.
Yeah, well, he just keeps getting better, doesn't he? And if those two can consistently perform, then they're a chance to win some games.
I think that they'll be looking at probably 4 to 5 wins.
Yeah, I think so.
The games against Knox and Templestowe are the ones they'll be targeting. And then, if they can get more competitive against the likes of the Basin, that'll be what they're looking for today. There's at the moment in Division 2, it looks like there's 5 teams going for 4 spots. With South Belgrave, one of the other ones doing that, and they take on Templestowe today at home. Templestowe kicked the first 4 goals against Boronia last week and then didn't kick another one until the last quarter. And South Belgrave back on the winners list after 3 straight losses. So you'd suggest up there, up the mountain, it'll be a long day for the Dockers. But the main thing, I guess, with the Dockers, I think they're just at the end of a cycle. They went after it for so long. And they didn't unfortunately for Craig DeCourcy and the rest of the club, they didn't get that premiership that they probably, you could argue, they deserved. And now they're just at the end of a cycle. And South Belgrave, on the other hand, they're probably more interesting because they came in red hot and everyone thought they were right at the level. Now 3-3, it's a hard read.
Yeah, we're going to probably see over the next few weeks, if they can continue to put some wins together, then they're definitely in the race for the finals and more importantly, the premiership. I mean, Luke Galliard has got that club just absolutely clicking over the last couple of years. Good direct coaching style, but been well respected around the traps. And I just think that they've got some good experience all across every line. And I really think that they're doing some good things at that footy club. And they're going to be a team, if it's not this year, it's certainly going to be over the next couple of years where they keep progressing up the divisions.
Yeah. Look, when a club comes up the divisions, they from the 4th up to the 3rd. They'll be competitive in the 3rd. But I've always said this: the higher you go up the divisions, the wider the gap is to be competitive. But as you said, they've lost 3 games, South Belgrave, in the last 3 weeks. But I think they've only lost 4 in the last 2.5 years.
Well, it is.
That's right.
Well,
so you've got to look at their record.
They got up to almost 1,000 days.
That's right.
Obviously, there was a year off in between.
And they're a club. They're a club. They're well run. They've got great juniors. They've got a great following around there.
It's a boom area too, isn't it?
It is. They've got their own little place up there, and look, they'll handle it. I have no doubt that they will end up in the top 2.
Now, I'm going to help you out here, right? Because a lot of people listening would go, well, of course, the higher you go, the harder it is. But what you're saying is that, for example, East Burwood have jumped from Division 4 and are already in finals contention in Division 3.
Yes.
And as you're saying, though, but I can't remember, Montrose would be the last side that went from Division 1 or from Division 2 into Division 1. That's from the 2nd tier to the top tier and actually competed straight away.
Well,
that's what you're saying, because the higher you go up the gap, Roval.
But those 2 clubs did it because of the draw. Coming up, you had a first year into the top division. They had and
then once you're in there, you can recruit.
Once that draw was levelled out in the second year, Roval found it hard. Montrose found it hard.
Well, Montrose played finals that 1 year and then haven't since, and then we're hanging on. So that's what you're trying to say. That and even if we look at Mitcham, have obviously started well this year, moving up, but already they've fallen back to the pack.
That's right.
It's a lot easier to win a flag in Div 4 and maybe go back to back.
Yes.
But you as you said, Doncaster East are probably the best for a while.
Yeah.
At the moment.
Exactly.
But even they've only won one game.
Well, that's true. They've been competitive, but you've got to look at the end of the day, the results.
Exactly. A lot of they're all going, we could be 4-0.
Yeah, that's right.
The ladder doesn't tell us that.
I could be married to Heidi Klum, but we're not. The main game, I guess, in Division 2 is Boronia and Ringwood. So 2018 Grand Final rematch. Boronia, we saw them the other week against the Basin. The Basin, they just burnt them on the outside. And Matt Clark did say they're using a lot of depth. They've used 34 players at that stage of the year, so we could probably guess that they've used 35 plus players in 2021, and he did say they've got older, more mature, bigger bodies that are contested ball, and that younger sides are a lot quicker than them on the outside, so they rely on winning the clearances, and they need to be good by foot. Ringwood are the opposite. That whilst they're experienced, they're still quite young and quick, and their forward line may be the best forward line outside of Premier Division. Even if you look into Division 1, Croydon's forward line was good, but Trent Farmer, Mitch Burton can kick goals. Jordanov, I know Trent Farmer's not playing today, but there's some incredible names down forward.
It's a fantastic forward line. I think Premier Division clubs would love to have those forwards.
Trent Farmer, I'm sure.
Any division.
I'd say every club in those top two tiers has probably tried to get Trent Farmer's number.
That's right. And look, Matty Clark, look, I respect him. Every time he speaks, I listen, because he knows his football back to front. And that's one reason why you can never write Boronia off. But what you've got to also realise, I think the game now, even at this level, it's a young guy's game.
It's about speed,
you can have older, experienced players, and they can play their role in the side. But it's like the top level, AFL, all the way down here to Division 4, the young guy. Because it's a young guy's game, is because in the under-17s and the under-19s now, they're coached so well. They're different style of coaching.
They take it a lot
the system they play or the zone that they're working on. Yeah.
And any young kid that's doing well in the under-19s today, they get played in the seniors.
Well, I remember playing under-19 footy, and obviously the most recent of us to play under-19 footy. And our game plan was pretty simple. It was run.
Right,
and if possible, try to kick it to the hotspot. Now you go down and you might get here early and watch the 19s, and you might go out to the huddle, and it's you're playing F6.
Yeah.
What's F6? That's a keyboard. No, that's your position on the field now, and that's what you're trying to say. The coaching in the 19s is much more advanced than it was even in my day, which was 2012, and then if we go further back into the 90s and so on. So you're correct in that sense of coaching. So that's why I think Ringwood have just got that depth across the field, and again, I think they've just got to get up. Once they get up in Division 1, they will be fine. There's no flash in a pan with them. They've just got to do it. Unfortunately for them, they haven't been able to get that done.
It's also sustaining that too. They put some good things in place off the field over recent times, and now they're just starting to see a little bit of a light at the end of the tunnel, and they can probably just see that they can touch it. It's just a matter of getting there.
The thing that worries me is that, and this would be the one thing that would be eating away at them, their anxiety dream would be that, like Templestowe, they don't want to get close and never get there, because we see what happens to Templestowe now. And Ringwood, and like I said, it's a different kettle of fish, but we look at them and you think, they've got to win it eventually, because you can't keep farming second forever and ever.
No,
that's right.
But our tips in this one, I think it's pretty straightforward today. The only one that's difficult is that last game. Heathmont and Knox.
Yeah,
Heathmont.
The Basin and Mulgrave.
The Basin.
South Belgrave, Templestowe.
South Belgrave.
Boronia, Ringwood. I've got Ringwood.
Yeah, I'm going to go for Ringwood too.
Yeah, I'll go Ringwood as well.
Even though it's at Tormore, it's we know the big grounds aren't really an issue for the Redbacks.
No.
Division 3, we'll have a quick look at Division 3. We won't talk about this game because we'll leave that to later on. Domvale and Glen Waverley Hawks both coming off wins. Domvale good defensively. I think they've kept sides to very low scores. Scoresby definitely, and then last week against Whitehorse Pioneers. Glen Waverley came from behind to beat Waverly Blues by a point in the local derby there. And if I don't know if you've seen the mark that won the game, bloke took an absolute hanger on the goal line before kicking the match winner in Clifford. It's a difficult read on this one. Both sides, they're some weeks they're looking very good, other weeks they fall off the bandwagon.
Donvale have been very hard to read. They're just starting to get a few players back, Ray, from injury, which is a good thing for them. But when they win some games and across most of the competition, they look as good as anyone. But I think when they have their bad games, they can look really bad. And talking to some Donvale people last night, they said they always get a little bit worried about these games, that they should win at home. They always get a little bit sceptical, and they're very wary about Glen Waverley today.
Yeah, moving on from what we're just talking about with the under-19s, Donvale fits in that group as far as I'm concerned, because over the last few years, they have had fantastic juniors.
Well, they won, the year they won in 2017, they won all 3 divisions, or they definitely won the 19s.
No. And because of that, I think that the Glen Waverley Hawks, they won by 1 point. I think they drew with Scoresby in the first game. So their record hasn't been impressive as far as margins or anything like that go. No, I would have to pick Donvale to win this today.
I've got Donvale just, but it's going to be a scrappy one, because even though Glen Waverley have some firepower up forward in Adam Amin and Clifford and so on, they've still struggled to score. They struggled out here against Warrandyte a couple of weeks ago. I think they only kicked 6 goals, and then last week they kicked 6 goals in a win.
Yeah, and just a little brief note, in their seconds today, Jason Wade breaking the club record. 391. He started his career at East Burwood, then went across to Donvale, and Warren Thomas, who's been a legend of Donvale Footy Club as well, handing over the game's record today. So well done to Jason Wade. He's been a decorated player for that club for such a long period of time, and given so much off the field too, just getting on committees and being involved, been a great servant of that club. So well done to Jason.
391 is a lot.
Yeah,
it's a lot of games, so well done to him. Waverly Blues and Fair Park. Waverly Blues have been the disappointment for me in this division. They were, by their own accord, the premiership favourites. They're the highest scoring team, despite being 3-3. They go forward very, very well. I think they kicked 120 points against East Burwood. They kicked 180 against Scoresby, and then 96 against Whitehorse. But then in the games where it's been low scoring, they've been nowhere. Right, they've struggled. And that loss to Glen Waverley last week, if they're meant to win the flag or be around it, you can't be losing games to them.
Look, we've been talking about Waverly Blues in this regard for the last 5 years. We expect so much of them. Pre-season, and they look good in certain games, but when they're not good, they're poor.
Well, their drop-off is quite significant. A few weeks ago against East Burwood, 9 goals in the first quarter, and I just thought, wow, what a quarter of footy. And it was some of the best footy that I've seen in a very long time. But after that, they were clearly outplayed for 3 quarters. They turned the ball over. There was just a completely different side, and Tom Langford was really disappointed with their efforts after half-time. And he said to the players basically after the game, you're lucky to get away with that. There was another 5 minutes left. You probably could have almost lost that game. So they've got a little bit of work to do as a team collectively. But I think today, I think they'll get the points.
Well, they should. They should get the points. And Fair Park, they've been in games at half-time. They almost beat Warrandyte a couple of weeks ago. The win will come, but whether it's going to come too late is the worry. And the other game is Scoresby and Whitehorse. Scoresby a bit of an enigma. Young side, they've knocked off Warrandyte by a point. They got a tie against Glen Waverley. They've beaten Fair Park, lost to Donvale. They're playing Whitehorse, who are 1-5, but have played the top 4 sides.
Yeah, a bit of desperate times for Whitehorse, isn't it, today?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
And it's just the beauty of the draw. You talk about easy draws in previous years for Roval and Montrose. Whitehorse, whilst everyone plays everyone, the fact that they got the top 4 in the first 5 rounds means that
hasn't helped.
Well, your confidence goes down as much as the coach Duncan Jones can go, hey, we've played the top teams. It's still, when you're losing week in, week out, it's very hard. So I'm going to tip the Pioneers, because I think they're just going to have enough to beat Scoresby, but it's going to be a close one.
Well, as most listeners would know, the Pioneers are one of my favourite sides. They have been over the last 5 years, and look, for that reason, I'm going to pick them. I like the way they play their football. They go about it. They had some players come back to the club this year, and I'm going to pick them to win today.
I'm going to go Scoresby just for the fact that it's at home. It's a big game for them. And they've even got so much footy down there. They've got 4 games. I think they've even got a veterans game afterwards. They're taking on St Kevin's after that game. So I know a few of the amateur boys that are going down to watch a bit earlier to get their Eastern Footy Netball League fix before they even play. So good on them.
Looks like I might have to message my wife. I won't be home till late tonight.
You going to watch the vets? You love it. You're loving a bit of vets footy, right? Yeah. And a lot of clubs do the Super Saturday with the women's and the vets now. Some clubs, Boronia, I think, have almost 6 teams. So they've got the three traditional teams, and you've got 2 women's teams and a vets team at Boronia. They got to pack it out.
Well, you can work it out and you can stagger the times, and I think it's family friendly too.
I think there's some 8:30 starts for the girls, so you got the girls they get a raw deal sometimes 8:30. I think Berwick were playing East Ringwood at 8:30 a.m. this morning.
You're on the road.
Well, I went past Roval at 9:15. There was a girls' game going on there, and they were in the third quarter.
Yeah, and you wouldn't be able to see. And sometimes at Roval, the fog would roll in. It'd be a bit of a tough spot. It'd be like playing out at a Linda or so on. Right. We're going to go to our second break here on EFNL pre-game out here at the Blood Bank. On the other side of it, we'll talk all things Division 4, and then we'll do a little preview of this game between the Warrandyte Bloods and the East Burwood Rams.
Hello, I'm Peter Hitchener. 9 News invites you to join our team nightly at 6.
All right, thanks for that, guys. That's another 4-minute break.
Thanks, Matthew.
Including the footy, plus Lavinia Nixon's weather forecast. 9 News, proud supporter of the Eastern Football League.
Only 19 shots from 53 inside 50s, down on clearances and can't lay a tackle. What was the seniors coach going to do? Jono surprised himself and everyone else. The spray he gave the boys at halftime worked. Well, he did finish it by saying he'd shout him a post-game feed and frothies at Eastland if they won. For all of life and footy's little moments, there's Eastland. Proud sponsors of the EFL. Eastland. Live real.
You've all been to funerals of family members or friends, right? Do you start thinking about what you would want at your funeral? It's a bit like when you go to a wedding.
That's right.
At what stage do you start planning?
Have an open and honest conversation with your loved ones. Celebrate your life the way you want, like I did with a fixed price funeral plan from Tobin Brothers Funerals. The price doesn't change and your life will be celebrated your way. Find out more at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner? Broke a finger, high-fiving the ruckman? Or did you run into the goal post again? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. The preferred provider of emergency care to the Eastern Football Netball League, you'll generally experience shorter wait times. You don't need private health, but there is an out-of-pocket fee. Be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department, 262 Mountain Highway, Wantirna.
Radio's #1 motorsport show is back for 2021. The Driver's Seat with Matt McKeldin and Stephen Johnson, covering everything from Formula 1 to V8 supercars.
Jack Smith from Brad Jones Racing joined us for an honest chat about his season so far.
You know, my teammates have had results and everything's going good, so if I could tell you exactly what it was that I needed to go better, I'd be very, very happy.
That's this week on The Driver's Seat.
Join Caroline Wilson and Corey Perkin for their weekly podcast, Don't Shoot the Messenger, filled with their insights into the latest news and a little sport, good local tips, and plenty of recommendations on what they're reading, watching, and whipping up in the kitchen.
Events of the past month have revealed a toxic work culture, a government that has tried to bury an alleged rape. These matters are not crusades by feminists, they're matters for the government. They affect all Australians.
I have, as you know, very unusually bad calves for boots. I can't fit into most boots. Well, I'm lying on the bed with my leg in the air so that, all the blood rushes out of my feet.
The ABC's decision to move the Q&A program to a Thursday night.
To borrow a line from a certain TV show.
60 seconds away, guys.
Ridiculous call. Why did they do a call?
You'll find the Don't Shoot the Messenger podcast on the SEN app or subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. Thanks to Red Energy, 100% Australian electricity and gas.
The senior coach has taken the team to Eastland for a post-game feed. If only they had this kind of teamwork on the field. They've just ordered starters to share, plus frothies for the whole table. And now Steve-O's chucked a prawn to Macca. He circled back. Yes! Straight into his pie hole. Yo, beauty! Good form, boys. For all of life and footy's little moments, there's Eastland. Proud sponsors of the EFL. Eastland. Live real.
Hello, I'm Peter Hitchener. 9 News invites you to join our team nightly.
10 seconds.
Thanks, mate.
Tony Jones with the latest sport, including the footy, plus Lavinia Nixon's weather forecast. 9 News, proud supporter of the Eastern Football League.
Let's head back and go local for your footy.
Back on.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Blood Bank. We're previewing today's action between Warrandyte and East Burwood here on EFNL Pre-Game. I'm Matthew Fodia, joined by Raymond Baird and Matt Spider Lee. And gentlemen, we're going to leave this game till last because we're going to jump into Division 4 where, look, it was all the news last week in Division 4, wasn't it? Chirnside getting another win, knocking off Sylvan to jump into the top 4. Croydon North getting their first ever win, and you spoke to Samuel Tiargenio during the week. I spoke to Anthony Eddy, BWSNI, on the podcast. So we've been very Kangaram-centric, but I think they're going to come crashing back to earth this week. They've got Forest Hill.
Oh, yeah, no doubt about it. Look, Forest Hill, they're another side that I think they're in a position...
4-1 at the moment.
They're in a position, though, where I think they're getting to the stage where we spoke about, what happened at Templestowe, not winning a premiership. Forest Hill are in that same area.
In that area.
They're always up there. Last season that we played, they weren't.
It was the first time they missed finals in about 6 years.
That's right, and they even got beaten by South Belgrave in extra time in one of those grand finals.
Ferntree
and all that.
Gully was close, and Don Bale by goal.
So to me, it's a crunch year for Forest Hill, I think. They've really got to get to that grand final and then see what happens from there.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. I think Forest Hill, it's their time if they're good enough. And they've got some good kids coming through, and they've got a lot of experience across the board too. So for them, you'd think that today, get the job done.
Yeah.
The problem for Forest Hill is that it always seems to be, when they're up and about, there's always another powerhouse team. So in 2016, Ferntree Gully were the best team, and they were just close enough. Don Bale in 2017, they actually got a lot closer than anyone suspected in that grand final. South Belgrave, and then this year Coldstream looked to be the runaways again, and they're taking on Nutter Wadding. Nutter Wadding, they'll be at their lowest ebb for a while again. They were built over the last couple of years. The loss to Croydon North, I don't think they would have expected that at all. And then they've come out and got this loss, and now they're playing Coldstream at Coldstream, a horrible ground to play on. Even the Coldstream players don't like it.
Okay.
It could be a massive score out there.
Look, I just worry about Nutter Wadding. Look, a loss is a loss, but I don't think anybody expected the margin that they did lose by.
And it could have been worse. Croydon North, I think, just started soaking it up.
Yes.
Because it was 11-11 to 3 behinds at half time.
That's right, yeah.
They could have really put the foot down.
Yeah.
And when you're losing, when you're losing on the scoreboard, you're losing confidence in what you're doing. Morale around the footy club goes to a real low point, and it gets hard. It does, and it gets to a point in time where something's got to give. And let's hope for Nutter Wadding so they can turn it around, but there's a lot of work to do.
I mean, remember last time we played, they had a club up in the country, Ardmona, who hadn't won a game.
Yeah, well, they pumped them.
They played Nutter Wadding. Well, Nutter Wadding would have looked at results last week because Ardmona got a win as well.
Under Shane Crawford. They were going, where's our ex-AFL Brownlow medalist?
This is the problem. They haven't got juniors.
The Kangaroos got a win, so, they must be wondering, when's it our time?
They don't have juniors. We spoke to Croydon North's coach's advisor there, Davo, during the week, and he was saying they've got 70-plus numbers at Auskick each week, which is fantastic.
But the problem with Nutter Wadding is they're surrounded by so many clubs, and this has been a story going on for 20, 30, 40 years.
It's overpop. Like, you think about Nutter Wadding is Mitcham, as you're about to say, Spotty, you've got Mitcham, East Burwood close by with Vermont, Blackburn, Surrey Park, Whitehorse Pioneers, all in better positions.
Yes.
It's hard. How are you going to...
And there's been little points in time when Nutter Wadding have had, they've had a group of people from Marsden come in when the Bellissimos were there, and they got
they got to Division 3, didn't they?
They got the success, and then they left, and then another group came in, and then... So it's very hard to sustain. It seems like a bit of stop and go for Nutter Wadding at the moment.
Absolutely. So those two games look to be, convincing wins to Coldstream and Forest Hill. Sylvan take on Kilsyth. Now, on paper, Sylvan should win this comfortably, but Kilsyth... they've got a performance in them this year, and Sylvan, there's a lot of pressure on them at the moment. They're out there, I think they're 3-3 or maybe 2-3. This is round 6, so they'd be 2-3. Lost to Chirnside Park, a loss they didn't expect. Big pressure on the Cats, because after last year when they just missed the finals, they would have been targeting finals this year, and most people would have locked them in, but Chirnside Park's performance last week puts them back on the under pressure.
Yeah, no, look, but they're coming up against Kilsyth, I spoke to some Kilsyth people during the week, and they are just totally disappointed with the way the team's performing and all that. They expected far better, and I just can't realise how bad they are. I don't want to downplay them too much, but they're Kilsyth, they're a proud club. Years ago they played in the VFA and all that, and they played 4th Division finals not that long ago. They made the grand final, and now they're back down to rock bottom.
Yeah, they just can't bring enough players through and develop them. That's been their biggest, and hold on to them for a long period of time. And
they've got juniors. They've got some good juniors, which is a good sign.
But it's a long wait, Matt. It's a long wait, and if you're not going going well on the field, kids look at that and parents look at that and say, well, the seniors are not going well. They're not well run.
Yes.
We'll look somewhere else.
Exactly.
That's I think they've got a good girl. They've started a women's program up though, and the women's are going well. So there's signs there, but like you said, it might be a long wait for them. Sylvan, on the other hand, they should get this win, but they're having a bit. They're probably not starting the year as they would have liked, but it's just about getting there, isn't it, Ray?
That's right.
And speaking of two sides trying to get there, Churnside Park 2 in a row for them. They got the big scalp last week against Sylvan. First time they've been in the top 4 in because they played so many years in Division 3
Since
without
Davo
really.
coached them, I
Well,
reckon.
probably
It is.
And then Surrey Park were 3-0, but have lost to Forest Hill and Coldie in the consecutive weeks. The Coldstream losses, obviously, people would have expected. I think they went into the Forest Hill one as favourites and were soundly beaten. And they're a different beast to Sylvan, though. So Churnside Park, it's hard to say. It's a hard one to pick. I'm leaning towards Surrey Park just because of where I had them sitting at the start of the year. But Kimberley it's a weird place to go, the shopping centre. And Churnside Park, they'd be flying high at the moment.
Yeah, no, look, I have to go for Surrey Park. I just think that, and I know they lost a lot of forward power this year with players leaving and all that, but I just think they've got enough there to. Churnside, they've been great, as you said, in the last couple of weeks, but can they keep that up? That's the question mark.
Yeah, always hard. But I think Surrey Park, but Churnside Park, I think will give them a run for a majority of the game.
Yeah.
It would be an interesting game, and like I said, Kimberley, it's a weird place to go. You would have played some cricket out there, Ray. Kimberley, it's a nice venue. It's got 2 grounds, and it will be action packed whenever the girls are at home because they've got 2 women's side and a vet side. They often have 6 games going across the 2 grounds, and they run it well in terms of the alternate times to make sure there's crowds and there's building some good atmosphere down there at Churnside. But yeah, they did need to drop down.
We talk about Tormore and Boronia with the win, but I think Churnside on a windy day, boy, the football's just down that shopping centre end the whole game. There's not much you can do about it.
Spider loves win though because he's from East Burwood.
Yeah,
the wind tunnel out there.
Yeah, the wind. Yes, exactly.
Absolutely. Now today's game, Warrandyte and East Burwood. I have Warrandyte. I didn't have them as my flag favourite. I had them as Waverly Blues. I've since beat OS on the podcast. He came late with his premiership predictions and allowed me to change mine. I've now gone with Warrandyte. I like what they've got. Buckets Phillips. Ryan Phillips is a great addition, 23 goals. They do lack another major goal kicker. I think the next best is Quinn Clark with 7. But they're going well. They knocked off Ferntree Gully, who were top of the ladder, by 40 points at Wally Chew, which is a good sign. But in recent weeks, they've been a bit off the boil. They pumped Glen Waverley here, but only scrapped a 1-point win over Scoresby. No, lost to Scoresby, sorry, by 1 point.
And bad kicking.
And Fair Park, they trailed pretty much all day and just got across the line against a side who haven't won yet. So at the moment, it's a weird read on them. And then East Burwood, the other side of it, 3-0 to start the year, went very well. 2 losses in a row, but other than that first quarter against the Waverly Blues, have actually played pretty good.
Yeah, I think the last couple of weeks, they've certainly had their key moments in games, Ray. I just think, from what I saw last week, it was really only a 5 to 10 minute patch in the third quarter where just a couple of crucial turnovers in the back half of the ground which opened the door for Ferntree Gully. I also thought just a few bigger bodies through the midfield at times were a big impact on the Rams. I like when the Rams get the ball and they run and spread and they do carry the ball on the outside. I just fear for them if they turn the ball over on the inside of the ground because they can get punished very easily. And then when they go down, I just find defensively at times they can be just play a little bit loose and not arm across shoulder enough. So that's something that they're going to have to be really cautious of today, especially when you've got a forward like Phillips who he's such a good player and he knows this ground very well and knows where to run and he'll get the delivery that he requires.
Yeah, look, one thing that worries me about East Burwood today, and you backed it up, you said you like the way they run and spread, but the thing is you're playing at Warrandyte. The ground is not the widest.
No.
Most of the football's going to be played down the corridor. It always is.
It's got weird pockets here, doesn't it, too,
It's
Ray?
got
Like
weird
that pocket, I'm pointing on what is for most people an audio measure. But yeah, the tennis club end, that left forward pocket from where we're sitting up here in the club rooms is quite a fat pocket. And then same at this end, I think you'd probably be, this side of the ground would be probably where most of the players play.
You would think it would be the most. But as I say, so most of the football is going to be played up and down the corridor. And as you said, Phillips is a big guy down there, kicked a lot of goals so far. But you've also got to remember Luke Dunn. He's 100 goal a season full forward.
Yeah, he's been around.
So he's going to be another handful, I think, for East Burwood. But East Burwood, look, they're a side you can never write off. I've always said that over the years. They can be 5-6 goals down in the third quarter, and they find a way to get back into the game.
They do score
Ray,
very
I just
quickly.
want to interrupt. Ray has obviously got great synergy because it's Luke Dunn's 200th game today, and they're just unfurling the banner out there.
Okay.
Lee Green will try and get this banner on. I don't back it in the wind. It looks like it's made out of crepe paper. He'll definitely break through it. I don't know if you guys saw the footage of the young fella from the Glen Waverly Rovers out at Central Reserve. He's run on for his 50th game with the banner. As the wind's blown and parents let go of their side and it's sort of curled in, and then he's sort of seen that and sort of tried to stop, but he was running too fast. He sort of tripped through it and gone head first through the banner, but he styled it out. He absolutely played it out. It was a great clip. Well done to Luke Dunn, and maybe he's due for a big haul today.
Well, you know, he's a great full forward. As I said, 100 goals a season. But there's a player that I love this guy. Chris Tout. You know, he played here at Warrandyte. He went to Vermont, had a couple of seasons down at Vermont. His dad's a premiership coach here at
Michael.
Michael here at Warrandyte, and I love the way he goes about. And to me, he's going to be one of the prime midfielders in this game.
Yeah, look, I think it is going to be the battle of the midfields. We know from an East Burwood perspective, like Matt Mariani and Anthony Mariani, and we also, and just in recent weeks, Bursey as well has been playing. Grenda's playing some pretty good footy, and a player that I do want to mention for East Burwood over the last few weeks, I really just think that from Jason Kennedy's leadership has been really important, and he's going to play a key role today. If he plays well, 9 times out of 10 East Burwood win.
Well, I've got Jason Kennedy down 5 times in the best players.
Yeah,
so that just backs up what you said there. And as you said, Cole Grenda, 8 goals so far this season.
Upweight to come. What was the connection?
So it's going to be a terrific game. There's no doubt about that.
Not sure.
What was the connection with Cole Grenda, Spider? Upweight to Coma?
Not too sure.
I'm pretty sure he was club captain out at Upweight for years and years.
Possibly just knows one of the boys, and I think that's how it sort of triggered, but not sure the exact communication of how he got to the club.
Before we go, gents, tips. I've got Warrandyte just on the home factor and the fact that East Burwood are just coming off a couple of losses, and I've got Warrandyte as flag favourite, so I've got to tip him.
Well, I pick Warrandyte by 10 points.
Look, I'll go with the heart. I'll go with East Burwood, the last kick of the day.
Kick of the day. So, gents, great stuff on the program. One of our best for the year, of course. You two gentlemen can talk the legs off a chair. So, and especially when we're talking about footy. Ray, welcome back upstairs, mate. After a couple of weeks on the boundary, and Spider, welcome back to the team, mate.
Great to be here on a Saturday Arvo.
Been enjoying your work on Sundays, mate. It's good to see you on Saturday Arvo. On behalf of Raymond, Spider, and myself, Matthew Fody, thank you for joining us on the pre-game. On the other side of this break, you'll be able to join us on the SEN app. You can jump over on Facebook and YouTube to watch the game. Thanks to the good work from Lee Green on EFNL Media. Or you can, of course, join us on the old faithful Radio Eastern 98.1 FM. Cheers.
Only 19 shots from...
Thanks for that, guys. Back in 4 minutes.
Thanks, Matthew.
Tackle. What was the seniors coach going to do? Jono surprised himself and everyone else. The spray he gave the boys at halftime worked. Well, he did finish it by saying he'd shout him a post-game feed and frothies at Eastland if they won. For all of life and footy's little moments, there's Eastland. Proud sponsors of the EFL. Eastland. Live real.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner? Broke a finger, high-fiving the ruckman? Or did you run into the goal post again? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. The preferred provider of emergency care to the Eastern Football Netball League, you'll generally experience shorter wait times. You don't need private health, but there is an out-of-pocket fee. Be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department, 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
At Yarra Valley Water, we know reducing your shower time, or for some people, show time, to 4 minutes can save you an average of $255 a year on water and energy bills. Save the performance for the stage. Shower shorter. Save water.
Do you feel good about your bank? Because there is a bank you can feel good about. They share their profits to fund big community projects, small community clubs, and vital emergency services. They've given $250 million to help Australian communities thrive. They have all the products and tech you expect from a big bank, with service you don't. It's Bendigo Bank. Feel good about who you bank with. Try Bendigo. Search bendigobank.com.au or search Bendigo Bank near me.
Hello, I'm Peter Hitchener. 9 News invites you to join our team nightly at 6 for Melbourne's #1 news. Tony Jones with the latest sport, including the footy, plus Lavinia Nixon's weather forecast. 9 News, proud supporter of the Eastern Football League.
You've all been to funerals of family members or friends, right? Do you start thinking about what you would want at your funeral? It's a bit like when you go to a wedding. At what stage do you start planning?
Have an open and honest conversation with your loved ones. Celebrate your life the way you want, like I did with a fixed price funeral plan from Tobin Brothers Funerals. The price doesn't change and your life will be celebrated your way. Find out more at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
At Eastland, we believe one day isn't enough to celebrate all that our beautiful mums do. That's why we're celebrating Happy Mother's Days, the festival of love she deserves. From dining to fashion, homewares or a pampering session, Eastland has all your favourite brands ready to spoil mum. And if you need inspiration, check out our online gift guides. Spend $250 and you'll go in the running to win a $50 Eastland gift card till May 8th. T's and C's apply. Find out more at eastland.com.au. Eastland, live real.
Okay, guys, we're back in 60 seconds now.
Through the banner, broke a finger high-fiving the ruckman, or did you run into the goal post again? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. The preferred provider of emergency care to the Eastern Football Netball League, you'll generally experience shorter wait times. You don't need private health, but there is an out-of-pocket fee. Be seen sooner close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department, 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
The senior coach has taken the team to Eastland for a post-game feed. If only they had this kind of teamwork on the field. They've just ordered starters to share, plus frothies for the whole table. And now Steve-O's chucked a prawn to Macca. He circled back. Yes! Straight into his pie hole.
All right, 10 seconds now.
Come on, boys. For all of life and footy's little moments, there's Eastland, proud sponsors of the EFL. Eastland, live real.
It's time for the match of the round. Let's cross to our team and go local for your footy.
Axon.
And welcome. You're listening to SEN 1116 on the Crystal Clear app, simulcast on Radio Eastern 98.1 and streaming around the globe on YouTube and Facebook. It's the match of the round. It's Division 3 football here live from Warrandyte. It's Warrandyte taking on East Burwood, second playing fourth here in Division 3, and a pivotal clash for both clubs as Warrandyte looked to snatch top spot and East Burwood looked to progress themselves out of that logjam pack of several clubs on 12 points in the middle of the table. My name's Steve White. We'll be taking you through till 5 p.m. this afternoon on our match of the day. We'll also be bringing you all the scores from around the Eastern Football Netball League this afternoon as you go local for your football. Well, big game of footy out here in the outskirts of the urban sprawl of Melbourne. Can't do this all on my own. And joining me shotgun here in the call chair this afternoon, it's a very good afternoon to Brett Beston.
Good afternoon, Steve. Yeah, lovely to be out here. I tell you what, this is my first visit to Warrandyte, and I think I'd like to come here every week. It's absolutely fantastic. Admittedly, the weather's nice, but it's a beautiful, picturesque ground, and we're up on the balcony here, and you couldn't ask for better conditions. It's going to be a great day.
Absolutely, and a bit of a discussion about the odd shape of the pockets out here, but particularly at the, let's say, the tennis court end. But we'll obviously digest that a bit later in the broadcast. And joining us also in the broadcast on special comments, promoted from the boundary from last week. Very good afternoon to Ray Baird.
Good afternoon to all our listeners out there. You know, it's great to be out here, downtown Warrandyte.
Downtown, particularly the parking as well. I had to park all the way towards whatever that was.
I play cricket here. I've got my own private car park.
I was going to say...
He's got VIP parking.
I was going to say it's the Ray Baird helipad over there.
He's actually the mayor of Warrandyte. No.
Vote 1 Ray Baird. And joining us on the... you heard him on pre-game, but joining us for, I believe, his first EFNL broadcast since 2015, the man, the myth, the legend. You've heard him on EFNL Sunday all season. Welcome to Matt Spider Lee.
Yeah, good afternoon to you, Steve, and all of our listeners and all the team here at Warrandyte. Great to be here and looking forward to what will be an interesting game of footy between two sides looking to cement their spot up near the top end of the ladder.
So, Brett, we'll start with you. Your thoughts on this game for both sides coming into today?
Look, fairly difficult for me to say because I haven't seen these two sides play an awful lot. I mean, East Burwood obviously made the 2019 finals and did pretty well. Warrandyte I haven't seen played, but the guy that I'm really looking forward to seeing for Warrandyte is big Ryan Phillips. Now, he's come via Upper Fentry Gully and also Vermont too. 23 goals for the season. He's kicked 5 last week, and I actually walked past him when I was downstairs, and the man's about 7'5". He's enormous, so he's going to be really difficult. It'll be interesting to see who the East Burwood side play on. I was leaning towards East Burwood, but looking at this ground and the slightly unusual configuration, I think Warrandyte might get it done at home today.
Ray?
Yeah, look, I'm going for Warrandyte by 10 points. As I said in pre-match, most of the games here at Warrandyte are played down the corridor. Spider Lee said he likes the way that East Burwood spread. Well, you haven't got a lot of room to spread on this ground, and you go down the forward line, as you said. You know, you got Phillips down there. You got Luke Dunn, 100 goals in a season. But having said that, let's take nothing away from East Burwood. Look, they've come up a division from Division 4 last year. You know, they've had a very dominant season down there, but up here, and you've got to look at, Matthew Mariani, been around forever, but is he a good player? He's going to play a huge part in this game, and as I said, Warrandyte by 10 points for me.
Spider?
Look, I said in pre-game as well, East Burwood probably the last kick of the day for me. I think this could be an absolute nail-biter. I think they're two really good teams. I think the one thing with East Burwood is they will use the ball on the outside. It's whether they're good enough on the inside at stoppages with Warrandyte. We know they're a strong team in that area of the ground.
Absolutely. So we're about 5 minutes away, I think, from their first ball up of this afternoon. And looking across Division 3 as we are focused on that for this afternoon. Donvale taking on Glen Waverly. The Waverly Blues hosting Fair Park. Obviously, Warrandyte East Burwood out here is our match of the day. And Scoresby and Whitehorse. So plenty of ramifications for the table this afternoon, gentlemen.
Well, could turn on its head, as they say. I mean, look, you could be in contention and then out of the contention pretty quickly. So, important games. And, look, I think this division is just shaping up to be one of the most even in a very long time. It feels like a bit like the old Division 2. Remember, we used to always say, we always used to be bottom could beat top. And, it just used to be unbelievable. We'd see the results. But it's got a lot of feeling like that.
So we're over a third of the way through the season. What are we sort of feeling about Division 3? I know you touched on it in pre-game and just then. What are we sort of seeing as the trends develop in Division 3, gentlemen?
Well, Furniture Gully last week were really good, Ray. I thought they were really good at the contest. Strong bodies, go inside 50 a lot. Warrandyte, they like to play that, get it in quickly to Phillips. East Burwood like to move the ball nice and fast. So we're seeing a lot, but I think the big key to Division 3 is being able to sustain your form week by week and really just crunch the numbers and try and be competitive week after week. And it just comes down to last man standing pretty much.
Exactly right. And I don't think, you look down the team, even the bottom teams, the bottom two in the ladder in this division, on their day, they're going to knock off anybody, so there you go.
It's a bit of an attitude thing, isn't it, Ray? Like any game of footy, if you come full of attitude, you can do anything. But if you're just a fraction off and your effort's not there, then you certainly can pay for that at the end of the day. And
East Burwood won the toss and will kick to the shopping centre end up here to our right.
Should we call it the Coles end or the depending on who's sponsoring us this afternoon? No.
Sorry, guys. The other thing I wanted to mention too was obviously the battle in the middle is going to be big today, and Chris Tout is very well, highly touted, excuse the pun, and he's going to be a monster in there today. So the midfield battle will obviously be a big one, and Warrandyte probably with a bit of an edge there.
Yeah, and East Burwood, they've probably gone tall today for the first time for the year. They've probably brought a few extra talls in. They probably feel that's an area that they have to go with Warrandyte to try and exploit them, try and get that extra tall down their own end of the ground. So it'll be interesting to see how that shapes up as the day unfolds.
And some other players to watch in your view, guys? Best on ground, potentially predictions?
Grenda, Middleton for East Burwood. Matt Mariani's always one that's hovering around those sort of accolades, and Jason Kennedy as well. He's week after week we just keep praising the way that he goes about his footy.
All right, so players are about to line up for the first centre bounce of this afternoon. Don't forget, tomorrow, EFNL Sunday from 10 o'clock on the SCN EFNL Crystal Clear app. You can tune in there and we'll catch all the results from across the Eastern Football Netball League and have a chat with some of the victorious coaches and preview next week's fixtures. And don't forget to tune in to EFNL Insight during the week. Usually airs on a Thursday, but let's cross boundary side. I believe BWS is in position.
Well, almost. The better looking of BWS. It's Tyson Popplestone down here. And boys, what a day to be relegated to the boundary. The sun is shining. There is not a breath of wind here. I reckon we're going to see some real good, fast football today. It should be clean.
Absolutely, and I was going to say Tyson, the more punctual of the two, considering he went to the wrong ground to start the day. But that's all right, just
wait till it gets to about 4 o'clock, Tyson. It's freezing cold down here. You might be so happy.
Yeah, I hope Tyson's happy around about 4 o'clock when the Templestowe doctor, not the Fremantle doctor, the Templestowe doctor comes in there, mate. You're going to be looking for an overcoat.
So we're set for action. Here comes Brett Beston to bring us in.
So, first ball up at the darp, it goes. Good over the top coming, nice set out for Gould as the Warrandyte, for Hayton as the ball goes out wide. A little bit of a filling out period, gathering it over there. Warrandyte in possession. Bursting away there is Rackite. It was stabbed forward. It's all a bit untidy. Nice pick up there. And here they come forward. They kick towards full forward. It might go through. It has. What a goal. All very scrappy. Who was that, boys?
Mariani. Look, that just showed the strength of Mariani. We spoke about his strength and the way he plays his football. He just pushed the Warrandyte player off the ball there and picked it up and went straight forward into the goals.
Yeah, no hesitation there. He just pushed the ball forward and then quickly got it onto his boot and it's gone through for the first goal of the game.
So, what a start.
So, Matt Mariani, brute force.
And this has been a problem for us at the starts too. So to get a goal straight away is a real good thing for them, and give them a bit of confidence.
So Hanlon v Hayton in the rucking contest to start this one. Hayton grabs that one right out of midair. Got a few players to bust through. One being the goal scorer there, Mariani. They end up in a pile just towards the edge of the centre circle. We'll have another ball up. So less than a minute in, we've got our first score. East Burwood leading 1 straight 6. Warrandyte yet to score. Give that one to Hayton, punches it forward about 5 metres. Brooking was slung almost with one arm pinned, but umpire says give it back to me, and we'll have take 2 of the ball up. As the Rucks go at it again, Hayton over the top, almost got the early edge, trying to drive that one forward. There was Hanlon, and another pile in the middle of the ground, and as Ray said at the start, this game's played down the middle, and it's sort of been that way for only 2 minutes, but however, not a big enough sample size, but I'm sure that trend will continue. Rucks go at it again. Give that one there to Hanlon. Tapped out, trying to bust through the pack now. Brooking, free kick, holding the ball. Great tackle there, applied by Mariani, and he's won himself a free kick. And away come East Burwood through Jenkins. Sells the dummy, then puts a hand pass over the top, looking for his teammate there in Lockie Gould, and that's gone out of play, and we'll have a boundary throw in.
So, East Burwood getting off to a good start here as the ball is going to be thrown back in. Looking forward to the ruck jaw this afternoon. Going to be an absolute crack up. There it goes, almost taking possession. There was East Burwood, but it's fallen for them, and they get the kick forward towards about half forward. Up they fly, goes right over the top. I think that was Middleton there. Didn't quite get hands on it. There's a push, and the whistle's gone. It will come back for a
Lucky Buckley.
So
free kick to Buckley.
Kick to Warrandyte as they spread it out. Taken nicely there by Brooking. And goes into the middle of the ground. Nice mark taken there too by Myers. Myers right in the middle of this magnificent ground here. Really is picturesque as the ball goes out wide. Mark taken out there. I think it's Dib maybe on that far side. Decides to get it forward inside 50. Can they get a mark? It's not a great kick. There's plenty of defence back there. Logan with the spoil as it goes out towards the boundary, but they'll get it back. Kennedy in there looking for it for East Burwood, and it's over towards the boundary line and taken across the boundary line.
Some good defensive play there, Ray, by the Rams, just to get their numbers across, which is really important when then the forwards are pressing up.
So 3.5 played, 1 straight 6. East Burwood lead. Warrandyte yet to score. Getting the fist on that there was Hayton. Congestion there on the far side. It's pumped forward towards the half-forward line now here for East Burwood. Dribbling football. Buckley sweeps it up well. Handbars off now here to his teammate, and Kyle Thompson puts it in towards the edge of the centre square, attacking side of the ground. Ball goes to the deck, and it's well picked up now here by Warrandyte. Selling that one there was Cullum. His handball, though, was intercepted, and East Burwood are going to come away and wheel around now here through Simonella. Pops a high up and under to centre wing, and all Buckley all day. He takes the mark and plays on quickly. Pumps this in towards the half-forward line, but East Burwood players outnumbering Warrandyte jerseys, but they make a meal of that one and it goes out of bounds.
Yeah, players from both sides just really sort of sanding each other at the moment, but good defence by the Rams at the moment. The forward pressure has got to be a little bit more intent.
And some costly turnovers by Warrandyte too.
Rucks go at it again. It spills out loose now here for Stevens. His handball out. It's kicked up towards the half-forward line now for East Burwood. Probably should have marked that one. Yeah. Should have Warrandyte through there from Andrew White. Decided to punch that one over the boundary line, and we'll have a boundary thrown.
So look at John Middleton. He's an absolutely enormous man. Not so much in his build, but he's probably the tallest man on the ground, shielding his eyes from the sun. He'll be a key fit, but he gets beaten on that occasion. The ball goes right over the top. Hayton it was, he got the knockdown, but the whistle's gone. And the umpire says...
I probably don't even come up to the mark on his tattoo on his right leg.
I walked past him pre-game, and I tell you what, he's a big man as the tap goes down. Going in there looking for it was Kennedy. Ball on the ground, but nicely done in the hands of Brooking now. Brooking taking the ground, good tackle. Ball comes out, prize of holding the ball. That's Hodgson with the football. Gets it forward. It's a very untidy piece of play, and in the end the umpire says we'll have a whistle. And it'll be a free kick to East Burwood. They go quickly up the line, but that's not a great kick, and it's been cut off easily. And now it's Warrandyte's turn to go forward. They go to about half forward. Up they go for it. It was Jenkins who got a key hand in there just to spoil it. And it's fallen out the back there for Johnston, who lets rip. And that's off target. And through for a minor score.
Yeah, just got to be really sensitive, the Rams, in that defensive part of the ground when you're releasing the ball to come back up the ground. Just got to whiff your vision a bit.
And they've got to keep a wide awake to Warrandyte, because every time Warrandyte take a mark off, they try and play on.
Yeah.
So East Burwood pumped the ball back in. It's going to go all the way out to centre wing. Well handled there by Simonella. Pops a hand pass out. Taken away by East Burwood. And a high up and under to centre wing. Middleton probably should have taken that one. It spills loose now. It's all Warrandyte on the deck. Taken away here by Rakai. He hand passes this one off to Andrew White. Kicks this one in towards the forward line. It's a juggling football. A number of players, but bursting through there was Cullum. Gets the hand pass out. Here's a chance now for Warrandyte. Here through Dunn. He's wrapped up in the tackle. Loose tackle. Footy on the deck. On to Johnston. He's taken out too. Ferocious defence here by East Burwood. So ferocious, got my tongue tied, just like the players being tackled, and we'll have a ball up.
Yeah, it was
great pressure. Great pressure by East Burwood early in the game.
And Steve White being subbed out for a couple of minutes. He's got a cork tongue.
Medical sub. Rest of the game. So 6.5 played. 1 straight 6 leads 1 behind. As the ball pops out now here to Grenda. His kick in towards the centre of the ground. Foot race is a bouncing footy. Middleton takes it well and wheels around the boundary line. Puts one in. A one-on-one contest now in the back line. Who's going to get on top of this? Great mark. I would have paid that one there. Barlow. He's got himself a free kick.
Over the shoulder.
Yeah, over the shoulder going back with the flight. Barlow will line up right on the boundary, about 25 out, and a chance for East Burwood second.
Yeah, it was actually good work by Middleton there, Ray. Yeah. I think just a bit of experience, knowing where the ball was.
He's got a bit of pace, hasn't he, Middleton?
I tell you what, when he was stretching out, he would take about 7 metres between steps the way he was running in, right in front of us.
So Barlow sprays that one across the face of goal, and just a minor score for East Burwood. 1-1-7. They lead Warrandyte 1 behind, 7.5 played.
And that's only his fall down. He's just got to kick a few more of those sort of goals. He has missed a few in the last few weeks.
Yeah, but the pressure of East Burwood has been fantastic. You know, Warrandyte, they haven't had a skerrick of chance to get rid of the ball on most occasions.
So it's White that brings it back in for Warrandyte, looking for his teammate, and Thompson finds him in the back pocket, but the ball goes to ground. White manages to recover, gets a bit of a dodgy handball over the top, and it's towards the boundary line.
That was a bit rough.
Bit eager blowing the whistle there, the boundary umpire. We had a perfect picture of that one.
We did.
Leroy might be able to get that on a replay. No?
I was actually following the ball, but the umpire to throw it in. And it goes. Middleton is there. In fact, I think he got the knockdown in the end. Ball goes to ground. It was Thompson who was in there looking for it for Warrandyte. Got a little period this for East Burwood. Forward goes Hayton into the about half forward. In fact, full forward. Ball was looking there. Was White was looking for it. Bouncing around. Can they get it out cleanly and get a shot on goal? Not in that situation. Well, in fact, they do get it out, but it's going to be a snap. And it's a goal. Absolute opportunist goal there. It's fallen for Neat. Looked like it was wrapped up at the bottom of the scrimmage there, but it just came out and said Neat just put it on the right foot, bang, and through it went out of absolutely nothing. So a goal for East Burwood, and it gives them the lead now. It's 2-1-13 playing 1 behind, and they're going to go back and score.
Yeah, well, and that's the sort of footy that Neat likes to play. Look, he's an opportunist, and he took full advantage of that ball. Look, it wasn't a great passage of play, was it?
No, it wasn't.
It was just a working of the ball forward, but you capitalise on those sort of ones and you get them from time to time, and they'll take it.
Yep.
So East Burwood by 2 straight kicks here at the moment, 2-1-13 to 1 behind. Rucks go at it in the centre of the ground, give that one there to Hanlon. Ball pops out. It's all Warrandyte jumpers over the top of it, but the ball's not going anywhere anyway, and we'll have another ball up. So 13 plays 1 here on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard on the SEN 1116 on the Crystal Clear app and simulcast on Radio Eastern 98.1. Ruck in contest again. Trying to take that away was Owen, and he's tackled pretty well there by Chris Tout, one of our players to watch for this afternoon.
Yeah, good to see Spence Owen playing his first game for the season. He's been a good player in the seconds recently.
Ball's one out of the ruck and pumped into the forward line now here for the Rams. It's swatted back out now, but all the way into the hands of Jason Kennedy. He's high up and under kick in towards the square. It's a one-on-one contest. Trying to drag it down was Barlow. It's pounced on now here by the Bloods, and they pop this one back out now here to Buckley, and he takes a stabilising mark now in the back pocket. Swings across the face, and the switch is on now. Here's Hodgson on the far side of the ground. Puts this one up towards centre wing area. All alone there was Lockyer Duran, and he's about 80 from home. He assesses his options upfield, and he's got a few of them breaking away on the lead. We've got a player isolated, and Warrandyte have the mark here, and it's a good mark by Ryan Phillips, and he'll go back from about 35-40 out for potentially Warrandyte's first major this afternoon.
The way that Warrandyte brought that ball out of defence end, that's their game style. That's what you're going to see as the game progresses. Move the ball quickly, switch the ball if you have to.
Phillips already got 23 on the year. Puts it onto the right boot. Has it got the accuracy? No, just the minus score, and that's Warrandyte's second minus score of the afternoon. They're 2 behinds. East Burwood 2-1-13. We've played 10.5 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. Brett Beston.
So East Burwood to bring it back in. Ryan Phillips kicked 5 last week, but he's missed his first real opportunity today. As East Burwood bring it back, the kick down to about half back. He's Middleton, wrestling to the front. I think he got the tap in the end, but it's not really a clean ball as it comes to ground. Going in there, whistling it out, I think it was Thompson as the ball goes. Now here's Warrandyte coming forward again. They really are looking good. That was Powell. Now it's in the hands now of Buckley, but there's a whistle. Buckley goes inboard into the corridor. The ball was lost there. Good mark taken there by White. Now they go forward again. In fact, it's East Burwood that have stolen the ball there. Coming across, nice work there. And it'll be wrapped up on the bottom of that pack, I think, is Max Wills.
Yeah, he gives the Rams a lot of run. He's a young, developing player and still got he got a bit of craft to his game to work on, but he started okay.
So up it goes as they get the tap out. It's Phillips. In fact, it was Phillips who went into the ruck that time, so doing a bit of a dual roll as the ball is in the tight stuff again. It's waiting for it to come out, and East Burwood do get it out, and they get the kick out towards the flank, waiting underneath it there. Was one of the Warrandyte players who manages to get away, gets a nice little handball up the top there. That's White. And the kick forward to about half forward. Oh, brilliant mark.
Good mark.
Great mark coming over the top there. That is Johnston, the big man. And he will go back and have a shot on goal. So, looking all right, Warrandyte. Even though they're behind on the scoreboard, you feel that they're very much still in this game. Here's Nicholas Johnston. He makes reasonably good contact. The umpire's on the move, though, and it's out to the right. So that's another opportunity to go with the one that Phillips missed just a couple of minutes ago. And it's an 11-point game. 2-1-13 plays 3 behind. It's a 10-point game on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
So East Burwood to bring the footy back in. First quarter swings and roundabouts at the moment, but East Burwood have it where it matters. Punched into the middle of the ground. Tackled there was Myers for Warrandyte, going to ground as well, and straight back into the arms of the umpire will go the football.
Boundary.
Let's go across down boundary side of Tyson Polpstone.
I don't know if you noticed, boys, there's a few sloppy marks being dropped as the ball's kicked down to East Burwood's forward line. The Sun couldn't be in a worse spot for someone trying to mark the ball for them. I think Warrandyte have an advantage marking it in their forward line. Sun behind them.
Yeah, spot on there. I thought it was also not great for boundary riders without Sunnies, I would say. But...
Steve's got some. He'll lend them yours, Ty.
I think they'll be going missing at half-time. Here's the kick in towards the forward line. Phillips couldn't take the mark. Bursting through now here at Warrandyte, and Jemmy's over the football. Did well to win that battle and try to force it out over the boundary line. Players converge, and Jemmy bursts through, gets the football out. Great tackle applied there by Dibb, and he brings his man down. And I believe he's won himself a free kick. No, he hasn't. Ball up inside the forward line here for Warrandyte.
Yeah, they did well to hold the ball in the 50 there. That was a real important stoppage.
Rucks go at it again. Players diving on the football, and we'll have yet another ball up. There's a game of inches now here in the forward line. inside 50s, I'd have to say would be an advantage in the court of Warrandyte so far, but they've been the least accurate of the two sides. Tap one now here by Warrandyte. Ball spills out to Mitch Buckley. He goes to ground. And, free kick. Holding the ball. And looks like Buckley's won the free. And so Warrandyte are going to line up for another shot at goal. As you can see there, it looks like he just dragged it in. And Buckley gives him a little tap to remind him who got the free kick. And anyway, Warrandyte are going to have a shot here. Mitch Buckley to line up from about 40 metres out. He puts it on to the right. Has it got the carry? Yes, it does. And that's Warrandyte's first major of the afternoon. It's taken them 4 shots, but they finally got the 6-pointer. They are 1-3-9, trailing East Burwood 2-1-13, 14 and a half played in the first quarter on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, gentlemen.
We just had a bit of control, Ray, over the last 5 minutes. I think Warrandyte, just ball going into the 50 pretty easily. Rams just struggling to get it out at the moment.
Yeah, you're right. The first 5 minutes of the game, the Warrandyte defence were the ones under pressure, but the last 5 minutes or so, that it's been the other end at East Burwood.
So you feel Warrandyte probably were worthy of that goal. They didn't deserve to be behind as far as they were on the scoreboard. They've had a pretty good period in this game, and they're back in the middle. What a contrast in the rucks today. The big man Hayton, he's got the real body shape and the strength in the ruck against the lighter bodies of the East Burwood side. As the ball is knocked down there, it was Hanlon who got the ruck, but the umpire's going to throw it up again. Up it goes. Hayton, he can virtually just stand there and knock the other guys out of the way. Hanlon it was who might have got the tap that time. Back into the tight stuff, and we'll have another ball up. So that'll be 3 in about 30 seconds. Perfect conditions out here today. It really couldn't be. It's almost like a summer's day or an early spring day. But goes again. Hayton again. He's beaten to the front spot by Hanlon there. But it's come away for Brooking, who gets it onto the boot. Goes inside 50. Wrestling there. A couple of good marks. No, in fact, it was dropped in the end. Coming forward there was, it might have been Wallace, I think. As the ball goes to ground again, can they get it out? Warrandyte, because they're still in a good position on the boot of Buckley. Buckley goes inside 50. Going back there trying to save the day was Wills, and he's dropped the ball. There's all sorts of trouble going on here. Ball goes loose. It was it was Brixton who dropped it.
Boundary.
And the umpire says we'll ball it up. Let's go boundary side with Tyson Popplestone.
Guys, just notice Matthew Jenkins for East Burwood's just come off nursing what looks to be a sprained wrist, already strapped. Be an interesting one to watch. I'll keep you posted.
Thanks, Tyson, as the ball is one in the ruck there by East Burwood, but we'll have a secondary ball up. So, up it goes again. There's the hit down, the tap out, should I say. East Burwood having a good little period here. They've just got it locked inside 50. They just haven't been able to put as much scoreboard pressure on as the ball is thumped down to about centre of the ground. Going up there looking for it was White, couldn't take it on the ground. And the umpire says we'll have a ball up.
The ball came out of the East Burwood defence, and there was just a wall of 3 Warrandyte players there.
It was, yeah. It was good work by the Bloods there.
So Middleton into the ruck now. Mariani tries to charge through like a rhino, and he's given away the free kick. A little too exuberant, I think, on that burst of speed. But when you're that size, I don't think it's really low percentage in terms of giving over a turnover. Here's Myers to take the free kick here on centre wing. And all targets pretty well covered as he surveys the scene and pumps this one in towards the forward line now here for Warrandyte. More East Burwood jerseys there than anything else, and one of them being the number 24 of Zach Hanlon. He goes back to go forwards now. He goes here to Max Wills, and he'll steady the ship. Put a short pass, was dangerous, and chopped off there really well by Johnston, and he'll go back and line up from about 40 out for Warrandyte's potential second goal.
Not too dissimilar, Ray, to last week. Just a couple of mistakes by the Rams defence, which has coughed up a couple of opportunities and now a shot on goal.
Yeah, you've got to kick this to make East Burwood pay.
So Johnston puts it onto the right, and too much to the right. It's just the one behind. Warrandyte move to 1-4-10. They trail East Burwood 2-1-13. We've played 18 minutes on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard in quarter number 1, Brett Beston.
I know they've only kicked 4 points at this stage, Warrandyte, but you don't want to be too inaccurate because it could cost them later in the game.
We see it every week, Ray. Goal kicking can cost you both in the AFL and the EFNL as the ball goes out towards the halfback wing, and it's on the ground, and the umpire says we'll ball it up. And those kicks, to be honest, that have been missed, they haven't been difficult ones, and the conditions are really good today, so no real excuse. Up it goes. It was Hanlon trying to get his hands there, but there's a push, I think, in there by someone, and the umpire says we'll have a free kick to East Burwood. So it's a 3-point game, and we've played coming up to 19 minutes in this quarter. So up it goes. Up the line, up they fly. That's a terrific grab. Fantastic stuff by Buckley, reaching over the top. Plenty of players calling for the ball. Buckley sends it forward. Another inside 50 coming up for Warrandyte, and that'll be a free kick. And that was Cullum. He got a whack, so Cullum is probably a bit far out to score, but he sends it to about half forward. It's knocked away nicely there by Rixton, did well, and then he bounds it out towards the boundary line, but it's still in over there. Warrandyte going in there looking for it. They're diving on the ball there. It was Kennedy, one of the players around the ball, and the umpire says we'll have a ball up.
Some good work then by Eddie Rixton. He's been playing okay the last few weeks. He's a key in their defensive part of the ground.
So, and it comes again. Let's watch this ruck. Rixton's been on the ruck for quite a bit so far in these early stages as East Burwood get it forward. Long ball forward. Mark's not taking it, and they get it off half back. He's Warrandyte, should I say, and they go inside 50. Mark not taken, ball diving on there, trying to get his hands on the ball. Now it's in the hands of Richardson. Richardson gets it away. Now it's back to Brooking, and they've lost the ball. They're just a bit too
much
over-possessing the ball, Warrandyte, and in the end they've turned it over, and it's a free kick to East Burwood.
So the kick now comes out towards the Buckley direction, goes through his fingers, trying to rove that one now here for the Rams is Pickering. Ball comes back the other way out onto the wing. Players converge. Trying to evade the tackle there was Racky. He kicks this one in towards the edge of the centre square, and the Warrandyte Football Club move this on very quickly but very poorly as well, as that grubber kick ends up in towards the forward line. Though it pops out now. Here's a quick shot. Snap around the body, and it's just one behind. And Warrandyte again, inaccurate kicking, 1-5-11. They trail East Burwood 2-1-13, 2 points the margin as we enter time on here in the first quarter. So to bring the footy back in are the Rams, short kick now. Jason Kennedy takes the mark, puts it onto the right boot out towards the centre wing area. And good mark going back with the flight of the footy there by Neat. And he's already got one this afternoon, kicked the first goal of the game. He assesses the scene up front, kicks it in towards centre half forward. It's 2v2. Middleton, the tallest man out there, takes the mark and might back himself here and at least pump it into the goal square.
He's got a pretty long kick on him, Jai. It's not beyond him, that's for sure.
The big man has gone back into the right on the line, Hayton for the big ruckman for Warrandyte.
So Middleton, he's going to have a ping. I'd say he'd boot from about 50, 55. And we'll see if he can grab another one here into time on here for East Burwood. Puts it onto the right. Looks like it's going to go towards the left and touched anyway. So just the minus score. So 2-2-14 East Burwood. They lead Warrandyte 1-5-11 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. 21 minutes played in the first quarter.
It just didn't come off the middle of the foot there. You could just tell it was offline straight away once he dropped the ball.
Yeah, I think he leaned back too much with his body when they're kicking of it instead of getting over the ball.
And so Warrandyte to bring it back in. They decide to go straight down the middle of the ground. Flying high there was Middleton. He had it for a minute, but he lost it. And now Warrandyte again. That's a bit of a dangerous handball, and the tackle is made. The ball comes out. That'll be a free kick to no effect. Free kick. Yeah, we're coming back for the free kick, which will be for Warrandyte, which they'll take around about half back. Be pretty happy with the way they've played this first half, Warrandyte. Maybe not quite so happy with the scoreboard. You feel they should be a little bit further in front as Myers takes a good mark on the half-back flank. Goes forward, trying to find a target. In fact, a 30-metre penalty. Well spotted, Ray. Now it's put in, but that's a terrible kick, and it's gone straight to an opposition player. And the Myers will be furious because that was a great opportunity as East Burwood try and grab a late one. But getting back there nicely was, I think it was Verstegen at the back. Verstegen gets a little handball over the top. Chasing it out there was Buckley, and he gets the bounce to Buckley. Warrandyte go quickly to rebound as they go inside 50 again. A diving attempt at a mark there, not taken. Diving on it there again. It was Warrandyte. At the bottom of that, I think it might be Hanlon.
It's been good in this first quarter.
Yep, so Hanlon, the umpire will ball it up. We've got 22 minutes gone. Up it goes. Oh, that was a huge push there. And I think it's going to be a free kick to Warrandyte. That was blatant.
Phillips, is it?
Yeah. So this should be a gift for Warrandyte, you would think. Just watch the replay. It wasn't a body check. It was, it was a huge push. I thought it was when I first saw it, just to make sure.
Yeah, just enough for the umpire to see it straight away. It was right in front of him.
Yeah, I think that was a pretty easy one. So Phillips, yet to trouble the scorers today, but he's had a fantastic season. He leads the competition with 23 goals. Can he make it 24? There's the kick, but he's off target. Umpire was moving, and the kicks that are being missed today, this could really come back to haunt these two sides as it goes through for a minor score. So it's 2-2-14 playing 1-6-12, and we've had 23 and a half minutes gone on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
7 scoring shots to 4. East Burwood, the more accurate of the two clubs. And they'll bring the footy back in now here through Maxwell's. His kick up towards the half-back line and a good mark taken there by Jenkins. He goes by hand to Anjemi, shakes one, pops one over the top now here to Kennedy. Had to be quick. His kick was smothered though, and it goes over the boundary line for a boundary throw-in.
Yeah, just got some meterage there. Unfortunately for the Rams, they got it smothered, but it was a good defensive play by the Bloods.
So, just a shade over 24 minutes played. I'd say another minute or two at least in this quarter. Not many stoppages. Trying to bust through again there was Owen, and we'll have another ball up. Hayton doing the bulk of the rucking duties as Dafford into the ruck now for East Burwood. Taken on the one bounce there by Pickering. He got tackled pretty quickly, and Jemmy lays another tackle as well, and Pickering back for a second bite at the cherry, and it's going to be another ball up right on the edge of the centre square. So 2 points the margin. Rams in front out here in this Division 3 clash in the Eastern Football Netball League. Ball up ensues. That's whipped over the top there by Hayton. Going by foot there was Richardson. The ball bounces awkwardly. Good tackle applied there by Wills, and well done. Probably pretty lucky not to get done for dragging that one in, I would think. But ball up in the forward pocket now here for Warrandyte. And maybe one last chance for one before the first quarter siren. With the Rams try to pop this one out. Onto the boot goes Phillips. And it's just the minor score. Just another point, the story of the first term for Warrandyte. They've got 7 of them. It's 1-7-13. They trail by 1 to East Burwood, 2-2-14. 25 minutes gone in the first term.
So, not a high-scoring game, but it's certainly been an entertaining one. It's just been the case of both sides missing their opportunities as East Burwood bring it back in. Nice kick. Bursey, haven't called his name too much in the opening stages, but he has the football now on about half-back. Puts it onto the left foot, goes long. Can someone get it? It's really not a great kick. It's to nobody in particular. Bouncing around down there, trying to get his hands on it was...
Oh, there's Middleton.
Burwood played. Middleton's on his own. He's going to run into an open goal. Surely won't miss from there. And he has put it through. So Middleton, great play and quick transfer there by East Burwood, and that's a bit of a killer blow for Warrandyte. They've had most of the play, but East Burwood pinch a late one, and they've hit the front. It's 3-2-20, playing 1-7-13 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
Spider, it makes you wonder, when most of the play prior to that goal was inside the forward 50 for Warrandyte, how a player like Middleton can be up the other end, inside the 50, and the other end on his own.
It's
no
incredible.
One within metres.
No, that was just undisciplined. I'm sure Warrandyte coaching panel wouldn't be happy with that. And just the fact that even the kick from Bursey, which in the commentary we said it probably wasn't a great one, but the option was there. He did allow the East player to get loose.
So 6th goal of the season there for Joe Middleton as the ball bounces here for Nakota Brooking. Best first name on the ground. I'll have to give him that for this afternoon. Ball pops out now. Well taken here by Cullum. He goes backwards to go forwards. Gives the ball off now here to Powell. He puts one onto the right boot, but the siren's going to beat all comers, and that will do it for the first term here. 26.5 minute term it was, as the East Burwood Football Club, they lead 3-2-20, leading Warrandyte 1-7-13. Goal kickers for East Burwood, Neat with 1, Middleton with 1, Matt Mariani with 1, and Mitch Buckley, the lone goal kicker for Warrandyte. Well, that was a entertaining first quarter, and we've got plenty more footy coming up for you this afternoon. And on the other side of this break, we'll come back to break it all down. And here on EFNL Game Day, live here on SEN.
Hello, I'm Peter Hitchener. 9 News invites you to join our team.
All right, thanks for that, guys. Just another 4 minutes.
Roger.
The footy, plus Lavinia Nixon's weather forecast. 9 News, proud supporter of the Eastern Football League.
Only 19 shots from 53 inside 50s, down on clearances and can't lay a tackle. What was the seniors coach going to do? Jono surprised himself and everyone else. The spray he gave the boys at halftime worked. Well, he did finish it by saying he'd shout him a post-game feed and frothies at Eastland if they won. For all of life and footy's little moments, there's Eastland, proud sponsors of the EFL. Eastland, live real.
You've all been to funerals of family members or friends, right? Do you start thinking about what you would want at your funeral? It's a bit like when you go to a wedding.
That's right.
At what stage do you start planning?
Have an open and honest conversation with your loved ones. Celebrate your life the way you want, like I did with a fixed price funeral plan from Tobin Brothers Funerals. The price doesn't change and your life will be celebrated your way. Find out more at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner? Broke a finger, high-fiving the ruckman? Or did you run into the goal post again? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. The preferred provider of emergency care to the Eastern Football Netball League, you'll generally experience shorter wait times. You don't need private health, but there is an out-of-pocket fee. Be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department, 262 Mountain Highway, Wantirna.
Radio's #1 motorsport show is back for 2021. The Driver's Seat with Matt McKeldin and Stephen Johnson, covering everything from Formula 1 to V8 supercars.
Jack Smith from Brad Jones Racing joined us for an honest chat about his season so far.
You know, my teammates have had results and everything's going good, so if I could tell you exactly what it was that I needed to go better, I'd be very, very happy.
That's this week on The Driver's Seat.
Join Caroline Wilson and Corey Perkin for their weekly podcast, Don't Shoot the Messenger, filled with their insights into the latest news and a little sport, good local tips, and plenty of recommendations on what they're reading, watching, and whipping up in the kitchen.
Events of the past month have revealed a toxic work culture, a government that has tried to bury an alleged rape. These matters are not crusades by feminists, they're matters for the government. They affect all Australians.
I have, as you know, very unusually bad calves for boots. I can't fit into most boots. Well, I'm lying on the bed with my leg in the air so that, you know, all the blood rushes out of my feet.
The ABC's decision to move the Q&A program to a Thursday night.
To borrow a line from a certain TV.
Okay, guys, we'll be back in 60 seconds.
Ridiculous call. Why did they do a call?
You'll find the Don't Shoot the Messenger podcast on the SEN app or subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. Thanks to Red Energy, 100% Australian electricity and gas.
The senior coach has taken the team to Eastland for a post-game feed. If only they had this kind of teamwork on the field. They've just ordered starters to share, plus frothies for the whole table. And now Steve-O's chucked a prawn to Macca. He circled back. Yes! Straight into his pie hole. Yo, beauty! Good form, boys. For all of life and footy's little moments, there's Eastland. Proud sponsors of the EFL. Eastland. Live real.
Hello, I'm Peter Hitchener. 9 News invites you to join our team nightly at 6 for
10 seconds.
Jones with the latest sport, including the footy, plus Lavinia Nixon's weather forecast. 9 News, proud supporter of the Eastern Football League.
Let's head back and go local for your footy.
Mike's on.
And welcome back here to Warrandyte, where it is Warrandyte taking on East Burwood. 1 quarter played, East Burwood 3-2-20, leading Warrandyte 1-7-13. Goal kickers for East Burwood, Jai Middleton with 1, Lewis Neat with 1, and Matt Mariani with 1. Let's go down to Tyson Popplestone, boundary side.
Guys, with head coach of East Burwood, Stuart Wynn, just wanted to have a bit of a chat to him about how that quarter went. Mate, you were dominated in terms of the scoreboard pressure. What was the message to the boys over that quarter time break?
Oh, look, we started well. Our pressure's up and just needs to start that level. You know, we've had games where we have lapses, so if we can keep that pressure up for 4 quarters, stop their switch, take out most of our chances. We've got a good day. We've got 3 big targets up there. Hopefully they can start clunking some marks.
And one big focus area for the rest of the game to the boys?
Oh, just our pressure and fast ball movement.
Good luck, mate. Thanks.
And good to see Tyson's sourced himself some shades. And gentlemen, quick analysis of that before we get it going for the second quarter.
Well, look, Warrandyte, they controlled most of the quarter, but on the other hand, East Burwood, they made their every chance of that a winner. But I would just like to see when Warrandyte's going forward that Big Phillips, he's leading to the pockets. I'd like to see him lead up the corridor.
Yeah, well, that's the key on this ground. Look, it's long and narrow. You just got to go straight up the corridor and lead. But what Stewie just said from the East Burwood perspective was their pressure, in that defensive arc was really good. They've just got to keep that up this quarter.
Yeah. So underway in the second quarter, the ball is up and it's Hanlon who gets the first tap. He's had a very good first quarter, probably won the ruck almost in the end, but it comes out for Warrandyte. They'll just need to get their kicking boots on. They've been good in this first quarter, but they just haven't taken their chances. Looking for it was Myers, close to the boundary. It's Ruckeye in there, taking good tackle. Huge tackle. I think it was Pilker who came over the top.
Just gave him a little face wash with the elbow on the way through.
Nothing to see here, Steve. Umpire throws it up into that man Hanlon again, who gets the head out. Now it's gone forward. Well, it's staying over there. It's close to the boundary. Taking position was Stafford, but he can't keep it in.
Cross down. Let's cross down the boundary side with BWS. Or not. So
Okay, we will carry on.
So, boundary throw in, the near side of the ground. Hand pass comes out now to East Burwood, trying to pop a handball out there was Logan. It comes back now here to Rakai. He's kicking towards the forward line. Looking for it there is Johnson, couldn't take it. Bursting through there was Mitch Buckley. He's collected and
cross down.
Got one up high. Let's go down to BWS boundary side. And we'll go for take 3 next time. Back to you, Brett Best.
Thanks, Steve. Maybe I could do a BWS impersonation. As the ball goes knocked down there by Hayton. He's been good on the ruck as well, and it comes out there for Buckley. Gets a handball off to Johnston, and it's wrapped up nice and tight in there. Bursey was one of the tacklers. And the umpire says we'll have a ball up. It's a cracking game of football this in the first quarter, and if it continues at this pace there'll be some tired men as the knockout was Hayton's. Goes into the contest again. Another good strong tackle comes Mariani. He doesn't take any prisoners. Let's go boundary side again with BWS.
Well, third time's a charm, boys. There's great conditions down here, but Paul Donahue recalled a time. He just really wanted the boys to finish off the work. All those scoring shots, 8-5 in that first term, raise the intensity, make them make the decisions. It's their game to win today.
So long ball forward, but it's gone too long and it's going to go out of bounds, and we'll have a throw in right forward pocket.
Very important stage of the game here, Spider, right now. You know, East Burwood, they've had a very good first quarter. They can't afford to give up an early goal to Warrandyte.
Yeah, absolutely.
Phillips took that one straight out of the ruck. The kick goes straight up and under, though, into the goal square. Players converge. Winning that one brilliantly, though, was Maxie Wills, and he kicks this one right out towards centre wing. One-on-one contest. Getting the better of that was Kennedy, and he almost kept it inside of the boundary line. Failed to do so right in front of the scoreboard of the boundary throw-in.
Good experience there from Kanga. He's been around for a long time. He knows where the boundary is, that's for sure.
Here comes the boundary throw. Hayton back into the ruck. Winning that one, though, was Hanlon. Battle of the alliterations there in the HA surnames in the ruck this afternoon as Middleton pops that one out for a boundary throw-in. So 2.5 played here in the second term. 7-point lead to the Rams if you're just tuning in on the crystal clear SEN 1116 EFNL app or streaming live around the globe, YouTube, Facebook or simulcast on Radio Eastern 98.1. Boundary throw in. Middleton to do battle here with Hayton in the ruck. Hayton grabs that one out, puts it straight onto the right boot. Kick there intended for Cullum, couldn't take it cleanly. Went to Soccer, gets a second opportunity, pops a hand pass out now here to Rakai. Just keeps it in front of the bench, well done by him. Handball back to go forwards, go Warrandyte, and the kick there comfortably taken by Nick Johnston, who's been prolific early for Warrandyte. He goes by hand, and here come the Bloods. Kicked in towards the forward line direction there. Phillips couldn't take it, went over his head, might spill here for Brooking. He gets collected up high, ducks a tackle there from Willis, and we'll have a ball up. Good passage of play there from Warrandyte.
Yeah, it was an exciting build-up from the Bloods. They really got the ball in there pretty quickly, put the Rams under a lot of pressure in that back end of the ground.
So Phillips to do the rucking, loses that one. Brooking might take it cleanly off the deck. Bursts through one tackle, bursts through a second, gets a handball away, spills out now here to Dibb, and it's marked on the line by Kennedy, and he goes by a right boot out now here for East Burwood.
So the kick goes out towards Gould. Lockie Gould takes the mark at half-back. Got a nice little shove, but nothing to see here. Now they come forward, East Burwood. Little kick down to Renham at half-forward. It's a beautiful grab, and they play on quickly to it. It's in the hands of Simon Eller. He goes for full forward. There's Middleton. He should take this, and he does. The big man, he looks like a spider with those long legs and arms, and he just reaches up. No pun intended, we've got our own spider here today.
It's that fast ball movement.
That's right,
down the members' side here, it's grandstand side.
So Middleton, he's played pretty well in this first quarter. Looks like he's going to do it, well, he's on a bit of an angle, but he's going to try and kick a bit around the corner here, which has become a little bit in vogue in recent times. Current margin is 7 points, so this will make it a handy little lead for East Burwood if he can put this one through. In fact, it is going to be a conventional drop punt. Here he comes in from the boundary. He strikes it, but he's across the face. It was never going to get there, and it'll go out of bounds in the opposite pocket. Not a bad result, but it's a free kick, in fact.
Gee, the way that East Burwood moved the ball out of that defence, though, Spider, that's the sort of thing that you're hoping for.
Yeah, it is. They're quick, fast moving. Kennedy really switched that ball really quickly.
Yeah. So White goes to half-back. Oh, that's a terrific grab over there. That's that man Johnston again. He's been very good in his first quarter. Well, into the second quarter, very good in the match so far. Our little short kick, he sends it down the line. Diving there, trying to take it was Brooking. Couldn't do so. Ball spills forward. East Burwood to come forward again. Can they hit a target? That's a beautiful kick. And a great mark taken there by number 35. That is Barlow, Braden Barlow, who's had just incidentally, he hasn't had much of it today, but he's kicked 8 goals in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, he's been very impressive, boys. Kicked 5 against Waverly and 3 last week, and had an early go early, but just didn't quite capitalise. But this is a big kick.
Yeah, I was just about to call his name before and mention it because he has had a very quiet day today, but he's, as I say, prolific in the last 2 weeks, and he's got a chance to put his first of the day on the board here and send the Rams out to a handy little cushion. Here he comes, left footer, and it's just heading out to the right. Did he sneak it in?
Yes, he did.
Yes, he did. It just looked like it was going to miss, but Braden Barlow gets his first of the day, and a timely one for the Rams. They get an early one in the second quarter, and it's 4-2-26 playing 1-1-7 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
And we're talking, Ray, about fast ball movement. Stewie wanted to be really happy just to get that goal, just to give that confidence for the team so that they can keep working forward. But they've got to be really careful, Warrandyte, when they're trying to do that 45 kick, because a couple of times it just hasn't quite come off.
No, they've turned the ball over on a lot of occasions, really.
A couple of quick scores from around Division 3. Donvale 4-1-25 lead Glen Waverley 5 behinds, and the Waverly Blues 6-6-42 all over Fair Park. Yet to score as Mariani roves the football onto the right boot. He goes in towards the half-forward line, went past Neat. Players in a foot race now, one of them being Beasley here now for Warrandyte. Goes by hand, did well to go to Buckley. His kick in towards centre wing, and winning front spot there was Johnston. He goes by hand, and away come the Bloods up in towards the forward line, in towards the Phillips direction. 2-on-1, didn't take the mark. It spills now here, going back by hand there was Tout. Centering the footy now, but chopped off by Jackson Bursey. Intelligent footy, and he'll steady the ship now here for the Rams, and they'll come out now here through Lockie Gould. His kick over the top in towards a teammate. They play on now. That was well done by Aidan Stevens. His kick now intended for Kennedy. Didn't go back in towards the hands of the Warrandyte Footy Club. Here's Rakai. He's got 4 players to beat. Got one up high. Got tackled initially, but then got one up higher, the second tackler. And well, looks like he's going to turn it straight over. Well, he's undone his good work. And, well, that's going to go straight into the hands of Grender. He goes quickly in towards half forward. Sprawling footy. No one can really take it cleanly. Doing the muscle work there was Handrick, and we'll have a bit of scrappy piece of play
just
there.
Unnecessary there, Ray, by the Bloods, just to, get that free kick reversed. That's just not what you want at this time of the game.
No. You're dead right. It's hard enough to win the ball, but then when you do, to turn it over with something stupid.
13 points to margin now. If we played 8 minutes here in this second term. Ball spills out now, looking for it's Luke Saunders. It goes over his head, goes down here to Thompson, trying to track it down here for Warrandyte. Hand pass over the top to Jordan Powell, but the hand pass was over the boundary line, and time for a boundary throw-in.
So 13-point margin, so just over 2 kicks in favour of East Burwood. On this glorious day out here at Warrandyte today. Here's the ball coming in. It was Hayton. I think he got to the front spot, knocks it down. And it's taken possession there by East Burwood. Bit of a shonky hand pass over the top, and Hayton goes in and gets it a second time, and he's out of bounds over on the far side, or on this near side, should I say.
Couple of quick scores from Premier Division, all locked up. South Croydon, Donny East 4-3-27, Blackburn 4-2-26, Trail Noble Park 6-1-37, and Berwick with a 2-point lead, 2-4-16, leading Doncaster, 3 points, 2-1-13.
And so ball goes in again, and taken there by Warrandyte. I think it was Hayton. I think East Burwood might have been prohibited from going into the ruck that time because there was no contest there at all. Umpire to throw it up again. Up it goes. There's our man who's had a very good first quarter, and Hanlon knocks it to ground, and that'll be lucky if it's going to come out of there anytime soon. So Jason Kennedy it was who wrapped that one up, and the ball to the throw up again. Kennedy stays not too far away. It's the knockdown. Falls beautifully roved there off the pack by Gould. Gould gets it forward, but it's going to be cut off there by the defence. Scrambling around there on the ground, I think it was Dibb, as the ball goes out. Now it's back to Warrandyte, and they'll get it out with a long kick forward to around about centre wing. Gets over the top, trying to get it was Myers, but he's got 2-on-1. Not much chance of him winning it there, but he manages to soccer it forward. Going back there and taking possession of the football and getting taken over the boundary line was Bursey. And some of the crowd thinking that was a little bit overzealous, but nothing to see again.
Couple of quick scores from Division 1. Croydon 2-3-15 lead Montrose by 1 point. Upper Ferntree Gully 1-6 trailing Wanty South by 3-33.
And so ball goes right over the top, and here come Warrandyte again on this magnificent surface. I reckon you could play lawn bowls out here. It's so smooth today. Ball goes right over the top, bouncing towards the pocket, and it's out of bounds. Chasing it was Brixton.
And just one more, Bayswater 1-8 trailing Mitcham 5-3-33. So plenty of action from around the grounds. Keep those scores coming in. No matter where you're listening here on the Crystal Clear SEN EFNL app, the ball comes in there. Phillips tried to swat that one around with the overhand right, and it just went back into the clutches of his teammate, and will go into the clutches of the umpire for another ball up.
I'd just like to see a few Warrandyte players just move away from this ball up. Open up the forward line there.
So into the ruck goes Phillips again, but it comes out to East Burwood on the check side kick there. It comes out now, trying to soccer that one. Oh, inadvertently into the hands there of Gould. He goes out towards centre wing. A foot race ensues, awkwardly bouncing footy. Numbers around the ball for both teams. Swatted out there by Neat, but no one can get clean. Purchase will have a boundary thrown right in front of our commentary position.
Talked about it at the start of the game, Ray, didn't we? The outside run of East Burwood really being a feature at the moment.
Yep, no, you're dead right.
11 and a half played in this second term, 13 points the margin to East Burwood. It's punched out of the ruck now here by Hayton. Bouncing footy, gathered in now here by Saunders. His high up and under kick goes in towards the forward line. Couldn't take it cleanly, could Stafford. Rackey can't do anything with it either. And we'll have another, I think our third throw in about as many minutes here, just in the forward pocket here for the Bloods.
Buckley's come out to do the ruck work and Luke Dunn's gone to the goal square.
So in comes the boundary throw. Phillips into the ruck, didn't win that one. Trying to split the pack there with Stevens, and he's not going anywhere. And we'll have another ball up. Plenty of stoppages here in this last passage of play. 13 points game here in Division 3 football. Brilliantly roved there by Buckley off the draw. Puts it onto the right boot, and he's put it through. Second of the afternoon there for the Warrandyte Footy Club. And that's a contender for the goal of the day. And they move to 2-7-19. They only trail by 7 now. East Burwood 4-2-26 lead them. 12 and a half played here on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
Gee, that was a training drill. That was a training drill at stoppages, wasn't it? It was absolutely perfect. There wasn't much that East Burwood could do about that.
No, there wasn't. And they really just made the right call there at that stoppage for Buckley to come up and Dunn just to drop back to the goal square.
Yeah. Look, Warrandyte, I feel on time. They've been too one-dimensional looking for Buckley.
They are.
And as I said pre-match, Dunn's 100-goal a season full forward, so you've got another option down there. Sometimes you've got to not go to the big fish, go to the second man.
So up it goes. It's head out there for Hayton into the ruck. Oh, high tackle, I think. The umpire says no play on, and Stevens takes it. The bottom of the ruck. And some of the crowd giving the umpire a bit of advice, but I'm sure he's not listening. Goes again. The umpire ever listened to crowd advice. Hanlon got the tap. Now on the ground, it was going after that was Hayton. Now it's on the boot, and it's Pickering who sends a long ball forward, but there's no one going to get on the end of that because there's too many Warrandyte players. It's about a 3-on-1, but they do get it. East Burwood in the hands there of Kennedy. Kennedy goes in board, knocked away there. Someone should, there's all the Warrandyte bodies, there's just numbers around the ball, and in the end it's taken there by Barlow, who's wrapped up on the ground, and we'll have a ball up. So 7-point margin, just a kick out, just over a kick in it. Umpire finally gets it up in the air. He's Middleton with the hit out. And the clearances, I think, beautifully roved off the pack, but the kick was smothered, and it's going to fall for Rackey. Rackey gets a little handball away, and they're out of danger here for the moment. Warrandyte, Rackey gets it back. He's been very good in this match so far. Long kick for beautiful. Has it been paid? No, it hasn't. It was Tout, who hasn't had a huge game so far. We gave him a lot of raps before the game. Bouncing around there, taken by Johnson. Snaps it across goal, but back there saving the day was Logan, and East Burwood will survive. And they kick right out towards the far wing, and they won't keep it in over there as it's taken by Pickering. Boys, very close call.
I tell you what, that ball's moving from end to end really quickly. You know, when they get it out in the open, both sides, they move the ball really well.
Yeah, it's just execution the key for both sides here.
Yeah.
So Hanlon back into the ruck here to do battle with Hayton. Roved out now ahead of the pack. Picked up now here by Warrandyte. They pumped this one in, but I was going to say that before it got smothered. And Jimmy now gives pursuit to the footy. He's going to get it at ground level. Has to be quick. Pops it out, and he's turned it straight over, though, under pressure. And Warrandyte will steady the ship back. Now here's a punch forward now here by Buckley by the right boot in towards Phillips. Couldn't take the mark. Taken off the pack there by Stevens. And he swats it right back out onto centre wing in the direction of his teammate Kennedy. Didn't get clean purchase of the footy. Well done by the Warrandyte Football Club as they move this one forward in towards the direction of Phillips, but it's just Eddie Rixon back there for East Burwood, and he'll steady the ship here for the Rams and put it out towards his teammate in Cody Logan. Just pokes this one forward. Now here to Gould, near side of the ground. Sells a bit of candy, did it well, made his man miss and puts it in towards centre wing, but Middleton's about 2 metres over the boundary line, and that's out on the full. And a chance to, let's go across boundary side of BWS.
Guys, Tyson here. Incredible defence by East Burwood. Warrandyte have had their chances, and every time it seems to go within 30 metres of the goal, they seem to spit it right back out.
Yeah, spot on there, mate, as this one may end up having the same fate. Yes, it does. Called it Brilliantly called there by Tyson Popplestone, and this one will go straight back to Cody Logan. He'll have his second kick in about a minute, puts it back onto the right boot. Jai Middleton with a target, but it's taken by the smaller man there in Miles, who puts it right back in towards the top of the goal square. Phillips over the top, couldn't take it, and Jemmy on the bottom of the pack. Looks like he may have hurt himself, but he looks like to picks himself up off the pack, and we'll have a ball up.
Look, Warrandyte, they've definitely got to lower their eyes a bit and look for a shorter target. Not every. Look, they're getting it too. It's easy to see what
it's bombing it in.
It's predictable.
It's not giving them a chance.
No.
Well, Phillips now will bomb it in on goal, and off the pack, and just a minus score. Warrandyte now 2-8-20, 10 scoring shots, 8 of them of the minor variety. They trail by 6 points, 4-2-26 East Burwood with a lead to 10.5 gone.
So East Burwood to bring the football back in. Here's the long kick again. They decide to go straight down the middle. Most of those kicks have done that, and that's a beautiful mark in the middle of the ground. Taken there by Hodgson. Hodgson looking around. Gives the ball a couple of spins. Now he sends it forward, trying to find a target. Looking maybe for someone like a... No, there's no one there as the ball bounces around. It's taken there by Mariani.
Too
in
high.
fact, he wins a free kick. High shot. Wouldn't be hard to produce a high tackle on Mariani. He's not the tallest man on the ground as he gets a short kick to Stafford. Stafford off half-back. Mark in the middle of the ground. Just a lot of hesitation with some of these kicks, and the kick's been smothered, and here they come again. Ball on the hands of Johnston, who's been one of the best for Warrandyte today. Gets a snap right across the face of goals, trying to get hands on it, but the ball knocked away. And they may get out of this East Burwood. Over on the far side is Simonella, and he's got his hands on it. It's close to the boundary line, but he keeps it in well. Great players. The ball goes over the top there. I think it was Kennedy who gets a kick down the line. Can they keep it in? Trying to slap it forward there was Jimmy. It's still in over there, and the umpire says we'll have to have a ball up. There's the big man. Hayton comes in and makes the tackle. Up it goes. There is Hayton. Look at him just shove his opposition out of the way. He's an absolute colossus. The ball goes inbound now, taken by Brooking. He's been pretty good too far. Goes good ball into the middle of the ground. Myers, now they're out here as they get a kick forward. That's a beautiful kick too, and they're running onto it nicely. This should be a goal. You'd think it's Cullum. Yeah. And he's missed. Well, that was an opportunity and a half there. Perfect kick. It's set up for Cullum, and he snapped the goal, but he's off target, and it's through for a minor score. Another opportunity goes at Bigness. We go down to Ben Warren Smith on the boundary.
Well, thanks, Besto. Just watching this kick come in, and it stays alive just inside the boundary. But an observation from down here at ground level, why would you have the dugouts on the opposite side of the ground where you look into the sun every home game? All the players, all the coaches can't see anything. The fans on the other side have to walk all the way over here and back at the huddles at quarter and three-quarter time. It makes absolutely no sense. And it's probably the cricket club that are doing it too, Ray. Sort that out.
We'll defer to Matt Fodio for the email on Monday morning. Here's the kick now in towards Raki. And by hand go the Warrandyte Footy Club. Just about to run out of room, but Raki's now got a fair bit of time and space, runs onto the footy. He meets a man of equal measure there in Mariani, but outpaces him. Handball over the top. Here's a good chance now here for Warrandyte. Richardson ran into trouble. Phillips goes by boot. Not going to get it cleanly on the first touch there was Tout. He's wrapped up in the tackle, and that's going to be a ball up. Great transition there from Warrandyte, unable to get the finishing touch.
Yeah, it was good transition, but in the end it was really good pressure defensively by the Rams, who just were able to close that down.
And my reply to Ben Warren Smith, mate, I've just nominated you for town planning, okay?
It'll be an interesting halftime show. And there's a kick off the ground, straight off the deck, and it's a goal! Oh, that's a contender for the Tobin Brothers goal of the day and potentially Sportsco Play of the day. I didn't see who picked that one out of the pack.
Tout.
Looks like it was Chris Tout.
Chris Tout, yes.
And it's just popped out brilliantly onto the right boot. And, well, that's Warrandyte's third, and what a way to get it. They hit the front, 3-9-27. They lead East Burwood, 4-2-26. Approaching time on here in the second quarter.
I like that move, Spider, what I said. Luke Dunn in the goal square now, and they've moved Phillips out, and they've got Tout there at the crumbs, so it's looking a far better forward line.
Yeah, it looks like there's a little bit more system down there in the second part of this quarter.
So Tout starting to come into this game as Hayton takes it out of the ruck, as you're allowed to do, and the tackle in the middle of the ground, and we'll have a secondary ball up.
Quick score update from Division 4. Coldstream all over Nunawading, 14-7-91 lead, 2-3-15.
So up it goes. Again, it's the big man Hayton who gets the tap out there against Hanlon. Now they come off half-back. Warrandyte, long ball forward. Can they get a mark? There was a bit of pushing and shoving going on there. It was the ball goes to ground, but it's rebounded, and they're going to get it back. Warrandyte, little short kick down the line. Beautiful kick. And they can wheel around and go with Cullum. Cullum runs takes a bounce. He should put this through. He has. Hit the post. I went the early crow. I tell you what, he was running into goal, but he just met it all wrong and it curled into the post, and that is a wasted opportunity.
I'll tell you what, though, that was great pressure by the East Burwood defender. It really put pressure on him.
It did. He knocked him off balance,
exactly.
Which was...
yes.
Will's kick straight into the waiting hands of Stafford, and that's one they'll rue Warrandyte. However, they still have the lead. 2 points now the margin. High up and under into centre half forward now here for East Burwood. Can't take it cleanly, could anyone. Handrick goes over the football. Plenty of players converging, about 8 players around it, and we'll have a ball up right on the edge of the centre square. So 21 minutes played here in this second term as we're approaching half-time. Just another quick score update. Forest Hill 4-4-28 leading Croydon North 2-1-13. Sylvan 5-3-33 leading Kilsyth 2-2-14 in Division 4. Here's the kick up towards centre half forward. Phillips with the strong jukes. Turns around, got a couple of players on offer. Goes to one of them now. That being the lead there of, I believe that's Beasley. No, sorry, excuse me, that's Luke Dunn.
That reminds me of the year he kicked 100 goals. He's very quick on the lead. That first 20 metres, he is off like a bullet, and he did that then. You can see it.
And he just knew when to go. As soon as he released the ball, that was always going to be a goal.
Yep.
So Dunn, 6 on the year already. And this to put his side 8 points in front. Onto the right boot it goes. Might just drop short and wide it does. And just a minor score for Warrandyte, continuing the theme from the first term, despite the 2 majors in this one. 3-11-29, they lead East Burwood 4-2-26 by 3 here in the second quarter.
So no prizes what the message will be at half-time for Warrandyte. They have wasted so many opportunities as they bring the ball back in. Ball goes out towards half. We're trying to get hands on it. There was number 24, I think it was, Richardson. Now, but it's coming forward for East Burwood as they get a long ball forward. Just a little bit hot over the top. Going back there was Dunn. And
another point.
So Dunn roaming around again.
Richardson's starting to get his hands on the ball a little bit in this quarter too, Ray.
Yeah, he certainly is. The son of Alan Richardson playing for Warrandyte.
I'm sure Alan will be listening on the SEN app over in Adelaide at the moment.
Yes.
So East Burwood to bring the ball back in. We've had nearly 23 minutes played. Little short kick out to wide. And it's not been taken over there by Bursey. He should have taken that, and it's lost, and it'll go out of bounds, which is probably just as well.
One thing I've noticed, Spider, what Warrandyte are doing now. Early on in the first quarter, they were all flying for the ball. There's 1 or 2 men up, but they're leaving 2 on the ground. Consequently, they pick up the crumbs and return it back.
Yep. That's a good observation, that, right?
Yeah. One of the Warrandyte players got shoved unceremoniously out of the way, but the umpire said nothing to see again.
Well, I think the supporters were over the fence were trying to get the umpire's attention.
Up it goes. Phillips just worked his way to the front spot there. Now the ball comes out in the hands there of Thompson. They go forward again, but it's been cut off by Bursey. Bursey tries to get a handball out of congestion, does well to Mariani. Mariani thumps it forward. It's a good kick too, if they can get it. But look at all the Warrandyte players. Completely outnumbered again as the ball goes long. Bouncing around down there looking for it was Pickering, but it's going to be Warrandyte who are going to win the football again. Rackott, he's been really good. Great tackle there. Fantastic tackle coming over the top. It was Grinder that made the tackle, and everyone is dying. Now it's all on.
Stacks on the mill.
It's all on. I just have to wait. Oh, gee.
Whoa, cheeky one there.
It's a bit willing in there. Rackott got hauled out of the way by his opposite, and the umpire's trying to get control, but he's not doing a great job at the moment.
Dimmoth Kennedy with a few face washes or 3. I think we've got 25.
Yeah, 25-metre penalty. It'd be hard to know who was in fault there because there was fault on both sides, I think. As the ball goes out wide now, an opportunity for Warrandyte. For East Burwood. Logan, long ball forward through the hands though. It probably should have been taken, but snap for goal, and it's gone through anyway.
Yeah, that's a great answer.
We don't have to mark it. It's Barlow. He dropped the mark, but he was lucky enough to be able to rove his own ball and put it through. So Barlow, and that's a goal for East Burwood, which is a timely one. It puts them back in front in the throes of half-time. 5-2-32 plays 3-12-30 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
Yeah, much needed goal, Ray, wasn't it, for the Rams? They just lost their way there for about the last 6 or 7 minutes. They just lost their shape and not making enough ball transition at the moment. But Warrandyte is certainly putting a lot of pressure on, but that was a good little passage of play by the Rams.
One thing the Warrandyte coaching panel would be asking, how a man can be standing in the middle of the ground by himself when all this push and shoves goes on.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it?
It is.
So in comes the rucking duel. Mariani tried to take it cleanly. He got taken uncleanly, and he gets himself a free kick right in the centre of the ground, and umpire's calling him back. A little too eager to start proceedings, and Jemmy was calling for it, but on this near side here is Stafford. He takes the mark and puts it onto the right boot. High up and under kick, plenty of players converging. Middleton, not the tallest man there, surprisingly, in terms of the jumping contest, and appeals for deliberate. And,
it's a deliberate out of bounds is not a rule in the Eastern football.
That doesn't stop them. It doesn't stop them appealing.
I know. It is
Sufficient intent.
I know.
Oh, well, I guess you can't blame him for trying. But anyway, here's Middleton to do the rucking there at Buckley. He took it cleanly. Check side kick out of the defensive 50. Almost socket off the ground there by Bursey. Taken cleanly almost by Cullum. Foot race between him and Rixton. Cullum now with the Ronaldo skills trying to pick that one up, but just took that over the boundary line. And 26 minutes gone. It's a 2-point game to the Rams. And I'd surmise we've probably only got a minute and a half as we go boundary side.
It makes no sense that it isn't a rule. We follow the rules on everything that comes through. We try on new things. Deliberate is deliberate. Why would that not be part of these rules? It needs to be looked at.
Yep, seconded there, BWS, as Stafford wins that with the right juke. But taken out now here by East Burwood, and Jemmy did well to rove that and get a handball out, but it's all Warrandyte players, as they come out towards the centre of the ground through the cricket pitch area. Right boot there. Coming forward now here, but East Burwood have got numbers and time and space, and one of them's Japed Pilker. He goes down by hand to Jenkins, swings around, puts a mongrel punt in towards the half-back flank. Trying to fist that one was Dibb in a one-on-one contest there with Pickering, and we'll have a boundary throw-in.
So our sound man Bruce Priest was hanging over the fence here trying to take an uncontested mark, but it didn't quite. He's got dodgy hands. Don't kick it up here, boys. And it goes. And working his way to the front spot there. Good work from Stafford it was on that occasion. Now the ball on the ground. Wrapped up nice and tight there by Stevens. A really enjoyable game this, apart from the wasteful goal kicking, but as far as a game, it's been a really good one, 32-30, and the throws of half-time, 27.5 paid. It's Stafford going to the ruck again, ball comes out there for Bursey, he slams it onto the boot, going forward, and the mark is taken. Here's Middleton, turns around, he's put a little kick forward on the lead there. I should have been taken. Was it taken? No, the umpire says it was dropped. Ball goes to ground. I think it was Grender who went for the snap there, and there's the siren as the ball goes to full forward, but it's all a bit late, and it's going to be half-time and a very entertaining first half out of here at Warrandyte, but it's the Rams that have got their noses in front. 5-2-32 plays 3-12-30 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. Boys, good first half.
Absolutely, Brett, and just your quick goal scorers for that. Braden Barlow with 2, Mariani with 1, Middleton with 1, and Neat with 1 for East Burwood, and the goal scorers for Warrandyte, Mitch Buckley with 2, and Chris Tout with 1. Well, we'll be back to break down this game and all the scores from around the Eastern Football League right after this. It's EFNL Game Day here on SEN.
All right, thanks for that, guys. 4-minute break, and we'll be back again.
On clearances and can't lay a tackle. What was the seniors coach going to do? Jono surprised himself and everyone else. The spray he gave the boys at halftime worked. Well, he did finish it by saying he'd shout them a post-game feed and frothies at Eastland if they won. For all of life and footy's little moments, there's Eastland. Proud sponsors of the EFL. Eastland. Live real.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner, broke a finger, high-fiving the ruckman, or did you run into the goal post again? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. The preferred provider of emergency care to the Eastern Football Netball League, you'll generally experience shorter wait times. You don't need private health, but there is an out-of-pocket fee. Be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department, 262 Mountain Highway, Wantirna.
At Yarra Valley Water, we know reducing your shower time, or for some people, show time, to 4 minutes can save you an average of $255 a year on water and energy bills. Save the performance for the stage. Shower shorter. Save water.
Do you feel good about your bank? Because there is a bank you can feel good about. They share their profits to fund big community projects, small community clubs, and vital emergency services. They've given $250 million to help Australian communities thrive. They have all the products and tech you expect from a big bank, with service you don't. It's Bendigo Bank. Feel good about who you bank with. Try Bendigo. Search bendigobank.com.au or search Bendigo Bank near me.
Hello, I'm Peter Hitchener. 9 News invites you to join our team nightly at 6 for Melbourne's #1 news. Tony Jones with the latest sport, including the footy, plus Lavinia Nixon's weather forecast. 9 News, proud supporter of the Eastern Football League.
You've all been to funerals of family members or friends, right? Do you start thinking about what you would want at your funeral? It's a bit like when you go to a wedding. At what stage do you start planning?
Have an open and honest conversation with your loved ones. Celebrate your life the way you want, like I did with a fixed price funeral plan from Tobin Brothers Funerals. The price doesn't change and your life will be celebrated your way. Find out more at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
At Eastland, we believe one day isn't enough to celebrate all that our beautiful mums do. That's why we're celebrating Happy Mother's Days, the festival of love she deserves. From dining to fashion, homewares or a pampering session, Eastland has all your favourite brands ready to spoil mum. And if you need inspiration, check out our online gift guides. Spend $250 and you'll go in the running to win a $50 Eastland gift card till May 8th. T's and C's apply. Find out more at eastland.com.au. Eastland, live real.
Okay, guys, we're back in 60 seconds with this one.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner, broke a finger, high-fiving the ruckman, or did you run into the goal post again? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. The preferred provider of emergency care to the Eastern Football Netball League, you'll generally experience shorter wait times. You don't need private health, but there is an out-of-pocket fee. Be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department, 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
The senior coach has taken the team to Eastland for a post-game feed. If only they had this kind of teamwork on the field. They've just ordered starters to share, plus frothies for the whole table. And now Steve-O's chucked a prawn to Macca. He circled back. Yes! Straight into his pie hole. You'll be...
10 seconds.
For all of life and footy's little moments, there's Eastland. Proud sponsors of the EFL. Eastland, live real.
Let's head back and go local for your footy.
Mike's on.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Blood Bank. It's our EFNL match of the day, and it's Warrandyte and East Burwood in Division 3, and it's the Bloods at the moment inaccurate 3-12-30, trailing East Burwood 5-2-32. The major goal kicker on the ground is Braden Barlow, the mid-sized full forward. He's got 2. Everyone else is singles. Matthew Foddy here, joined by our band riders Tyson Popplestone and Ben Warren-Smith. Gents, it's a lovely day out here at the Blood Bank. You've got the shades on, you've got the sun coming over from the far side of the hill there, tanning up. But what have you noticed? Because it's been a high-octane game of footy, but probably just Warrandyte really should be 6 goals up, let alone 2 points down, Tyson.
It's really interesting. Myself and BWS are on the other side of the boundary having a chat about how clean the game has been. And I guess on a day like this, it's dry, there's not a cloud in the sky, there's no moisture on the ground. You'd expect nothing less. Totally agree with what you said. Warrandyte, when it comes to possession, when it comes to play, you would think, just watching that they'd be dominating on the scoreboard, but just very inaccurate. I'm looking at the score now, 3-12-30. So plenty of scoring opportunities, but they just haven't been able to convert those opportunities that they've had.
They're working in numbers as well, Warrandyte, really well. It's like they're hunting impacts, and they're creating the line really well as they go forward. They've just got to be able to hit that scoreboard. They're bleeding behind at the moment, and there's frustrations coming out from the bench out there. We've got Mitch Buckley on over the line over there, screaming for half a quarter. We basically got a running commentary from him over there, but which is also good leadership as well. He's giving direction. But East Burwood, they've made them pay at a couple of different key points in time, especially in that last play where we had the argy-bargy down in front of us here, and then the free
shortest
kick to 25.
The shortest 25 of all time.
Didn't matter because they'd already spotted the player out wide. That is unforgivable stuff there, and you kick it straight to the top of the goal. That was totally against the grain. Warrandyte had been peppering the goals like for a good 10-12 minutes prior to that, and not hurting it either. And I tell you what, in the last quarter, if this is a close game, we are going to be right in amongst that cheer squad down there. don't you worry about that. It's the place to be, isn't it, Tyson?
Oh, it is. And BWS just alluded to it. There was some serious tension being built up on the other side of the ground. I think from Warrandyte, the frustration that they couldn't convert those goals was starting to sort of flood over in the messages that were coming out to the players. But the thing is, I find it interesting. There's a message coming down from the boundary saying, boys, it'll change. But until it does, there's no guarantee that it will. So I think that 3 goals, 12, though it suggests a lot of the ball, a lot of possession, really doesn't matter if you're behind on the scoreboard at the end of the match.
I think it might be a bit too that they're over-possessing the ball coming inside forward 50. So Phillips is obviously getting attention. So in the first quarter, Max Wills, who's become a defender in the last couple of years, he's coming off his man. I think it's Johnston, and he's basically giving Johnston the space and going, I'm going to bargain that it's going to Phillips. And obviously 9 times out of 10 he's right. And then the ruckman, so whether it's Hanlon or Stafford or whoever, is sitting back in that hole as well. So, and Paul Donoghue, I was at the Warrandyte huddle at quarter time, he pointed it out. He said that Johnston and Clark and Dunn need to get separation and lead to different areas so that if they do go with Phillips, they should be free in the pocket. But at the moment, the Bloods players, obviously Phillips is he's got a gravitational pull. They're going to be drawn to kick it to him, but they need to stop over-possessing, which means that he does in the end have 2 and 3 on him, or 2, look for someone else. At one point, Michael Cullum actually had about a paddock in the forward pocket there, and the kick went to Phillips, 2 and 3, East Burwood rebounded. And as you said, BWS, East Burwood, didn't have the play, but they go up the other end, they score without really having to try, and Warrandyte have been, all over them for a quarter and managed 2 goals, and all their goals have come from forward 50 stoppages. So the first one was a free kick in the ruck, and the other 2 have been nice snaps out of the pack, which is probably, you're not going to get a high score getting all your scores from stoppages. Jai Middleton is someone I'm really impressed with. Obviously,
always presents well.
Yeah, well, he's the Lance Franklin of this division. He's 6'3", he's mobile. He's probably one of the quickest players on the ground, and he's got good jukes. Can kick it like an absolute horse. Phillips at the other end. They both wear the 17, funnily enough, but Phillips is just a bit slower, so he's probably an easier matchup for Rixton, who knows he can afford to give him a couple of metres and he'll close him down. Whereas I think Andrew White's on Middleton. It's a tough job for him. If East Burwood can get on top in the middle, Middleton might get away.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I've got his name circled and asterisk. That's Jai Middleton for his long, strong arms. Every time he's in a one-on-one, I get nervous for the player that he's playing
he's 6'4", and then he gets to 7 foot.
And his hands are about a foot wide and a foot tall. He's a big boy.
He looks the same as what he did 10 years ago as well.
Is that right? He doesn't age. A good-looking unit is what I think BWS is saying. One of the things I've been impressed by, we spoke about it earlier in that quarter as well, was despite the opportunities that Warrandyte have had to kick goals, the defensive pressure from East Burwood has just been incredible. The ability for them to get it out and get it out fairly cleanly, almost consistently every time the ball was down there, was something that I think is easy to look past when the scoreboard looks as though it looks as it does. But that's been a real standout point to me. I don't know what you guys made of that.
Yeah, I think from my point of view, sitting over there with the public in the bleachers there, the cheap seats, because the only thing is East Burwood they've always got 2 extra in defence, so they're fine when it's in defensive 50 because they've got the outnumber. But then when they try to bring it out of defence, Warrandyte have got the outnumber. So that's why for periods of the quarter it seems locked away in Warrandyte's forward half. So Matt Mariani is going to be key because every time it goes to the centre bounce, he needs to get back on top and start winning it forward for the Rams. But before we go to a break and come back with the footy, gents, you're down there on the side. As you said, all things point towards Warrandyte overrunning them, but until it happens, Tice, the East Burwood are well in front.
Yeah, you're right. I couldn't agree more. And I know I was the one who said that. I'm going to say that I'm still going to tip Warrandyte to run over the end because I just think they do look good with the ball. And if statistics, I feel like I've completely just taken a back step on what I said a moment ago, but I'm going to lock in Warrandyte if I was a betting man.
BWS?
Look, if East Burwood can come out in the first five or so minutes and kick a couple of goals, they'll break Warrandyte's soul. To be honest, I get that feeling. That's a scary. I think that
first 10 minutes are going to be key because if Warrandyte keep going to Phillips, they're going to keep ending up having shots under pressure or from the pocket. I think they need to lower their eyes. Find Luke Dunn in his 200th game. Find Johnston. Find Cullum, who's sneaking at the back like the cheeky goal sneak he is, and kick some goals because if they keep going to Phillips, the Rams they'll lead it up all day. Great halftime show, guys.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And this ground,
my God, magnificent.
I've never been to Warrandyte ever where I have not seen a piece of mud. Like there's no mud.
Also, that hill. How good does that hill look to watch? We can't see it from here, but there's a hill just to the left of the tennis club. It's magnificent viewing, like Adelaide Oval. Graham Helbish was here today. I did mention how good it was, and maybe we can do a final out here rather than some of the other grounds. But nevertheless, that's something for down the line.
Which one?
I'm not going to mention on air. We're going to go to a break on the other side of this. Steve, Brett, Ray, Spider, and you two, you'll bring us home for the second half of footy here from the Blood Bank.
Hello, I'm Peter Hitchener. 9 News in...
Thanks for that, guys. That's another 4 minutes.
One News, Tony Jones with the latest sport, including the footy, plus Lavinia Nixon's weather forecast. 9 News, proud supporter of the Eastern Football League.
Only 19 shots from 53 inside 50s, down on clearances and can't lay a tackle. What was the seniors coach going to do? Jono surprised himself and everyone else. The spray he gave the boys at halftime worked. Well, he did finish it by saying he'd shout him a post-game feed and frothies at Eastland if they won. For all of life and footy's little moments, there's Eastland. Proud sponsors of the EFL. Eastland. Live real.
You've all been to funerals of family members or friends, right? Do you start thinking about what you would want at your funeral? It's a bit like when you go to a wedding.
That's
At what stage do you start planning?
Have an open and honest conversation with your loved ones. Celebrate your life the way you want, like I did with a fixed price funeral plan from Tobin Brothers Funerals. The price doesn't change and your life will be celebrated your way. Find out more at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner? Broke a finger, high-fiving the ruckman? Or did you run into the goal post again? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. The preferred provider of emergency care to the Eastern Football Netball League, you'll generally experience shorter wait times. You don't need private health, but there is an out-of-pocket fee. Be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department, 262 Mountain Highway, Wantirna.
Radio's #1 motorsport show is back for 2021. The Driver's Seat with Matt McKeldin and Stephen Johnson, covering everything from Formula 1 to V8 supercars.
Jack Smith from Brad Jones Racing joined us for an honest chat about his season so far.
You know, my teammates have had results and everything's going good, so if I could tell you exactly what it was that I needed to go better, I'd be very, very happy.
That's this week on The Driver's Seat.
Join Caroline Wilson and Corey Perkin for their weekly podcast, Don't Shoot the Messenger, filled with their insights into the latest news and a little sport, good local tips, and plenty of recommendations on what they're reading, watching, and whipping up in the kitchen.
Events of the past month have revealed a toxic work culture, a government that has tried to bury an alleged rape. These matters are not crusades by feminists, they're matters for the government. They affect all Australians.
I have, as you know, very unusually bad calves for boots. I can't fit into most boots. Well, I'm lying on the bed with my leg in the air so that, all the blood rushes out of my feet.
The ABC's decision to move the Q&A program to a Thursday night.
To borrow a line from a certain TV show.
Okay, guys, we'll be back in 60 seconds.
Roger.
Ridiculous call. Why did they do a call?
You'll find the Don't Shoot the Messenger podcast on the SEN app or subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. Thanks to Red Energy, 100% Australian electricity and gas.
The senior coach has taken the team to Eastland for a post-game feed. If only they had this kind of teamwork on the field. They've just ordered starters to share, plus frothies for the whole table. And now Steve-O's chucked a prawn to Macca. He's circled back. Yes! Straight into his pie hole. Yo, beauty! Good form, boys. For all of life and footy's little moments, there's Eastland. Proud sponsors of the EFL. Eastland. Live real.
Hello, I'm Peter Hitchener. 9 News invites you to join our team.
10 seconds.
News, Tony Jones with the latest sport, including the footy, plus Lavinia Nixon's weather forecast. 9 News, proud supporter of the Eastern Football League.
Let's head back and go local for your footy.
Mike's on.
And welcome back here to Warrandyte. You're on the SEN 1116 EFNL app, streaming around the globe on YouTube, Facebook, or simulcast on Radio Eastern 98.1. It's EFNL game day here. Warrandyte and East Burwood, 2-point lead to the Rams at half-time. In inaccuracy costing the Bloods here on their home ground. And gentlemen, as we get set for quarter number 3, what are we expecting?
Well, I think we're expecting both sides to come out with the same level of intent, trying to score. And I think if East Burwood, as we said in the first half, if they can get their run and carry game going on the outside, it's going to make it very tough for Warrandyte. But if from the other hand, the Bloods can keep the Rams playing an inside game, they give themselves a chance because they can just play the territory game, move the ball on a direct switch and try and get the ball down to both Dunn and Phillips. So continue to put East Burwood under pressure. But the East Burwood backline defensively is standing up firm at the moment. They've just got to continue to work those angles from the pressure side of things. But East Burwood, you've got to give it to them at the moment. Their defensive work has been impeccable in this first half. I thought Gould and Logan really came into their own. Rixton's been really solid down back as well. So they have been able to transition the ball down the grandstand side of the ground on many occasions, and it's gone into the 50 where they've just been able to get that score very quickly when they've needed to.
So underway in this third quarter, and it'll be very interesting to see how East Burwood will respond, because Warrandyte did have the best of that first half as the ball is knocked down. Taking it there and getting a shove in the back was number 5 Saunders for Warrandyte. So free kick, the first one of the third term. And so here's the kick from Saunders, taking a bit of a while. Eventually launches it inside 50, going long. Oh, Mark should have been taken there, put down by Phillips. He's had a few opportunities, a few nearly moments. Ball socket off the ground. Who's going to get there first? Going back, I think it was Mariani trying to dive on the ball, and it's been wrapped up there. So they've done the job, East Burwood, for the moment. Although it spills out and very nearly cost them, and it's gone through for a minor score.
I think it's coming back.
Coming back, we are. The umpire's whistle is gone.
So it looks like we're going to have to get the side screen out here at the edge of the commentary box for the monitors as the kick comes in towards half forward, taken there by Thompson. Couldn't take it cleanly. Got one up high there, did Grender, and we'll have a ball up. They have to coming out left arm over the wicket there, Besto, I think, in position as the ball comes out now. Poked forward there by Thompson. Couldn't get it cleanly. Warrandyte trying to pump this one back in here. Mitch Buckley, his kick onto the right boot, trying to juggle that one there was Hodgson, couldn't take it, and Max Wills ends up with the footy, and we'll have yet another ball up.
Been good down back, Wills, at times.
Yeah, definitely say in the top 3 for East Burwood this afternoon. As the ball comes in loose in front of the goal square, and they put it straight through. That's Josh Myers. Gets a quick one now here for the Bloods, and they get a good start here in this third term. They jump out to 4-12-36, leading East Burwood 5-2-32. We played 1:45 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
Yeah, some good play there, by the Bloods. Have just at that stoppage once again. Yes. Looked like a little bit of a set play, just not too dissimilar to one of the goals early in that second term.
Yeah, and he took the advantage. He kicked the ball off the ground, didn't try and pick it up, and it went through for a goal.
So a great start for Warrandyte. You'd have to say they're probably worth their lead as well after the events of the first term. And back in the middle. Just waiting for the umpire to ball it up, and beautiful sunshine out here. And to Warrandyte, it really is a picture-perfect day. As the ball goes up, it was Hayton who got the tap down. Now the ball's gone to ground, picked up nicely. Going through there after it was Brooking, but he left it behind. Ball on the ground, it's socket inside 50, but nice work there by Pilker going back. Pilker's kick out towards Simon Ella, but he couldn't take it. Wheeling around there, and Warrandyte have taken possession again. There's Phillips going for a little burst. Richardson it was, sorry, gets the kick inside 50, almost. And it's been taken there by Myers. So Myers will go back. It's too far out to score, you would think. In fact, he's going to have a shot, though.
Yeah, he'll need a real good leg on him, I think.
He's just on that 50-metre mark, which is only 40 anyway, so he just about kicked this, I reckon.
You put that one through, Ray, would you, on your left?
I reckon.
So here comes the kick, and it's looking not too bad. He might have the legs. It's there, beautiful kick. Never mind about too far out. Myers puts it through for his second. That's a superb kick, and Warrandyte get their second of the quarter, and they jump out to a 10-point lead. 42 plays 32 on the Bendigo Bank.
Myers has jumped out of the half-time break. 2 goals in a couple of minutes, so that's what Warrandyte needed.
Let's cross down boundary side to BWS.
Well, it's
Tyson again. Sorry, mate.
From that distance. BWS and Matt both called it. The first 10 minutes of this quarter is going to be a real big telltale in the rest of this game. Scary signs for East Burwood looking at the start of this third quarter.
Just got to get a hand on ball in this stoppage here, the Rams.
Right, yeah. I was going to say that last Josh Myers ball, signed ball after the game to Ray Baird. As that one goes in underneath, then we'll have a ball up.
Good contender too for the Tobin Brothers funeral goal of the day, boys, too, as well.
There's a few so far.
Yep.
After plenty to choose from come the end of the game as the ball is tossed up yet again. Hanlon wins the rucking contest. Loose footy. It's just poked forward now here for Warrandyte. Not going anywhere thanks to the tackle of Logan. There was Richardson, and we'll have a ball up right.
Talking about goals of the day, boys, I go past the first couple minutes of the play, that Lewis goal need up this end. That was a ripper.
Absolutely, as we'll have yet another ball up. Looks like we've got a free kick resulting out of that in the back. And looks like it's going to go to Tout. He plays on quickly, looking for the lead there of Johnston, and he's taken it almost at ground level. And, well, Warrandyte coming out swinging here at the start of this third term, and they'll line up for their third shot in just as many minutes. Slight angle, 45 in front.
Yeah, they're off to a good start in this third term. Warrandyte, East Burwood really got to get the momentum back on their terms.
So Johnston hasn't got one this afternoon. Look, he's got 4 on the year. Looking for his potential 5th. His kick off the right. Oh, that's as clean as a whistle. Easy as you like there for Johnston. He's got his first of the afternoon, and that's another one there for the Warrandyte Football Club. And they extend their lead, 6-12-48. East Burwood 5-2-32, 5.5 gone here on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
Worrying signs for East Burwood, Spider. They've got to get that clearance out of the middle. It's so important.
Yeah, well, they haven't had their hands on the ball. They just haven't been able to do anything in this first couple of minutes of the quarter. Really important.
Even when the big man has tapped it down, Warrandyte Smalls have been able to take the ball away.
They have. That was far too easy, that last clearance.
So really worrying signs now for the Rams. That's the third goal of this quarter, and they've jumped Warrandyte have jumped out to a 16-point lead. They try and sock it out of the middle, and that'll be a ball up. In the middle of the ground, they well worth their lead, Warrandyte, though, you'd have to say. They've come out firing in this third quarter. We thought East Burwood needed to start well, but they haven't. And now they've got it all to do as the ball goes up in the middle. Challenging ruck kick contest. It was Hanlon who won it. Getting up ahead of the big-bodied Hayton. I think the ball goes to ground, and umpire says we'll have a secondary ball up.
Couple of quick scores here from Division 2. South Belgrave 13-6-84 over Templestowe 5 straight. The Basin 8-6-54 leading Mulgrave 3-6-24.
So ground ball picked up by Warrandyte. Hodgson it was, but the umpire says we could be here all day as he throws it up again. It's Hanlon who gets the knockdown, and they're looking for it was Hodgson again, but they managed to get it forward off the boot. It's a bit scrappy, but it may well work out. Chasing it is Middleton. His big long legs, tries to get his hands on it, can't do. Diving on it there, great work by Powell on the ground, and it's fallen there for Grender. Grender snaps towards goal. Can he get? Oh, it's bouncing around over there. It's still alive. They need to get it through Curry, but if that's on the ground now, it's come back and a snapper goal. Has it gone through? It has. It's Barlow. Another one of those opportunist goals. It was an incredibly messy situation. Barlow's got his third of the day. Ball on the ground as we watch the replay, and you can see there were players and bodies lying all over. The ball actually sat in the goal square for just a couple of minutes by itself, and then it came back and a snap from Barlow, and it's gone through. And that's a much-needed goal for East Burwood as we go boundary side with Ben Warren Smith.
That just shows where the persistence pays off, doesn't it? And smart footballer, because he put himself in the right position 3 times on third time lucky to go over the goal umpire said.
Yeah, it paid off, didn't it, BWS?
I have to say that play by Verstegen, though, was almost a goal saver.
That's putting your body on the line, the way he stopped that first one from going through.
Absolute brilliance there, but unfortunately in a losing effort in terms of that goal, but plenty of footy left. Mariani burges through the pack, kicks out towards in front of our commentary position here on the centre wing as a one-on-one foot race ensues. Well done there by Powell, getting the hand pass out to Rakai. He kicks the hand pass out himself, and they go by hand now here, do the Bloods. Out goes Hodgson over the top, going to have to be quick as pursuing that footy. Taking it between the legs there was Kennedy, almost very stylishly, and well, we'll have a centre bounce just on the edge of the centre square, right in front of our commentary position. In go the ruck. Stafford lost that one out now here to Hayton out of the tap, but the Rams have the footy, looking for some options here as they kick it up towards the half-forward line in the Middleton direction.
Oh, Mark. Great
grab. And still about 60 from home, puts it onto the right boot, in towards the forward line. Plenty of players there. Should have taken that one, potentially Grender, but it comes down here to ground level, and players converge. We'll have a ball up directly in front, about 35.
He was a little bit unlucky. He just got pushed underneath the ball at the last second as he went to take a bite of it.
Middleton and Hayton. Hayton's doing some good ruck work. I'd just have to say he's probably been the dominant ruckman versus Stafford and Hanlon. And we'll have yet another ball up. So as we've played just a shade under 9 minutes here in quarter number 3, 6-12-48, Warrandyte lead East Burwood by 10 points. Ball fisted forward. And no one can really get a clean purchase on the footy. Yet another ball up will ensue. Hope you're enjoying the coverage wherever you're listening on the SEN EFNL Crystal Clear app. Simulcast on Radio Eastland 98.1 or streaming around the globe on YouTube or Facebook. Brilliantly taken off the draw there by Kennedy. He ran into trouble. Picked up off the deck by Grenda. Just goes wide. 1 point there for the Rams, and they reduced their margin by 1 point to 9. They are 6-3-39, trailing Warrandyte 6-12-48. We've played 9.5 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
So the Rams have addressed things nicely. They got a little bit of a shell shock at the start of the third quarter, but they've come back well, fighting their way back into the game. Now the ball off to White. White goes down the line. Nice mark taken there as Warrandyte start to get something forward. You can see the sun's a bit of an issue. There's Phillips. And Phillips goes down the line. It's bouncing around there for Brooking. Brooking wheels around on the right foot and he goes inside 50, but that's not a great kick. And Stafford gets back and takes an uncontested mark in the back pocket. No problems at all. Goes for a little run, puts it on the boot, down the line, and that's not a great kick either. This sun really, I think, will become quite a major factor as the game wears on. The ball, particularly the high balls, now the handball through the middle, bursting through is Brooking. Brooking goes for goal. How's it look? He's put it through. Fantastic goal, and that's another contender for the Tobin Brothers Funerals goal of the day. He's been good in this quarter too, Brooking. He's really come into the game. Dakota Brooking, fantastic goal as we go boundary side with Ben Warren Smith.
All started with Lachlan Buckley in the middle against Middleton, attacked the football, won it, spearing pass up to centre half forward, bang, goal.
But even before that, just the turnover from Stafford, that kick needs to be better and it needs to be more spot on.
Yeah, look, you can't, when the ball's moving so quickly from end to end, you cannot afford to turn the ball over because they hit you on the scoreboard.
Yep.
Quick score update from Division 1. Mooroolbark 4-3-27, trailing Park Orchard 7-8-50, and Wanturna South putting upper to the sword 10-8-68 to 1-2-8. As the ball up comes in now, Hayton slaps that one forward. Mariani gives chase, but we've got an advantage played there for a free kick for Warrandyte. In towards full forward it goes. One-on-one contest, knocked away from Dunn there. Well done by Wills. As 3 versus 1 in terms of Warrandyte around the footy, but the one is winning out, gets some back up there in the form of Wills again, goes to ground, and we've got another ball up. So that was Spencer Owen, excuse me. And we'll have a ball up here, 11.5 played, 7-12-54 plays, 6-3-39 here in Division 3. Stafford, both players missed the footy out of the ruck. The ball looks like it's going to go over the boundary line. Owen locks it in again. He gets collected and we'll have yet another ball up just inside the boundary line. So Warrandyte now looking to consolidate a 15-point lead out here as the sun disappears behind the trees and the temperature drops just a little bit. A great tackle applied there. I think that was Cody Logan there on Luke Saunders, and he's won himself a free kick. Fresh air shot there from Saunders. Well-timed tackle. Logan puts it onto the right, up towards the half-back flank. Big jukes over the top. Hayden affecting the spoil of Middleton. He gets collected there by Middleton in the end. And we'll have a ball up and a rucking duel shall ensue between those two gentlemen yet again.
Cross down.
There's a cross down boundary side.
Don't know if the Jack's Beanstalk's here, Steve, but the sun is in the middle of the sky up above and it is beaming down at the moment, mate.
Well, it's nice and chilly over here, mate. Speak for yourself. Speak for yourself. As well, we've got a free kick out of that. It looks like Dakota Brooking is going to line up from 35 as we were having a little bit of banter. Sorry, folks. But another scoring shot coming up now here for Warrandyte, and this could really hurt East Burwood should this one become a major.
I think it was Icarus, wasn't it, that flew too close to the sun? Is that the fable?
There's Brooking now. Greek mythology on hold. Here's Dakota Brooking off the right. And it's the right stuff. Goal number 3 of the year for Dakota Brooking. And he's got the 8th of the afternoon for Warrandyte. And they extend their lead. And it's a 21-point one now. 8-12-60 to East Burwood. 6-3-39. 13.5 gone on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
Yeah, the Rams are just struggling now in that defensive part of the ground to clear, but a couple of just real poor turnovers have really cost them back the other way, and the goal goes through the Bloods, and they're really on top at the moment.
I've also got to look at some of their options they're going for. Now they got a kick down the back pocket. They kicked it out of defence. They kicked it to Middleton. I know he's a big man, but it was 1-on-3.
Yeah, it was never going to work.
That's it. So you've got to look at your options, you know.
So Middleton won it out of the ruck. Hayton gets the kick forward. Mark not taken there by Neat. And that's Hodgson again. He's been really good in this quarter. He's really come into the game well, but he's lost a football. It's in the hands now of Simonella, and he's got a free kick, has he?
Yeah, trip.
So Simonella, and they need to have a good inside 50 here and at least give themselves a chance to take the mark. They desperately need a goal. Here they go, kicking to the hot spot. Up they fly. Maria, in fact, it's taken by Warrandyte, and they get out of it. The wasted opportunity. But it's been, speaking of wasted opportunities, given straight back to Beasley. It was Angemi. And Angemi finds Handrick in the pocket. This is going to be a really tough kick. He's got to take it on, though. It's going to be the drop punt. Is he going to try the banana? Looks like he's setting up for the drop punt. This will be the goal of the day if he puts this shot, I'm telling you. Here he comes.
We don't really need any more goal of the days at the moment.
He goes on. That's not a bad looking kick, but it's just drifting to the right. And it goes through, taken by White, but it was through. And a minor score. There's been a few good ones today, Steve, that's for sure.
I was going to say, we've got plenty of Trojan toolkits we can still give away, I'm sure, sitting in the back.
Some old bits from last year, I reckon, yeah. So Warrandyte by 20 points as they bring it back in. Needs the kick out to the pocket. Nice mark taken there by Thompson.
Very sloppy by East Burwood. You've got to pick the men up.
Thompson knocks it into the middle of the ground to a 2-on-1. Not the best kick, but it's fallen for that man, Brooking. He's been really good. See, there's my man. Number 66 is Hodgson. They get it forward. Here's Brooking again. Gets it back. Goes out wide. It's not a great kick. A little bit of a push there, but they do well, and they'll be able to bring it back. There's that little handball from Angelmi, it is, who gets it. Angelmi goes forward.
Oh, good mark.
Oh, mark taken there, beautifully done.
Yeah.
It's Neat who took it. And what does the umpire say? No, yes, it is a mark or a free kick. Takes
got a wheel and go here.
So you've got to go quickly, Neat. And Spider says Neat goes to full forward. Can they get a mark up? They fly. Almost a mark there by Handrick, but he couldn't take it. Ball on the ground. Still dangerous, and it's out of bounds. That might be on the full.
Oh, it looked like it.
That's what the umpire says. Benefit of the doubt. Looked like he might have toe poked it across on the full, but the umpire says no. We'll give him the benefit. So umpire to throw it in. Let's watch the replay. Maybe not. No, I might have been doing him injustice here as the ball comes in. Up they fly. Ball on the ground. Neat almost getting his hands on it. Trying to get it out. It's socket into an opposition player. It's on the ground. This is like watching the great bullfight in Spain at the moment. Everyone getting in there and diving on the football, and it's all a bit of a mess, and the umpire says we'll ball it up.
A couple of quick score updates. Blackburn 5-5-35 trail, Noble Park 8-7-55 in Premier Division. There's a good tackle applied there by Aidan Stevens. Unlucky not to win a free kick.
I tell you what, there's more people around this stoppage than Flinders Street Station at 5 o'clock on a Friday night.
That's a tough call. Would have said Southern Cross myself. Here's Anchemi now.
Not in the middle of last year, there wouldn't have been.
And we'll have a ball up right on the edge of the 50/45 arc as over the top there goes Neat. Ball goes out to the centre square. Plenty of numbers here for Warrandyte. They pop this one out quickly, and here they come. Here's the kick in towards the half-forward line. It's a one-on-one contest. Dunn looking for it. Took it beautifully, going back with the flight over his shoulder. And he plays on quickly, looking for Johnston, but it was cut off. And Jenkins going back himself. Read that one well, and East Burwood avert the danger temporarily at least. Here's a short kick now here for Jackson Burse. He ran into trouble, gave it the don't argue, but he was up high with the elbow. Well spotted there by the umpire. And we'll have a free kick now here for Warrandyte. It's all coming up Millhouse for them in this third quarter. As Warrandyte now pumped this one in towards the forward line. Plenty of players there, but plenty of East Burwood players as well. And Jacob Pilker takes the mark, puts it onto the right boot. Intended target now here is Brett Handrick. He takes it, going back with the flight. And East Burwood just need to steady the ship as we go down boundary side.
Now, Handrick is a dead set ringer for Lou Brown off Major League Manager.
He takes it. Now here's a good kick by Grenda. Centering kick to Barlow. Can't take the mark. Roved there by Neat. Bounces past him. 3-on-1. Poked there by Barlow. Only Andrew White in front of him. And we're going to get a free kick anyway. And holding the man there against Barlow. He did well against three Warrandyte players.
He did, and it was a great second effort too. He couldn't get disposed in the first one. He went back and tried to get the ball again.
You'd like that, Whitey.
I absolutely did. One of the best sports movies of all time. As Barlow will line up. Already
coming
got
up for his fourth for the day.
Yeah. So Barlow directly in front. Hopefully he's no Rick Wild thing Vaughan, and this goes all over the place. 8-12-60, 20-point lead. This to close it now here to 14 points. Barlow puts it on the left, does not miss. And that's the seventh of the afternoon for East Burwood. They move to 7-4-46, trailing Warrandyte 8-12-60. We've played 19 minutes. Let's cross boundary side.
I tell you what, it was a really brave kick. There was a very, very big audience of the Warrandyte crew sitting on the back of their utes down here, hoping for the absolute opposite result to what he just got. So it was nice to see a little silencer to that crowd who was starting to get a bit rowdy, a bit arrogant, I thought.
I hope they don't hear that. You might not get out here alive, Tyson.
Yeah, don't tell them, and you boys are escorting me out. Is that still the deal?
I think the umpire escorts have got their hands full enough, mate.
So suddenly in the blink of an eye, Barlow's got 4 goals to go with the 8 that he's kicked in the last 2 weeks. So he was a bit quiet early, but he's really come back into the game. Little handball out there from Saunders. Now they go forward. That's not a great kick. And they'll rebound off half-back, they being East Burwood. The Rams, he trailed by 14 at the moment. Still hanging around, but you just get the feeling that Warrandyte are in control of this game. That's a good mark too.
Good mark.
Taken there by East Burwood. They go inside 50. The kick. Now who's going to get on the end of this one? Almost a mark there. It's spilled towards the boundary. Looking for the free kick, but it's not going to come. Barlow it was. He was trying to get hands on it and go back to have a shot for his 5th.
We just sense there's a little bit of change of momentum going in East Burwood's favour at the moment.
Very slightly, Ray, I think, at the moment.
And so umpire to throw it in as the sun beats down here. That's won nicely by Hayton. It's come out for Warrandyte, and they get it clear, but only into the middle of the ground. Mark taken there nicely by Bursey. Bursey wheels onto the left, goes long, trying to find a target, but it's a 2-on-1 down there. Not much chance of getting hands for that one, but beautifully picked up. A good fortune there by Stevens. He gets a handball off. Now they poke it back down the line, but that's not a great kick, and it's going to go... No, it's still in over there. Little underground handball trying to find Simonella, but he's run out of room on that far side, and we'll have the throw in. So we've had, just over 20 minutes, so we're into time on this third quarter, and the Rams haven't made a lot of headway on the scoreboard. They still trail by 14, but they're still in this if they're good enough. Here's the throw-in. Knocked down by Hendrick it was, who was in the ruck that time. Ball knocked forward, but it's a good kick. It's been cut off there by Pilker. Pilker goes inside 50. Now can they get the mark? Yes, almost. Sock it off the ground. If this goes through, this will be a miracle, but it's not going to. 22 there is Beasley. Handball off. Now he gets a little short kick out to the back pocket, but that's going to take some stopping, and it's gone out of bounds. So all a bit untidy. That would have been some... Imagine if that had gone through, boys.
That would have been a goal and a half, wouldn't it?
We have to get more Trojan toolkits. Right. Waverly Blues, just a quick score update. 11-11-77 over Fair Park, 2-10-22. An absolute shellacking out, developing out there. Here's Middleton now, takes it with both. Duke puts it onto the left, looking for Grender. Got punched away from him, taken out of midair there by Tout. He gets dragged to the ground, and we'll have another ball up. Another score, last score we have from Scoresby and Whitehorse. Scoresby 6-4-40 leading Whitehorse solitary behind, and Donvale 5-2-32 trailing Glen Waverley 3-6-24. Keep the scores coming in because I'm sure that one was at least a quarter old as this one moved in, and Grender takes his man down, and we'll have another ball up.
One thing I like is the way the East Burwood forwards, they're fighting to hold the ball
inside pressure,
that 50.
Their pressure in the last 5 to 10 minutes has been really positive.
Always brings a smile to the coach's face when your forwards are working.
Yep.
So Hayton wins the tap, taken with both jukes there by Handrick, just couldn't get it out cleanly, and looks like we've got a free kick coming the way here of Hayton as Handrick just threw the footy away. And coming out now here is Andrew White. His kick out towards the wing. And good jukes there from Phillips, taking a mark. At least a good 60 metres from his natural habitat, the forward line. Puts it back to White, back from whence it came. He puts it back onto the left boot, up now towards the half forward line. Middleton has the front spot, couldn't take it, but took it on the bounce. Got a hand pass out now here to his teammate in Jenkins. Goes over the top to Rixton, puts it onto the left, in towards half forward. Neats there, takes it on the bounce, did well. Out to Simonella, shakes one tackle, shakes another one, puts it onto the right boot. High up and under there, sitting there underneath it, couldn't take it, could Grendel. And down to the ground it goes, and well, that deserved a mark to finish off that transition. Let's go boundary side.
I tell you what, the tension down here is getting a little bit thick. I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but it's got a real feel of we want to have a fight about it. So hey, keep this peeled. 3/4 time siren might come at a really nice time.
And that's only between you and BWS.
As Mariani's kick was smothered, that wasn't 10 metres. You'd have to be absolutely joking. Sorry, mate. That's And that's going to be a ball up.
As a Sydney supporter, I reckon that went the distance.
All 3 metres. All right, here's the ball up right on the edge of the arc. Handrick fisted over the top by Hayton. Well taken by Anjemi, roving the pack, swinging around onto the right boot. Grander's down there, so's Barlow. Neither of them can take it. It's swatted over the line beautifully there by Beasley. We'll have a boundary throw in the forward pocket here for Warrandyte, from East Burwood.
I think Tyson's looking for a couple of bodyguards. We haven't got any spare mates. Sorry, you'll have to battle it out on your own.
Well, at least he does have the sunnies to hide the black eyes. So.
Yes, here it comes in. The big man Hayden gets an uncontested tap in there, knocks it down. Cries of holding the ball, but I think he's paid it. Oh, that's... he's given, I think it was a high tackle because it certainly wasn't holding the ball.
Cross down.
Let's go down to BWS.
He's paid holding the man there, which is completely the wrong call. You dropped the football then. That should have been a free kick to East Burwood. We had a perfect angle for it on this side.
Thank you, mate.
Lachlan Buckley, the recipient of this free kick, he has been fantastic down back for Warrandyte today. He's done a great job.
So it is Buckley who takes the kick, sends it down the line. Mark taken over there, ripper too, in front of his opponent. So, just taking a bit of time. They're quite happy just to slow it down. Warrandyte, they're in control of this game, leading by 14 points. Little kick down the line, nicely done. That's my mate Rakai. He's also played very well. He goes just a little chip kick down the line. It's all a bit just too easy, just an easy uncontested mark, and now they wheel around and go inside 50, but there's Middleton's back there, but he can't get near it. Neither can it was Thompson who was on the ground.
Head high.
And the umpire's whistle goes. It's a head high free kick, and it's going to be taken quickly by Myers. Myers gets it in. Can they get a mark? It's a punch, but it's still there. The danger is far from over, but well done there by Middleton, and he comes away with it, those long legs. Looping handball over the top to no one in particular. In fact, he threw it to Buckley, and they go inside 50, and that's going to be just curling away off target. Does it stay in? No, it's gone out. And the umpire says it's a point. So bad mistake there. Turnover at the wrong time.
Middleton should have made more of it. He should have made more of the opportunity.
Should have done. So 8-3-61 plays 7-4-46 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. 26 minute of the game. Long kick down the middle. Goes past Neat. And heavy hit there as the ball goes forward. Now here they come again, Warrandyte. Now Saunders puts a little one inside. Good mark taken there by Cullen. He's also played particularly well.
2 options there. Too easy.
And as we go boundary side with Ben Warren Smith.
Not really easy, I wouldn't say, Ray. I'd say that Warrandyte are playing in front and they've got that turn of speed that's just a little bit faster than East Burwood. So you're in front, you get the mark.
So
lots of fortune.
They're creating options. That's what
Cullen's
I'm trying
kick
to
on
say.
its way. It looks all right. The umpire's standing there watching it go straight over his head. So Cullen puts it through. And that's another big killer for Warrandyte. Every time the Rams look like getting close, Warrandyte kick away. It's their 9th of the afternoon, 9-13-67, despite their wastefulness. Lead 7-4-46 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
Yeah, just a couple of poor turnovers from the Rams when they're coming out of defence. You've got to kick along on this sort of ground. Handballs are not what's required at this point in time in the game. They can be too costly.
3/4 time score update. South Croydon 9-10-64, double the score of Doncaster East 4-8-32. An interesting score in Division 4. Sylvan 7-10-52, Kilsyth 7-6-48. Okay. Just a 4-point margin out there. Here's Hayton. He wins the tap, and Jemmy tried to burst through the pack. Mariani does so, gets it onto the right, looking for a target. Almost took it one-handed there, did Kennedy for Warrandyte. But the siren will beat all comers in an entertaining quarter of footy, but Warrandyte reaching the ascendancy and coming from behind. 9-13-67. They lead East Burwood 7-4-46. Goal kickers for Warrandyte. Buckley with 2, Brooking with 2, Myers with 2, singles to Johnston, Towton, Cullum. And for East Burwood, Lewis Neat with 1, Middleton with 1, Mariani with 1, and Barlow with 4. Well, the stage is set for an entertaining 4th quarter, and we'll be back right after this to break it down. It's EFNL Game Day here on SEN.
Alright, thanks for that, guys. Another 4 minutes, and then we'll be back again.
Can't lay a tackle. What was the seniors coach going to do? Jono surprised himself and everyone else. The spray he gave the boys at halftime worked. Well, he did finish it by saying he'd shout him a post-game feed and frothies at Eastland if they won. For all of life and footy's little moments, there's Eastland. Proud sponsors of the EFL. Eastland. Live real.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner? Broke a finger, high-fiving the ruckman? Or did you run into the goal post again? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. The preferred provider of emergency care to the Eastern Football Netball League, you'll generally experience shorter wait times. You don't need private health, but there is an out-of-pocket fee. Be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department, 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
At Yarra Valley Water, we know reducing your shower time, or for some people, show time, to 4 minutes can save you an average of $255 a year on water and energy bills. Save the performance for the stage. Shower shorter. Save water.
Do you feel good about your bank? Because there is a bank you can feel good about. They share their profits to fund big community projects, small community clubs, and vital emergency services. They've given $250 million to help Australian communities thrive. They have all the products and tech you expect from a big bank, with service you don't. It's Bendigo Bank. Feel good about who you bank with. Try Bendigo. Search bendigobank.com.au or search Bendigo Bank near me.
Hello, I'm Peter Hitchener. 9 News invites you to join our team nightly at 6 for Melbourne's #1 news. Tony Jones with the latest sport, including the footy, plus Lavinia Nixon's weather forecast. 9 News, proud supporter of the Eastern Football League.
You've all been to funerals of family members or friends, right? Do you start thinking about what you would want at your funeral? It's a bit like when you go to a wedding.
That's right.
At what stage do you start planning?
Have an open and honest conversation with your loved ones. Celebrate your life the way you want, like I did with a fixed price funeral plan from Tobin Brothers Funerals. The price doesn't change and your life will be celebrated your way. Find out more at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
At Eastland, we believe one day isn't enough to celebrate all that our beautiful mums do. That's why we're celebrating Happy Mother's Days, the festival of love she deserves. From dining to fashion, homewares or a pampering session, Eastland has all your favourite brands ready to spoil mum. And if you need inspiration, check out our online gift guides. Spend $250 and you'll go in the running to win a $50 Eastland gift card till May 8th. T's and C's apply. Find out more at eastland.com.au. Eastland, live real.
Okay, guys, we're back in 60 seconds from now.
Ankle bursting through the banner? Broke a finger high-fiving the ruckman? Or did you run into the goal post again? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. The preferred provider of emergency care to the Eastern Football Netball League, you'll generally experience shorter wait times. You don't need private health, but there is an out-of-pocket fee. Be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department, 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
The senior coach has taken the team to Eastland for a post-game feed. If only they had this kind of teamwork on the field. They've just ordered starters to share, plus frothies for the whole table. And now Steve-O's chucked a prawn to Macca. He circled back. Yes! Straight into it.
10 seconds.
Good form, boys. For all of life and footy's little moments, there's Eastland. Proud sponsors of the EFL. Eastland, live real.
Let's head back and go local for your footy.
Mike's on.
And welcome back here to EFNL Game Day here on SEN or simulcast on Radio Eastern 98.1, streaming around the globe on YouTube or Facebook. It's Warrandyte, 9:13:67, leading East Burwood 7-4-46 at three-quarter time. Updated score coming in from Division 2. The Basin 8-8-56, lead Mulgrave 3-8-26. No further updated score. South Belgrave last updated score from half-time, 13-6-84. Templestowe 5 straight 30. Keep those scores coming in across the Eastern Football League as we have 1 quarter to go out here, gentlemen, and looking forward to an entertaining fourth quarter provider.
Boundary.
And I think the responses will go after head down to Boundary.
Let's go boundary side to Tyson Popstone.
Guys, with the coach of Warrandyte, Paul Donahue, just caught up after the three-quarter time message. Mate, really strong start to that third quarter. What went right for the rest of the quarter after that, in your opinion?
Our attack on the footy was fantastic. We had a couple of guys in the middle, and we know they've played some really good football in their third quarter, so that was our focus, to really come out and get in their face and really show them the way, and I think our mid sort of led to that. We finally got some space. The big fella came off for a bit, and it probably actually helped us there. It opened up our forward line a little bit and sort of threw their defence, and we capitalised on our opportunities. Half-time with 13 points. We kicked 6-1 that quarter, so it makes a difference.
Nice little quarter, nice little lead to take into the final quarter as well. I'm sure they're going to come out strong and have a good crack, but what was the message in terms of what we've got to focus on just to get across the line in this final quarter?
Yeah, you're right. They'll come out and they'll have a crack. So our intensity at the footy is there. I thought we dropped off at the latter start of that third. So a consistent effort over 4 quarters where we go. We know they're coming, but we're a good side and we want to show that right now.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, mate. Good luck.
Thanks, Tyson. Spider, as you were saying?
Yeah, look, as what Paul was just mentioning, East Burwood need to take some risk. They know that they're going to come, and now they've got to get some risk and reward footy going, get early clearances and put some score on the board. They can score quickly when they move the ball and transition, really promptly.
Cross down.
Let's go down to Ben Warren-Smith.
Well, I tell you what, I would want to have Stewie Wine running the defence force of this country, because you would listen to him. He said, "Do not die wondering. Peg it back. If they get the first one, harden up and peg it back." He's confident, very confident.
So underway in this final quarter, and they're going to take some stopping, Warrandyte, you feel, in this last term. Nice pick up there by Stevens. They really have to get something going early. Couple of early goals would do the job. Good mark taken there. That's good work by Neat. He's been pretty good for East Burwood. One of their better players wheels around onto the right. Now he goes to the hot spot. Can they get a mark? Middleton was there, but he got cut off by the Warrandyte defence, and they go long into the middle of the ground. That's a solid hit there as the ball comes forward again, and here they go, Warrandyte, where they've spent so much of the game. Good mark taken there by Phillips.
Beautiful.
He goes inside 50, and that's beautiful play. And that's what's happened in this game. Like 1 minute East Burwood are attacking, and in the blink of an eye, they can just turn it around.
Yeah, well, that was a really good kick and just a nice little hit up, and Phillips, he gets them every day of the week, doesn't he?
And my man Luke Dunn, as I said, so quick off the mark. The defender has got no chance whatsoever once Luke Dunn gets moving.
So,
yeah, exactly.
So it is done. Who's taken this one? He'll be kicking from about 40. Lets it go. Umpire's on the move, though, so a wasted opportunity for Warrandyte. And the Rams breathe again. It's through for a minor score. And on this Bendigo Bank scoreboard, it's 9-14-68, playing 7-4-46, margin 22.
So here's the kick out towards the half-back line. Middleton with a strong juice. Couldn't take it. It's almost pumped back in. Good spoil there from Stevens. It goes out by hand now over the top. Blind handball from Gould. Looking for his man there in Grenda. Trying to squeeze through the pack now. Here is Kennedy. Gets by hand. Middleton almost got held without it. Ball picks up the deck. Caden Logan gets it out there to his teammate in Gould. He gets bundled over the boundary line as we go over the other side of the boundary line. Ben Warren-Smith.
Well, let Lee put the camera out over into the sun. What I was going to say about Dunn is his kicking's really let himself down today. He's been able to win the football, but he's had a lot of missed opportunities.
Maybe he's been looking into the sun. BWS is and Jemmy taken high.
BWS just on Dunn, mate. He'd be a prime prospect for St Kilda then, wouldn't he? He'd fit in well down there.
Touche.
All right, so I'll let you guys touch gloves and go back to your corners. Here's the kick now back into the half-forward line. East Burwood can't get clean purchase on the footy. They finally do here from Mariani. Swings one in towards the forward line. Bouncing footy, race for it now. Jenkins turns the corner. Hand passed out there was a good one. Swings back now here to Kennedy. His kick was smothered, and out come Warrandyte out of their back line. By hand now. Intended target there is Saunders. Can't beat the ball over the line or Jason Kennedy, and we'll have a boundary throw in far side of the ground.
A missed opportunity there, Spider.
Yeah, I was just going to say that, right? That was a
forward line was wide open. It just couldn't get the bounce of the ball.
So 2.5 played here in quarter number 4. 68 plays 46. Warrandyte, the home team, with a decisive advantage at the moment. As that ball swatted back out over the boundary line. Saunders can't keep it in. We'll have a boundary throw.
So scoreboard's going to start becoming a real problem at the moment. They've just got enough time, you feel, but as the minutes tick away, if East Burwood can't put points on the board, it's going to become very, very difficult for them. As the ball comes in, Middleton works his way to the front spot, gets the knockdown. Now the ball goes forward. Can someone get on the end of that? Only a nice twist and turn there. I think that was a Cullum. He got the kick forward. Inside 50. Can they get the mark? Yes, it is. Beautifully taken there. That's Myers. Myers puts a little handball out in front of himself, tries to get it back, but going back there and saving the day was Logan, and he's taken across the boundary line.
Free kick to East Burwood.
And it's a free kick, so high shot. In the back, in fact.
Holding the ball, I think.
All right.
Are we going numeric chronologically through the rulebook, Andy?
Let's just call it a free kick and be done with it. Long kick down the line. Up they fly. 3 players fly for that one. Bouncing away there, but it's Simonella who comes away with it and just thumps it forward. Nice mark taken there. Now there's an opportunity. It's Hendrick. Hendrick goes inside 50. This is better from East Burwood. Twisting around there was Grenda, but he couldn't keep it in. It's a bit more direct from East Burwood as they try and just get it in 50 quickly and try and isolate some of their big men one out and try and get themselves back into this game. It's crucial they get the first goal of this term, otherwise you think it's going to be very difficult for them. Umpire sends it back in, knocked down there into the tight stuff. It was Simonella. And the umpire says we'll throw it up again.
Quick score update from Division 4. Coldstream putting Nunn and Wadding to the sword. 29-13, 187 to 2-4-16.
So Hendrick kicked it out of the air in the hands now of Neats as they snap. Some snap at goal, but it's just off target. Crowd started to go up, but the umpire wasn't interested. And it was Kennedy that got the kick in, but it's gone through for a minor score. So a little bit of a opportunity for East Burwood there, but they miss out.
And this is where they've got to lock the ball in.
Yeah.
It's crossed down boundary side, BWS.
That would have been the biggest fooling that I've ever seen of a goal umpire, because that missed by a clear 2 metres.
So I can't get Lou Brown out of my head now, BWS. You've done me for the last quarter.
just go with it.
All right. As long as you're not Jabu, mate. As this one kicked up in towards centre half forward, bounces over everyone's head. Hodgson, the intended target, put back in towards the forward line. Grubber kick, scooped up now here by Warrandyte. Oh, East Burwood, great tackle by Grenda. Unlucky, and he's won himself a free directly in front. Well, that's what East Burwood needed. And they'll have a set shot for goal directly in front, 35 out. And Grenda with a chance to get his first of the afternoon.
Yeah, that was a really good tackle. Some good pressure. They've locked the ball in. Now have an opportunity to kick a goal.
So, East Burwood, a chance to reduce the margin by 6. It's currently a 19-point lead now here to the Bloods. Here's the kick from Grenda, and he's sprayed it to the left, just the minor score. And we've got a whistle here. Is it a man on the mark violation? Looks like he's going to get another shot at it.
Is it 25?
Yeah, it's 25. Yeah, I think it was. I think the man on the mark moved. So this is going to.
It's going to be a certainty.
Yeah, this has to be a certainty. So either something was said or it was man on the mark, and we might just get the rule book out and just throw a dartboard at it. We've done that for the last 5 minutes.
I get a feeling it was on the man on the mark. I think he did move. Yeah.
So Grenda's surely going to kick his first of the afternoon. He does, and East Burwood get their 8th, and they close the margin just that little bit more with 6.5 gone. Warrandyte 9-14-68, East Burwood 8-5-53, 13 points to margin, nearly 7 minutes gone.
It's amazing, Ray, in these sort of tight arm wrestle games that just errors like that and lack of discipline can sometimes come back to bite you. So I'd say Paul O'Donoghue wouldn't be too happy with that sort of situation.
Warrandyte would not be happy at all with it, but on the other hand, I don't think Stewie Wine would have been too happy with the first kick because he should have kicked the goal anyway.
Well, that'll be definitely a fine on Thursday night, I would suggest, in the fine tin. I know Spencer collects them. He'll be collecting the $2.
So little moments like that can sometimes just turn a game as the ball goes into the Mariani, who went without it. Now it's in the hands of Neat. One surely wrapped up. I think that was a boundary side. Ben Ryan-Smith? No?
No. What I was going to say, sorry, you just cut out there. Well, the message at three-quarter time from East Burwood huddle really was persistence, right? So if every 6 minutes they can peg back 1 goal, they win the game. And they've already done that so far.
Sounds good in principle. As the ball goes to ground. Nice tight wrap up there. Jenkins it was who was on the bottom of that, and the umpire says we'll ball it up. So as I said, the clock is going to be a key enemy for East Burwood if they are to get back into this game. There's the knockdown as the ball goes forward into the Warrandyte. Forward 50, knocked away there by Phillips, chasing out towards the boundary. In fact, that is Hanlon going towards the boundary. In fact, it's Richardson, going towards the boundary, and he gets taken across.
I think Al would have been teaching his son from an early age the defensive mechanisms in the backyard.
That's right.
That one, that looked very professional, like a Richardson.
That's right.
Quick score update from Division 1. Park Orchards 14-13-97, all over Murrelbach 5-3-33.
And so uncontested hit out there from Middleton as East Burwood try and get their hands on the ball. It's over on that far side again, and good strong tackle made there by Pilker, and the umpire says we'll throw it up again. Play just starting to slow down here. Maybe a little bit of fatigue starting to set in. It'll be quite warm out there too, I imagine, with the sun beating down for most of the afternoon.
I've lost 3 kilos in this sun.
So, umpire to throw it up. Off it goes. Working his way to the front spot there and getting the hit out was Hayton, but it's back into the contest again, and umpire says we'll throw it up again.
A couple of quick Premier Division scores. Sorry, Noble Park 11-7-73, leading Blackbird 9-8-62 Besto, and Doncaster 9-9-63, leading Berwick 7-7-49.
Thanks, Steve. As the ball goes inside 50, and it's Jenkins who gets the kick forward, but they need to get it to the other end, East Burwood. All these stoppages and wasting the time really isn't doing them a lot of good, as Angelmi gets a handball across the far side of the ground, and it's out of bounds. So Warrandyte will be quite happy with this. It's all just stop-start, a lot of stoppages, just running the clock down. They don't really have to score anymore. They lead by 15 points.
Yeah, I still think they're going to have to kick another one to win.
Yeah, I agree, Spider. They need one.
Goes. Not saying they didn't want another one. I said they don't have to, but you're quite right, boys. I completely agree with you. Absolutely. So they get out of the tight stuff. That was Mariani. Hasn't had the busiest game today as they go inside 50. A floaty old kick. Can someone get on the end of that? It's gone away. And, getting back and just getting his hands on it there. And there's a whistle. And the
throw. He paid a throw against the big man.
Someone yelling, how can you see that from 100 metres away down the bottom?
Lou Brown not happy with the pitching there. Decided to show it himself as Dib takes the mark here just inside the forward 40. Here's the kick in short. Intended target there was Richardson, and that will be a free kick to Warrandyte. Richardson got one up high. He goes by hand. Quick kick in towards the middle of the ground. Saunders went over his head, and a foot race ensues. Warrandyte have numbers, but the ball ends up in East Burwood hands. Good tackle applied on Jenkins, and we'll have a ball up in the centre of the ground.
Important stoppage here, boys, I think. Just got to, if East Burwood can lock this one up and then create something, give themselves a chance to score.
Middleton doing the rucking, wins that one against Hayton, but he got the secondary knock out of the ruck, and the umpire says give it straight back to me. We've progressed all of 2 metres as we got a free kick downfield.
Yeah, the umpire off the ball paid the free kick.
Yeah, I'm not sure who that was, but that was 2.
Yeah.
So Warrandyte with a free kick. That's one East Burwood will rue if they capitalise off this. Here's the kick now here from Hodgson in towards the forward line. Great mark going back with it by Wills. And he's been one of the stars for East Burwood this afternoon. As he swings this one in short now, Jenkins will take the mark here on the near side of the ground, just inside his defensive arc. He goes in towards the centre of the ground, and the Rams try to surge forward. They need to capitalise off this drive. Here's the kick now. Grenda, the target, took it brilliantly going back. And they're looking to move the footy quickly. Brendan now swings around. He's got Barlow, decides to back himself in, and it's just to the left. And, well, worth a ping. You got to go for it. And, well, that's just the minor score. 9-14-68 Warrandyte lead East Burwood, 8-7-55. We've played 12 minutes here in the fourth quarter.
Still plenty of time.
So it's White with the ball to bring it back in for Warrandyte, and sends it long. Up they fly for it. It was over the head there of Rixton, who just got his hands to it, but it's fallen for Warrandyte again, as so many of these balls have, and they go quickly through the middle of the ground. It was dropped there by Hodgson, but he manages to recover. A little pop kick into the half-forward line, but well played. It was Rixton who took the mark.
Wrong option.
And they'll rebound off half-back. Little chip out there to Pickering, taking a bit of time, trying to find something to kick to up forward. Now he goes down the line, and the only person to kick to is Thompson. He takes an uncontested mark. And we've got a free kick. So Jenkins it'll be. In fact, no, sorry, it's Neat who will have the free kick for East Burwood.
Cross down.
Let's go down the boundary side of Ben Warren Smith.
I just want the umpires to make sure that they don't just blow the whistle every second of this quarter, because there's been a lot of free kicks paid so far. Let the game go.
Certainly has. As the ball goes back into the contest again, wrapped up. It's I don't know about you boys, but it's I just can't get the feeling that this game should be over, but it's not. 14 points in favour of Warrandyte, and we've had 13 minutes, but if East Burwood get the next goal, anything could happen.
As Spider said before, Warrandyte's got to kick another goal to win the game. They must kick another goal.
Agreed, but they should be. You think they should be out of sight now. Mark taken there by Cullen. They go inside 50 through the hands there of Saunders. Can they maybe be able to get it again? Picked up there by Richardson, but great tackle, and him, he throws it back, trying to find one of his own players. Was that in the back?
Trip.
So free kick. It's going to go the way of East Burwood, who are hanging on grimly at the moment. Gold, and that's a 25-metre penalty now.
So that's just an easy passage for East Burwood to move the ball down the ground. The Warrandyte players have got to be more alert to that.
So here comes the kick in towards the forward line. Oh, took it. Grender on the third grab. Took it in front of two Warrandyte players, and just like that, East Burwood have themselves another opportunity to close the scoreline.
Well, they just gave away 25 metres, Ray, totally unnecessarily, and that just opened the door for East Burwood to have a chance to have a shot at goal.
Let's go down to Tyson Popplestone just after this kick, mates.
Yeah, the 20... Oh, yeah.
Sorry, mate, don't want to jump the gun.
Boys, I was excited.
No, all good. As Grender now looking for his second of the afternoon, and this to make the difference. 8 points. His kick goes... Oh, he's... sliced it just to the right. So the faithful really trolling me there behind the goals. And it's Warrandyte 9-14-68, East Burwood 8-7-55, Tyson Popplestone.
Well, it doesn't seem as exciting anymore. I just wanted to let you know that 25 was against Michael Cullen for mouthing off to the umpire.
Okay.
Yeah, but even if it's back-chatted, it just doesn't matter. You've got to be more disciplined in these tight games.
So dangerous ball into the middle of the field, ball on the ground, and it's been gone to ground level. Taking it away there was Duran as Warrandyte try and get their hands on this, and it's out of bounds. So the clock continues to run down. We've had 15 minutes in this last quarter, and the margin is 13. So it's basically a 3-kick game. If East Burwood have any hope of winning this game at all, then they're going to need to get one, and they're going to need to get it quickly. Umpire to throw it in. Up it goes. Nicely taken out of the ruck there by Stafford. He's been quite prominent in this last quarter. And a good strong tackle there, and the umpire says we'll ball it up again. So the sun's slowly dissipating behind the trees.
The Templestowe doctor's in.
As it gets a little cooler out here. Up they go. There's the tap from Hayton. Goes into the tackle again.
High.
And it was Kennedy. He holds his hands up as if to say, it's my free kick, and he gets it too. Now he wheels onto the right foot and goes long. Can he get a mark on the end of this? Up they fly, but it goes straight over the top. Sockering off the ground there was... and almost going through for a goal. It was Barlow that got the soccer off the ground.
Gee,
just for a minute.
Just bounced the wrong way for Barlow, didn't it? It looked like it was going through the goal.
If that had gone through, it would have made things pretty interesting. But as it is, it's still only a 2-goal game. So Warrandyte.
Oh, nearly over the top. There went Josh Myers. Sorry, Bess, I got excited a bit there.
That's all right.
But just a quick score update from Division 2. South Belgrave 19-10-124, demolishing Templestowe 4-5-21. Boronia 3-4-22, Trail Ringwood 7-4-46, and the base at 9-8-62, leading Mulgrave 4-10-34. As this one continues on, as Buckley's kick goes in towards the centre square. Plenty of time and space now here for Dibb. Puts a chip kick in towards the direction of Johnston. Couldn't take it on the first grab. Good job by Wills to put the pressure on him. Johnston now, he's wrapped up in the tackle. Great play there by Wills. And he's been given it. Well, I have to pay that. I'd have to pay that. Wills has been one of the best players for East Burwood there.
Just a great second effort, really. He just did what he had to do, and he got possession of the ball.
Unfortunately, the kick didn't follow up his second effort, as that one's on the ground. Brookings shook a couple of tackles, got the hand pass out. Hayton goes by hand now here to his teammate in Tout. Tout's kick over the top, and it's marked there by Cullum right in front of the East Burwood bench. 17 and a half gone as we approach time on here in this fourth and final term. It's Warrandyte by 12 points as the kick comes in towards the direction of Phillips. 3v1, lost out that battle. Picked up now and tackled to the ground was Richardson, and Stafford makes sure he's going nowhere, and the ball going back to the umpire. So, yeah, the chill really coming into the commentary box. I'm going to have to go to the jacket in a second. Came at 4:30, did it? It's a little later than expected. There's a dribbling ball now. Dibb gets great tackle applied there as Dibb was coasting into goal, and great second effort there from Jackson Bursey, and we'll have a ball up 10 metres out. 18 minutes gone, 12 points the margin here. Division 3 into the ruck. Stafford. No one can get clean purchase of it. East Burwood trying to force this out. Here's Racky. He shakes one tackle, shakes two, maybe shakes a third, gives a hand pass out. Oh, dropped it at the crucial juncture. Did Warrandyte. Hand pass now out to the back. Here's Hayton, a short chip pass across, and an easy mark taken there for Jordan Powell.
Go back and kick a goal.
Yep, he's going to back himself.
Cover yourself in glory.
Oh, geez, don't start low. Start low, Ray. Well, Jordan Powell, speaking of which, he hasn't scored one all season, so he'd love one, and so would Warrandyte right about now.
East Burwood's got to be very careful here. There's not a short.
Absolutely.
Sometimes you can be too conscious of everyone back on the goal line.
Go short.
So Powell, kick from just outside the arc. No breeze to speak of. Puts it onto the right. Well, it looks like it's got the carry, not the accuracy, though. It's going to drift to the right, and it's touched through for a minor score. Warrandyte just add the 1 point, but a handy one. 9:15.69. They lead East Burwood 8:56 as we approach the 20-minute mark here in this fourth and final term.
This is where they've got to take the ball, transition the ball coast to coast here, the Rams.
Got to go down the corridor. No mucking about.
As Steve White said, it is a handy point because it makes it more than a two-kick game now as the ball goes down the middle through the hands of Middleton, but it's fallen nicely, and here's an opportunity as Gwenda goes inside. He's been good in this last quarter. The bounce sits there, trying to get his hands on it was Barlow. Couldn't do so. Back it comes into the tight stuff. Barlow, in fact, it's Barlow making the tackle now. And the umpire says holding the ball.
No, he threw it.
They threw it, sorry, as a throw. So, free kick. A couple of little good periods there by Barlow, contender for the play of the day, the Neverland Store, the Sportsco play of the day. And he'll go back and have this shot. Now, if this goes through, we're looking at a 7-point game, and we've got, who knows how long there is to go because we're now into time on. Surely someone's going to kick straight today. It's been one of those days. And here he comes, Barlow. Gets it away. The umpire's got it there. He's kicked it. Barlow has kicked it. Now, I tell you what, it's back to a 7-point ball game, and we might have written them off a bit quick. The Rams back in contention.
For Barlow.
And 5 goals for Barlow. Yep, you're right.
It's been a good performance, and the Rams are hanging in there, Ray. They are coming, and as we've said, Warrandyte have to kick that goal, and it just.
That's right. As I said early in the game, it's that sort of game where Warrandyte look like they're controlling the game, but East Burwood just get a goal, just stay in touch.
Yeah, they've just chipped away, haven't they?
They're within striking distance now.
So, quick score update from Division 1. Croydon 6-7-43, lead Montrose 6-6-42, but it's 7 points the difference out here at Warrandyte. A quick kick there, smothered Stevens as digging for it was Pickering, diving in for the footy there. Bravely there was Durran, and we'll have a ball up just to the edge of the centre square. Attacking side of the ground here for Warrandyte, as they've conceded the lead at three-quarter time, but not entirely yet, as here comes the hand pass back. Verstegen pumps this one up high, up and under, in towards the forward line. Good spoil by Rixton. It might bounce fortuitously here for Cullum. Puts it onto the left, and that is 6. That's a major, and that's exactly what Warrandyte needed at this juncture of the game. And, well, that might just do it. There's still plenty of time left. Regardless, it's 10-15-75. East Burwood, 9-8-62. 22 minutes played here in the fourth and final term.
Yeah, look, Warrandyte just worked the ball around the boundary and then moved the ball in and then capitalise and get a goal, Ray. So
that's
that was
right,
a good play.
Look, a couple of lucky bounces there that went Warrandyte's way, but that's football.
Exactly.
That's right.
So another contender for the Sportsco play of the day, and I tell you what, that could be pretty crucial because that might just about be it. It's going to be tough now for the Rams. They've still got time, but they're going to have to play the game pretty much perfectly from here. Back in the middle, they've got to start by winning this hit out. Middleton tries to take it out of the ruck. He does, but they'll be holding the ball, surely. Yep. Trying to take the tacklers on. There were 2 of them, Middleton. He's not the biggest man physically. He's tall, but not all that physical. As Mark taken there by Hodgson. He'd have to be in the votes this afternoon. They go forward towards...
he's kicked it!
It's gone through! How on earth did that happen? I think that might trump everybody for the goal of the day. The Tobin brothers goal of the day.
Tell you what, you're not going to get any better than that at this stage of the game. That was a fantastic
I tell you what, there's a fair bit of luck in that, but who cares?
Look, he's marked the ball outside the forward 50. He's made the most of it. He's run as far as he can. He's kicked the ball. It's gone past everybody and rolled through for a goal.
It's just one of those
fortune.
things.
Yeah, look, you got to give him credit. He had a go. He took the risk and got the reward.
That's right.
But in terms of what Middleton did too, he tried to take a risk too. Unfortunately, it didn't pay off for them. And then on the rebound, it was a goal.
Let's kick this guy out of Warren Smith.
Well, we're feeling safe now. We're walking over towards the cheer squad.
Unescorted. You take your own risk out here in Warrandyte, mate. I've heard some stories.
We'll be crossing down to Tyson pretty soon once we're in amongst it.
All right, here's Mariani's kick in towards the forward line for East Burwood, but it's all Warrandyte, and a good strong mark over the top there by Powell. He steadies the ship, puts it back onto the right boot. Intended target Johnston. Might take it one-handed. No, he won't. And over the boundary line she goes. And 2 crucial goals there for Warrandyte in as many minutes. And they have hand and four fingers on the chocolates here this afternoon. 24 minutes played in time on in this fourth quarter. Wrestle off the draw, and it looks like Middleton might get the free kick. No, it's going to go to Hayton. So Hayton been very solid in the ruck, done probably about 90% of the rucking duties this afternoon for Warrandyte. Indecisive, but then eventually puts it onto the right boot. One-on-one contest. There's Cullum, the goal kicker from a couple of minutes ago, did well but ran out of real estate, and will have a boundary throw in on the half-forward line here for Warrandyte. A couple of score updates coming from across the league. Make sure you keep those scores coming in. We'll obviously wrap up all the scores as we're coming. Donvale 9-5-59 leading Glen Waverley 4-8-32. The Waverly Blues 17-13-115 leading Fair Park 3-11-29. Trying to clear the kick there was Kennedy. Couldn't get it out of the half-back line. Eventually the Rams do, but it's straight down the throat of Rakeba. We've got a free kick, and it's coming upfield, I think. Yep. So it looked like it was over the shoulder. And the free kick now, he's going to go to Gould. He puts it onto the right boot now. Pack of players forms on the half-forward line for East Burwood. Warrandyte with numbers again. Grubber handball, brilliantly roved by Anjemi, but we've got another free kick, and it looks like it's going to the Warrandyte direction over the shoulder the other way. Let's go off boundary side to Tyson Popplestone.
Guys, I've somehow found my way to the back of someone in Warrandyte's ute. All signs are safe. They're very happy. Cross back in about 5 minutes for an interview. I've got a good one for you.
Excellent. There's this one spoiled over the boundary line. We might have to breath test you first before we do it, Tyson. But 81 plays 62, 25 and a half gone. And I'm sure the Warrandyte faithful are waiting the final siren out here as the sun now firmly disappearing behind the trees, and the shadows across the ground. Taken off the draw. Well, shocking kick there from Hanlon. That just goes out on the full, and we'll have a free kick here for Warrandyte.
So Warrandyte happy just to possess the football now in these dying sages. The match is pretty much wrapped up, and it's in the hands, I think it's Recchi up there. He's been very good. I've been really impressed with him today as he goes for a little run. Now he thumps it forward inside 50, looking for the tall timber, but it's back there. It's well done, and the mark is taken. In fact, it's a huge mark by Ryan Phillips. He hasn't had the biggest day today, but he got on the end of that one, and he'll go back and try and kick his first goal. We pumped him up big time before the game after his 23 goals. As we go boundary side with Tyson Popplestone.
Yeah, I just wanted to get the running thoughts of the Warrandyte team right now as he lines up for this goal. I'm with the self-proclaimed Rancho Relaxo. Is he going to kick it, mate?
Mate, this is going through the sticks. I'll put my house on it.
Oh, well,
you've heard it here. I'm the receiver of that house if it misses.
He might be living in a tent. Here's Phillips with the kick, and he's put it through. Phillips gets his first of the afternoon, and it's good night. The Warrandyte faithful are pretty happy about it too, I think.
Word on the street is Rancho Relaxo knows his goal kickers. There was not an ounce of doubt in his mind with that, and I reckon he's just got a whole lot of love from this crew around here. He's backed himself in as a really good potential for our team next year.
Well, there goes your house, Tyson. I hope Mum and Dad weren't the guarantors.
Yeah, I'm renting anyway, so I'm not too fussed.
Well, there you go. Touche.
Goal number 24 for the season for Ryan Phillips. Hasn't had the biggest day in front of the sticks today, but he's kicked the sealer here.
But what Warrandyte had done with him, he played most of the game at centre half forward. He's out there right now as well, you know, so he hasn't actually been in the goal square for the whole game.
No, and they pushed him out because of the congestion earlier in the game, just to open up the game. Yeah.
So Hayton wins the tap out of the middle. Whistle goes. They can't be long to play with 27 and a half minutes into this final quarter.
They're trying to get done his 200th game.
And up it goes.
So let's hope we can get one more down. Just
nicely there by Hanlon. He's been good. Sorry, Steve.
No, you're good.
In the hands of Recchi.
I'm sure he's going to watch back to 200.
Sorry, it's Brooking. And Brooking now. So, just waiting now for the umpire to throw it up. Siren is imminent as Hanlon gets the tap down, knocks it forward, bouncing around down there, chasing it through is Verstegen. Yeah, they've got it off half back and they swing it out. Now picked up there by Recchi, I think it is, who gets the handball over there. That's Brooking. Brooking goes for a little run, puts it up. Here's an opportunity now as they can go inside 50, but the handball's a shocker and they may still work out for them. They don't hang up the phone just yet. That's in the back, I think. It's a free kick to East Burwood. So they were looking for one, but just a couple of errant handballs there as they go down the line, and that'll be another free kick. There's maybe some holding, I think.
Quick score, Forest Hill 15-10, 100, Croydon North 7-2-44.
So ball goes right down into the... it's getting a bit scrappy towards the back end of this game. Hendrick it was, he got caught. It's a free kick. So Warrandyte just spreading the ball across to half-back line, and there's the siren. And that is a richly deserved victory for Warrandyte. They've played the better footy today, and they've looked likely all day, and they finally got up on the scoreboard. Final score out here, it's 12-15-87, 9-8-62. The Warrandyte side have taken this out by 25 points. Steve White with the major goal kickers.
Yeah, Warrandyte major goal kickers, 2 to Buckley, that's Mitch Buckley, 2 to Brooking, 1 to Johnston, 1 to Tout, 2 to Cullum, 2 to Myers, and singles to Ryan, Phillips and Hodgson. And for East Burwood, Barlow with a bag with 5, Mariani, Middleton, Neat and Grenda, each with 1. And, well, gentlemen, just looked a little shaky there in the first 5 minutes of that fourth quarter there, did Warrandyte, but they came home with a victory in the end.
Yeah, and Spidey, when you analyse at the end of the game here, Warrandyte, they won every quarter, okay, and as I said here, they controlled the game, but your side, East Burwood, they just found a way to get goals and stay within reach.
Yeah, look, they did stay for majority of the afternoon in touch, but look, they'll be disappointed that they just fell away just at the back end of the last quarter, and in the end, just weren't quite good enough on the day. And a 25-point loss. Look, Stuart, although look, he'll be very disappointed with the loss, he can definitely take some positives out of the game, but still, there's just some little things within East Burwood's game. They've got to be a little bit sharper in turnovers with a key at just some critical times, and Warrandyte just punished them on the scoreboard in the back end of, particularly in the third quarter and also in the middle part of this last quarter when they needed to get a couple of goals.
And 5 goals to Braden Barlow there, that's a great effort in a losing side.
It is. It's a good performance. Barlow's been a really good player for them for the majority of the season. A couple of really telling goals for him, and he kept the Rams right in the game when they were only 7 points adrift. But in the end, it was the story is Warrandyte, and that they got the win today. They'll be disappointed, East Burwood. They're 3 losses in a row, so a little bit to think about, and probably just need to reassess where they're at going forward over the next couple of weeks.
And also have to say the effort of called his name quite a few times. Max Wills at the back line for East Burwood. I think he was a bit of a lone hand there.
Yeah, he was quite easily, I thought, East Burwood's best player. Look, Barlow kicking 5 goals in a losing side, but I thought Wills really provided some run and carry and some linking up, and really kept them in the game for the majority of it.
Particularly to keep Phillips and Dunn 1 goal between them too. That's a fantastic effort. He had the job on them at varying stages of the game.
And when the ball's coming in, as it was, particularly early in the game when it's so hot, as the Warrandyte faithful clap and cheer as they come off the ground.
We'll make sure we'll get the club song in just a moment. Thanks BWS and Tyson. Just a couple of quick scores from around the league. South Croydon 16-14, 110, easily in front of Doncaster East 6-8-44. Noble Park 11-7-73, leading Blackburn 9-8-62. Doncaster 9-9-63, leading Berwick 7-7-49. And Vermont, this is a half-time score. This is the last one we have. 6-10-46, leading North Ringwood 3-5-23. And I think we're just moments away from the club song. Let's cross down to the boundary, just cross down to the club rooms now for the song. Well, it looks like we're having a few reception issues down there. We'll have maybe, hold on. No, looks like it's too bad, so sad, unfortunately. Well, this is, I think we're just being trolled here by BWS. And so I'll just go through a couple of other scores while we're waiting. East Ringwood, 18-20, 128, smashing Lilydale, 3-2-20. Wanturna South, 18-13, 121, accounting for Upper Ferntree Gully, 3-9-27. Last updated score halfway through the fourth quarter. Park Orchards, 4-13-97, handily over Moralbark, 5-3-33. Croydon Montrose, that score, which was 1 point, the difference is half-time score, so we won't go there. Second division, just scores coming through. Make sure you keep those scores coming through to the EFNL app and also on Twitter. Got some updated scores. South Belgrave, 19-10, 124 over Templestowe, 4-5-29. Ringwood last score, 7-4-46 over Boronia, 3-4-22. The Basin, 9-8-62, leading Mulgrave, 5-10-40. And, some interesting results coming through. And we'll just get Division 4 because there was a 4-point difference between Kilsyth and Sylvan at one stage, and we thought an upset might be on the cards. But latest score we have for them is, Sylvan looks like they've hit gear number 4 and they've run away with it. 12-17-89 over Kilsyth, 7-8-50. Forest Hill, 15-10, 100. Croydon North, 7-2-44. And Coldstream putting the absolute sword to Nunawading, 35-18, 228 to Nunawading, 3-5-23. Shellacking, no score coming in from Churnside Park and Surrey Park. Keep those scores coming in, gentlemen. It's time to start thinking about players of the game and plays of the game. And I'm sure the goal kickers, well, that's a drop in the hat. Maybe Cullums or the last one.
The goal of the day has to go to Oscar
Hodgson, yeah.
He took the game on.
Yeah, the one at the end. Yeah.
At a critical stage, he took the game on from a mark outside the 50, forward 50. He's run 10, he's full length, kicked the ball. It's gone over the defenders and rolled through. That's definitely got to be the goal.
Put the afterburners on and sealed the game. So well done.
Right. Yeah. No. That's
Sportsco Player of the Day. Have we got any ones that stand out so far?
Player of the Day. I like that very. I know it was a goal, but I like the player that very first goal of the day that was Lewis Neat.
Yes, that was
on the point post, and he's kicked that first goal of the game.
Yeah, that was a good one, wasn't it?
I'd go with that. Yep.
That was a really good player today, I thought. Any other ones that?
No, that's
happy with you, right?
That's the two. That's the two. Now we only have to Neverland Store Player of the Day.
Well, look, we look at 5 goals to Barlow in a losing side. You can't overlook that. There's been other players in the back line for East Burwood as well.
Yeah, Logan was good.
Yeah, Logan was good. Look, I personally like the work of Taylor Hayton in the ruck for Warrandyte.
Yeah,
Look,
he's good.
He all day. He was up against 3 opponents.
Guys, yes.
He rucked for probably 99% of the game.
Yep.
I thought he was outstanding, but I mean, don't leave it up to me.
No, we'll get a
No, we're not going to. We're going to get...
Look, you'd probably go that way. Look, they had players that were consistent all over the ground. You know, both the Buckleys were quite good. They had winners in pretty much every area of the ground. But just in the, I mean, even you could even put a case up for. Richardson was even good at some times throughout the course of the game, but probably not quite to the level of best on. But look, who do you reckon, Ray? Oh, that's
I just thought there was a lot of guys that sort of drifted in and out of the game. I mean, you look down some of the performances. I thought Brooking had his moments.
Yeah,
he was good
in the first half. I thought.
Tout sort of came into it for a while, but sort of went out of it. One or two others. I thought Hodgson was very good. He had a very good game. He, of course, kicked the goal, but besides that, he was also very good. And I liked the game of Raki too. He was really busy.
He was very good early in the first half. Went out of it.
He did. He granted, and he sort of buzzed around from time to time. But I think I'm pretty happy with Hayton. So I think he was.
You've got to look personally. You've got to look at the work effort of those big ruckmen, particularly when he's been on the ground for 99% of the game.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
And people crashing into his body for the whole game. And
I think that's probably a fair assessment. I think Hayden was probably the best player on the ground.
Yep, I'm going to agree with that. Not by peer pressure, but I also agree. I could have said Michael Cullum had a sneaky good game too.
But he like Brett said though, in and out of the game.
As far as a 4-quarter game, which is obviously how we judge this, it was hard. There was probably no one else that played. And as you say, Hayton had various guys from the opposition rotating on him.
Yeah.
But he basically did the whole day near enough by himself.
Yes, I agree.
So just to congratulate our award winners for today, Taylor Hayton taking out the Neverland Store Player of the Day. Tobin Brothers Goal of the Day going to Oscar Hodgson for his Q4 effort, and Sportsco Player of the Day to Lewis Neat of the East Burwood Football Club. But congrats to those boys. We'll hopefully be speaking to one or two of them down down to room side when we can get hold of them. But fellas, looking now towards East Burwood, that's 3 in a row. If you're Stuart Wine, what are you looking for?
Oh, look, you're just looking for continued improvement and probably more so that 4-quarter effort. They just haven't quite put a 4-quarter effort together in the last month, and that's probably reflected on what the results have been. They've been almost, but there's been just little parts in their game that have fluctuated. 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there, little patches in the game, turnover at critical times, which has come back to bite them, and subsequently they find themselves on the losing part. It's not all doom and gloom, though. I think they're a young, developing side. I think they can consolidate enough to win enough games to stay in the division. They look like they're forming a good basis. They do move the ball. I'd like to see them do a little bit more work in the inside part of the midfield at stoppage. I think occasionally there can be a little bit tentative there and it can get beaten. But on the outside, they're just as good as anyone.
Let's cross down to BWS.
Well, I've just come out of a very, very happy Warrandyte club rooms, and I tell you what, and it's all about this man today, and it's all about the club, but it's all about this man who's the heart and soul of Warrandyte Football Club. Luke, done 200 games today, mate. Look at the smile on your face. You're a very happy man.
Yeah, still look extremely happy. It was a massive game. East Burwood are a very good team, and we played well. But Jesus, we should have kicked a few more, I reckon, especially myself. But look, just happy to take the win, that's for sure.
You did miss a couple today, but and we pulled out the Ray Baird Moz because he was on you all day. He's a big fan of you. But talk to us about the journey of the Warrandyte Football Club since you've been here. 200 games is a long time, and from where you started to where the club's at now. Talk to us about how that transformation is and how you feel about your football now.
Oh, well, yeah, it's come a long way since 2006, my first game. Came when we won a flag in Div 4, then we get relegated, the club rooms get knocked down, we're out of portables for a couple of years, which was tough. And then, obviously, the stand was able to get built, which was fantastic. But it's a great place, great area. The people here are fantastic, and I've been here for so long because I've just made such lifelong friends down here, and there's nowhere else I'd rather play my footy.
Do you live down in the Warrandyte area?
From Donvale. Lived in Donvale, live in Blackburn now, and just a couple of schoolmates brought me down, and haven't left since. They've been trying to get rid of me for a while, but we're sticking around. I love this place.
Very much doubt that. The resilience of the football side in that last quarter shows a lot of character, with East Burwood just chipping away. They were just chipping away at you. If they got a goal every 5-6 minutes, they could get the lead back, and then all of a sudden you guys, you picked yourselves up because you did go off there for a little bit, and really strong, above the shoulders type performance in that last 10 or so minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. And some of the guys, Nakota, Chris Tout, Mitchie Buckley, they were fantastic coming through the middle. We were able to just get our hands on a couple late. Luckily, they missed a couple. But I thought overall we were really good today, and we just need to obviously kick a bit straighter. But there's so much potential coming through. We're quite a young team as well, so we feel confident that if we can keep running, keep moving for 4 quarters, that we should be able to perform well.
Boys up in the pretend caravan.
Ray Baird here, Luke. Well, congratulations, mate, on a great career, and there's many more seasons to come. Now that you're playing with big Ryan Phillips, and he's the number 1 man down there, you're slotted into the number 2 slot. You happy with that?
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's great to have big buckets down. He's a big boy, so it means he gets the bigger defender, which I prefer not to get the big ones. They kind of monster me around with my spaghetti arms. He's fantastic. He's been clunking them, kicking straight. We made a couple of changes today where he pushed up, I went deeper, but we've even got Nick Johnston, number 7. He was fantastic today. He's got unbelievable hands as well. So, yeah, it's nice having a bit of help down there, that's for sure.
Luke, congratulations, Brett, up here in the comm box. You're talking about the goal kicking, and of course we've talked a lot before the game started about how Ryan Phillips had dominated. 23 goals, 5 last week. But the pleasing thing today was that there was a real spread right. Ryan really didn't get on he struggled to get on the scoreboard, but there were others that you talked about, Brooking, Myers, 1 or 2 others as well. So that must be a pleasing aspect for you.
Yeah, absolutely. We feel we're a dangerous collective, 6 or 7 that roll through there. So, some weeks Buckets has been able to get on the end of a few. I was able to get on the end of a few round 1. We feel that we don't need Buckets to kick 10. We can have, Nakota come through, Joshy Myers come through, Jono, myself, Mika Cullum. Little forward pocket get on the end of him, so we feel we're potent enough, and we just think if we can get the footy in nice and quick, then we can be dangerous.
Yeah, good afternoon, Luke. It's Matt Spiderley here. Well done on the milestone of 200 games. It's a great achievement in anyone's language for any player in suburban football. Let's have a look at the midfield battle today. It was you must have discussed it during the week. You knew you were going up against some quality midfielders at East Burwood, and you tended to get on top earlier. Clearance, that was something you must have discussed, because it was a real important factor in the end in the contest.
Yeah, well, we know they've got big bodies. Mariani and a couple of others who roll through. They're quite large. They're quite sizable. So we just knew we had to crack in. We had to halve that contest early, put our pressure on as much as we can, and then if we can get that footy first, then we know that we can run and spread. But yeah, it was tough in there. There was some big hits coming through. That's for sure.
Yeah, it was a very physical game, wasn't it? Is that probably one of the more physical games that you've been a part of, especially this year, but throughout your career? Because you don't. Sometimes you can play games and you go, well, gee, that was some big bodies, as you just mentioned. Then you can play other games where it's just a wide open, and in a sense, it's just a game of athleticism. You're just trying to, an endurance battle at the end.
Yeah, look, we always have physical battles with some teams, like Fentry Gully, always good. Donvale, But like I don't really head into the contest too much there. I like to sneak out for the uncontested footy as much as possible. So I don't go in for that hard footy as much. I leave that to some of the smaller fellas.
Is there going to be a function there upstairs tonight? I feel a sense it's going to be quite a large one down here.
Yeah, we've got a aerobics night tonight, so I'm expecting Ray to come down for a few beers, and I'm sure you got a nice kit ready to go.
I tell you what, mate, I'd be the life of the party.
He's already got the leggings on.
Do you know that I've never actually seen a crowd be so upset that the siren sounded this afternoon when Warrandyte won, because they wanted this man to kick another goal and celebrate it through. But what a champion he's been, and plenty more games to come as well. Luke Dunn, congratulations, mate. Have a great night tonight in the Lycra.
Thank you, guys. Really appreciate it, and thanks for all the hard work. And hopefully we can stick around for a few drinks upstairs.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, mate.
Thanks, Luke.
Luke Dunn there in his 200th EFNL game, and what a way to celebrate it, getting the win. Unfortunately, the Cheer Squad wanted him to get the 6, but and it doesn't matter if they got the win. Well, it probably matters to him, but good win nonetheless for Warrandyte. As we're going to have one more chat. It looks like BWS has got Josh Myers standing by, and we'll just cross down to him in just a second. We've got some more scores coming through, so let's go down to BWS.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Down here with Josh Myers, had a great game, and we just talked to Dunny, mate, and what a club favourite he is, and just to be around on the park with someone of his ilk, that's inspiration enough, isn't it?
Mate, 200 games is a lot of games at local footy, because you play, 16 a year. It's awesome. And he's such... The things you see on field is nothing in comparison to the stuff he does off field. You know, coaching the Colts, he's always first at training. He's always organising stuff, social stuff, behind-the-scenes committee stuff. So he's an absolute legend, mate.
How did you see the way the game went today? Because you came out in bursts, especially in that first term. You could have really put the game away relatively early, but you missed a lot of shots that might have probably gone through. But the resilience of the side has been really strong right throughout the game. And East Burwood came, but you guys really held your heads high there.
I thought that first quarter was one of the better starts we've had, to be honest. We haven't been starting that well. We just didn't finish our work, and that kept them in. And they were a good side all over the board. You know, they keep coming. They got a lot of good players. But it was just a grind for us to start finishing. And then I think that the way we started that third quarter was awesome. That was really good, and it put a few on the board, and that really stamped our kind of authority all over this game. So it was good.
Josh, it's Brett Beston here, mate, up in the comm box. A great win for you guys today. You really are playing some great footy, great little ground out here. We haven't been out here for a while, but really enjoyed coming out here today. I know that you'll be trying to keep a lid on things, but you've gone to second after this win today, and you've beaten a fellow finals aspirant. I mean, how far do you think this club can go?
No, we're like, if you had to watch last week, we got over the line against Fair Park in a scrap at their ground. It was really icy, but it was kind of, I don't know, I feel like we're a side that when we play a better opponent, we're gonna lift and kind of come to the party, and I think you saw that today. Like, our ball movement was awesome. You can't give enough credit to our back line. Our back line was spot on all day. Intercept marking, Lockie Buckley, Whitey down there, just playing awesome. And I think we're the type of side that get us on a good day, on you know, when we're switched on and we're playing a good opponent, you know, we're going to be right up there with the best. So all you can do is approach it every week and crack in, and then see where you end up in the final series. I mean, like, we had a good year last year, and then we played a side in the elimination final, went to extra time. So all you can do is rock up week by week and then see where that puts you at the end of the year. But it's looking good so far.
Josh, it's Ray Baird here. Josh, look, you're 2 points deficit at half time, and the coach Paul's obviously got into you a bit, and you've come out and you kicked 6 goals to 2 in that quarter, but you've snared 2 yourself, so that must be pleasing.
Yeah, well, yeah, it is pleasing, isn't it? I got a cheapie off the back of the pack, and then I kicked.
They all count, mate.
Yeah,
they all count.
That's right. That's right. So then got a little hit up and kicked a long goal, which was right on the edge of me distance. But no, it's good. Like, we knew we were right there. Like, energy levels wise, skill wise. Like I said, the back line was playing sensational. It was just us forwards. We weren't finishing our work, so it was kind of like I was happy to have that responsibility there at the start of that third and just say, let's go. Like, we want to be the better side. We want to be the best side in this comp. So it's about taking the opportunities when you get them. So I was lucky to get a few today.
Josh, it's Matt Lee up here. Congratulations on the win today. Your own personal performance, how have you rated it over the start of the season to now? And it's a big building block for the whole team going forward, because a big month of footy coming up for you guys.
Yeah, it is. We started the year with Ferntree Gully, played really good. That was one of the better wins. But it's easy to be up for round one. You know what I mean? You're coming off COVID, you haven't played for a long time. And it was easy to be up for that. And then so we've struggled probably starting against the sides that might be inferior, and we kind of let them hang around. But I thought today was just huge, as I said before, the energy, the excitement, the way we attacked the ball, the way we used our skills. We back ourselves, like I'm sure you guys will see front there, the way we back ourselves to go through the corridor and switch and hit those tough kicks. It's hard to play against when we're up and going. So, no, it's good. And personally, it's been probably one of my better years, you know what I mean? I've been playing a bit of half forward. I've stepped into the midfield this year, and it's been really fun. I've been enjoying it. I've got good.
You can touch my head as the wood if you want, mate.
Yeah, that's right, exactly. So touch wood on that. But no, it's been fun. It's just fun playing with these boys. You know what I mean? That's what it's all about, playing with your mates, and that's what we do here. So it's good.
And we love seeing the red down behind the goals as well. Like the younger guys getting behind it. That lifts you. That can get you a couple of goals realistically in a game, and especially in the tight one. It's great.
Mate, you've seen. So they got the fan favourite big buckets down there, and I would not want to be playing on him at fullback because it is loud. I'm not sure. I heard you boys went down and threw a few interviews down there. I think that's very risky live TV. Sorry,
yeah, it was good. It was good fun. Tyson got up on the back of the ute down there. It was like a scene out of out the back Mexico where there's 50 people on the back of a ute there. But thanks very much for having a chat to us. Congratulations. We'll see some more Warrandyte football this year, and have a great night in Lycra tonight.
Hey, that's right, aerobics. So thank you very much. Enjoy, boys. Thank you.
Thanks, mate. Thanks,
Josh.
BWS. Well, we've got about 6 minutes here to wrap up on the show, but just a quick score. This game started a little late out at Vermont. Vermont 8-14-62 at three-quarter time. North Ringwood 9-6-60. 2 points in it. Our man Brash all over it out there, so hopefully keep some tabs on the score as that one progresses. But, gentlemen, great game of footy this afternoon, and we're approaching the third, as we said, nearly the halfway mark of the season. And obviously we had 18 months with no footy. What are we sort of seeing from the season so far?
This division's very even, boys, isn't it?
Yeah. I was going to say overall, I mean, it's been a feature. We talked about it. It's probably just the rustiness of some of the goal kicking. I mean, the game could have been over in the first half if Warrandyte had kicked straight, but unfortunately they were wasteful in front of goal, and in the end they got up to win. But I suppose that's to be expected, having had such a long layoff. But that's the thing that sort of stood out to me.
Yeah, I just thought in the end, you look at games, we're seeing a lot more contested ball. I think it's great that we're seeing so many close contests right across all the divisions, and I think that's all looking, going forward. I think that's a good thing too. It's very even competition right across the board.
One of the pleasing things that I've seen from the little bit of footy I have seen this year is that the style of play is wide open because the grounds are a lot better. The ball's bouncing, the grounds are a lot better. They're not muddy, they're not bogged down, and having no football last year, I think that's made a good addition as far as open football.
But I mean, you couldn't have got better conditions.
Oh, no,
I mean, this is spectacular out here today. This ground, as I said before, we could have played lawn bowls on it. It was just magnificent.
You should be in cricket season here, mate. You'll see some good stuff then.
There you go.
Well, a few sand traps out there. I was going to say it's like BWS on the 8th fairway. But anyway, as we get ready to wrap this up, just one final score. The Basin 13-11-89, getting over Mulgrave 5-11-41. Gentlemen, Brett Beston, great call from you this afternoon.
Thank you, mate. Good to be here. It's my first time out at Warrandyte, and I know I've gone on a bit about it today, but it's just such a beautiful spot. I was really impressed. We're up here on the balcony, and it's a great place. I'd love to come back sometime.
Ray Baird, in special comments.
Thanks, Steve, and thanks to Spider too, my co-man here today. Fantastic job, and I'll always love coming out to Warrandyte, no matter whether it's cricket or footy.
And no matter where the scoreboard is or what side of the ground you're on. Spider, we'll see you also tomorrow on EFL Sunday.
Looking forward to wrapping it all up tomorrow. Pleasure to be here today, guys, and working with you all, and look forward to doing it again very soon across the footy season.
I was going to say, mate, no ring rust at all. 5 years off and come straight back bouncing into it. Now, fantastic to have you back in the crew on the call on game day. BWS.
It was great to be down at ground level again. The last time me and Tyson did it was actually out at Park Orchards, which had the same sort of feel, this ground out here where you guys were, where we guys were. But just going down there behind the goals at the end there was sensational, great stuff. And well done to Tyson, who had to head off home early because he lives 400 hours away. So well done, Tyson. You did a great job, buddy.
And particularly after going to the wrong ground to start the day.
and just quickly to BWS, all those complaints about the sun and club room on the coaches' boxes on the wrong side, put in writing, mate, and I'll see what I can do.
Excellent. You are the man that they roll out carpet for to kiss babies.
Also have to say big thanks to Lethal Leroy Green.
Yeah.
Another fantastic job from him this afternoon. And actually not a bad filming position, I actually think, out here, despite Bruce Press chance at a grab there in the fourth quarter over the railing. We'll have to make it higher for him next time. But no, another great job from Bruce, our sound wizard. And Matty Fodier, obviously the leader of the pack. Another great program show from him. And I think that's everyone we've covered. But congratulations to our award winners, I should say. Taylor Hayton, our player of the day, and Oscar Hodgson taking out the goal of the day.
And thanks to the Blood Bank for having us down here again. What a beautiful spot to watch football from.
And the best hamburgers in the league too, Warrandyte, the Blood Burger.
Yeah, it was a good one. I enjoyed that one.
I missed out on it. Well, I never trust if we're going to have catering or not. And I always fill up before and then I always regret it. So it's not an unwise thing to do. But anyway, as we'll get set to wrap things up here now from East Burwood, it was the Rams, 9-8-62, that fell to Warrandyte, 12-15-87. A comprehensive win here for the Warrandyte Bloods in Division 3.
Spider, what do you reckon for EFL Sunday tomorrow? So who are some of the clubs you reckon we might get on from hearing the scores come through?
I'll wait for the boss to send through the text message later tonight. But
no, you're allowed. You're the new boss.
No, I'm happy to wait. I'm happy to wait and interview anyone.
Well, it's 2 points out at North Ringwood with 1 quarter to play.
Robbie Nahas is always a good chat. A few weeks ago we had him on, so maybe another chat to Robbie if they get over the line.
We won't jinx it for Brash out there, but it did start 20 minutes late, so.
Maybe even chat to Ringwood tomorrow.
Well, what's the score?
It was 62-60 at 3/4 time as of 5 minutes ago.
Between
Vermont and North Ringwood.
Just for people who've got in the car.
It'll be the boil over the season.
Doncaster were leading Berwick too at the last score.
Yeah, Doncaster would be a good chat as well.
Doncaster could be, if they get up.
If you're on social media channels, get those scores through. If you're heading home from the football, everybody wants to know the go. So great job by Steve White here today, leading the team from go to woe. Fantastic call as well. And to you, Besto, great to have you back on the team. Don't we all feel like one big family here? Hope you've enjoyed the football this afternoon. We hope your team won. If they didn't, it doesn't matter because there's always next week. Stay tuned for EFL Sunday tomorrow morning with Spider, Steve, Matt and Damo. We'll see you next week.
Hello, I'm Peter Hitchener.
All right, that's a wrap. Thanks for that, guys. Good stuff today.
Number 1 news, Tony Jones with the latest sport, including the footy, plus Lavinia Nixon's weather forecast. 9 News, proud supporter of the Eastern Football League.
Only 19 shots from 53 inside 50s, down on clearances and can't lay a tackle. What was the seniors coach going to do? Jono surprised himself and everyone else. The spray he gave the boys at halftime worked. Well, he did finish it by saying he'd shout him a post-game feed and frothies at Eastland if they won. For all of life and footy's little moments, there's Eastland, proud sponsors of the EFL. Eastland, live real.
You've all been to